The girl next door always likes to force kiss me, to escape her. I got into a university thousands of miles from home. I thought from then on, it'd be as free as a bird in the sky. But I never expected that. She also studies at this school. Not only is she my senior, she even became my landlady. Every night, she would pick the lock to my room. Without a word, she'd pin me against the wall and force kiss me. From today on, we're living together. Everything here, including you, belongs to me. During the opening ceremony, Xie Qingxue, as the student representative, stood on stage speaking fluently. The freshmen below all stared without blinking. Xia Qingxiu is the well-deserved campus belle of Jiangzhou University. Her every move exuded a deadly charm, as if she could bewitch anyone's heart. But not only did I have no interest in her, I even wished I could disappear on the spot, to run as far away as possible, because I knew it was all just an act. When I was 8, I met Xia Qingxue. She was 2 years older than me. Since she was young, she's always been the neighbor's perfect child, beautiful and sensible. But I knew this person had nothing to do with the words well-behaved and sensible. Absolutely nothing. In her bones, she was a true violence fanatic, a female demon. At 8 years old, Xia Qingxiu cornered me in a small alley after school. She pinned me against the wall with one hand and snatched the lollipop from my mouth. She popped the candy into her own mouth right in front of me and giggled while pinching my cheek. Little Fang Yuan, you can't tell your parents about this, or else it'll break your legs. The next second, I saw with my own eyes her taking a red brick out of her backpack and smashing it in half with one hand. That scene, to my young soul, left an indelible shock. From then on, over 90% of my snacks ended up in this female demon's stomach. My allowance didn't escape either. At 10 years old, Xia Qingxue pulled the same trick. She cornered me against a wall and stole a quick kiss. Then she giggled at me again. Little Fang Yuan, what I just did with you is something only adults can do. When you grow up, you can only love me. If you dare not to love me, it'll still break your legs. I finally managed to graduate from elementary school. Xia Qingxiu approached me with a giggle and a warning. You have to enroll in the same middle school as me. Otherwise, it'll still break your legs. Just like that, I struggled through to high school graduation. By then, Xia Qingxue had finished her 3rd year of university and was about to start her 4th. But every time she came home for summer break, she would still find all sorts of ways to torture me. But she stubbornly refused to tell me which university she attended. To completely escape this female demon, I deliberately applied to Jiangzhou University, thousands of miles away. But I never could have imagined that this female demon, Xia Qingxiu, was also at Jiangzhou University and had even become the campus belle. Thinking of the 10 years I lived in darkness, my heart immediately grew cold. No, I absolutely cannot let this female demon know that I also came to Jiangzhou University. Otherwise, she would definitely torture me to death. Luckily, I was smart. I had already rented a house off campus. From now on, outside of class, I absolutely will not set foot on campus. That way, she probably won't find me, right? I kept my head down the whole time, my mind racing with calculations, afraid of being discovered by Xia Qingxiu on stage. The opening ceremony finally ended. I immediately bolted out of the school. I contacted the agent I had an appointment with and rushed to sign the rental contract, because I felt that staying on campus for one more minute meant an extra risk of being caught red-handed. Half an hour later, the agent led me to the house I had viewed earlier. It was a beautiful and spacious little villa. The rent was only 1,000 yuan a month. I was ecstatic. I felt like I had struck a great deal. The agent smiled and winked at me. Oh, right. I don't think I told you. The landlord is a very young and beautiful girl. A girl? That's great. Girls are always gentle, right? I smile along. But inside, I was cursing like crazy. It doesn't matter if it's a girl or not, as long as it's not the female demon, Xia Qingxiu. From now on, it'll just hole up here and never leave the house. I don't believe she can still find me. 2.5 minutes later, a beautiful figure walked in from the hallway. A clear voice rang out, "Sorry to keep you all waiting, the landlord is here." I immediately looked up, smiling and preparing to greet her. But the moment I saw the person clearly, the smile on my face instantly froze. Xia Qingxiu, why is it you? Xia Qingxiu looked at me as if she had known all along, and let out a sneer. I couldn't help but shiver. The sweeter this female demon smiles, the bigger the trouble. I am not renting anymore. I am not renting this house anymore. Without a second word, I turned around, intending to rush out, but I had only taken 2 steps when a hand clamped down on my shoulder, holding me firmly in place. Xia Qingxue turned to the agent, her voice sweet. "Ma'am, there's nothing wrong here. You can go ahead and leave. I'll transfer the agent's fee to you later." The agent looked confused. Xia Qingxiu immediately added another sentence. "This kid is my childhood sweetheart and also my boyfriend. He had a spat with me a few days ago, and I still haven't been able to coax him back. The agent's face lit up with understanding. Oh my, what a coincidence. So you're a couple. Lovers' quarrels are normal. All right then. I'll be on my way. As soon as the agent was out the door, Xia Qingshui locked the door. Those beautiful eyes stared at me, revealing a sickeningly sweet smile, but it made my skin crawl. She leaned into my ear, her voice as soft as a feather's touch. Little Fang Yuan, move one more inch, and I'll break your legs. I, who had been struggling violently, instantly froze as if my pressure points had been hit, my expression one of utter despair. Right after that, Xia Qingshui pushed me all the way into a corner and commanded domineeringly, "Open your mouth. I am about to force kiss you." I subconsciously shrank back. My voice trembled slightly. "Can you be a little gentle?" Xia Qingshui looked at my handsome, yet somewhat pitiful face, and her heart immediately started pounding. This kid. Could it be he really has no idea how good-looking he is? This innocent and pitiful look is just too delicious. At this thought, Xia Qingshu excitedly licked her lips. The next second, she bit down without hesitation. A sharp pain shot through my lips. I sucked in a cold breath. This Xia Qingshu is truly too violent. Even her kisses are like a siege, utterly tyrannical. After a fierce assault, Xia Qingshu finally let me go. Satisfied, then she reached out that criminal hand of hers and pinched my face. Kid, not a bad performance. So, from today on, we're living together. Don't worry, I'll take good care of you from now on. I immediately jumped up from the corner. Living together? Sister Qingshu, what kind of joke is this? I am just here to rent a place. Xia Qingshu nodded with a serious expression. But you're renting my house. I have to live here too, so there's no other way. I can only be forced to live with you. After speaking, the corner of her mouth curled into a triumphant smile. I had no doubt. This was definitely a trap she had set long ago. She was setting me up. Just thinking about having to live with this female demon sent a chill down my entire body. No. I have to find a chance to escape. I absolutely cannot fall into this female demon's hands. But for now, I have to stall her. Otherwise, if she finds out I want to run, wouldn't my legs really be broken? Kid, are you thinking of running? Xia Qingshu, as if she could see right through my thoughts, narrowed her eyes and looked at me with a half smile. It's time to act. I've been bullied by this female demon since I was little to save my own skin. I've long since perfected my acting skills, so I quickly shook my head, putting on a pitiful and innocent look. Sister Qingshu, how would I dare? Xia Qingshu was immediately displeased. You wouldn't dare? So you're saying you're not willing to live with me? I like to hear the truth. Just say it. I won't blame you. As she spoke, she reached for a glass cup on the table and giggled at me. Suddenly, she squeezed her hand. With a crack, the glass cup shattered instantly. My Adam's apple bobbed, and I quickly changed my words. I am willing. I am willing to live with you, Sister Qingshu. Are you kidding? This female demon at 8 years old could already break a brick with her bare hands. At 10, she could easily break a tree. That fair, slender hand. If it were to swing at my face, my tofu-like brain would probably fly out. Who would dare to be unwilling? Xia Qingshu smiled with satisfaction. Kid, I like this arrogant and rebellious look of yours. Be good. Listen to me. Live with me. There will be plenty of benefits for you. How good I am at taking care of people. It's not like you don't know. Have you forgotten when you were 10? Your parents left you at my house. I took care of you for 3 whole days. Hearing that, my face turned pale. At 10 years old, my parents did have to go out and left me at Xia Qingshu's house for a few days. I remember it very clearly. That night, I was originally supposed to sleep alone in the small room, but in the end, Xia Qingshu used the excuse that she was afraid I wouldn't cover myself properly, and forced me to sleep in the same bed with her. The result was this little female demon turning over in the middle of the night and hogging all the blankets, causing me to wake up from the cold. Even stranger was, when I reached over to her to pull the blanket back, I discovered she didn't have a blanket on her either. This girl had kicked the blanket off the bed and was huddled up shivering next to me. Her little face was red from the cold, and yet she didn't wake up. The next day, I gloriously caught a cold. The doctor told me to drink a lot of hot water. Coincidentally, the water was cut off that day, but Xia Qingshu brought me a cup of steaming hot water, telling me to drink it. Just as I was deeply moved, Xia Qingshu laughed again and giggled at me. Little Fang Yuan, do you know where this water came from? You don't, do you? I got it from the toilet bowl. Aren't I so smart? When I was taking my medicine, she took my pill, insisting on tasting it to see if it was delicious. The result was she put the pill in her mouth and crunched on it a few times, then immediately spit it out in disgust. So bitter, Not tasty at all. Then she pinched my mouth open and stuffed the whole chewed-up pill into my mouth. There were countless examples of care like this, and now, this female demon shamelessly calls it taking care of me. Thinking about the days to come, I felt incredibly miserable. Seriously. I am handsome and proud, targeted by a female demon. My life is uncertain. But Shai Qingshui thought she had waited painstakingly for 10 years, and today, her wish was finally fulfilled. Her heart bloomed with joy. They say to capture a man's heart, you must first capture his stomach. So Xia Qingshui gave a sweet smile and declared, Little Fang Yuan, as your childhood sweetheart and older sister. From today onwards, I will fulfill my duties as a sister. I will personally cook for you. Hearing these words, my heart pounded again. This female demon wants to cook. If she wants to kill me, she should just say it. Why bother finding such an excuse? I immediately recalled the horrifying experience at age 12. Back then, the school gave an assignment to go home and learn to cook a dish for our families. The result was that this girl, after cooking, secretly brought it to school for me to eat. After eating it, I had diarrhea all day and was in the hospital for 3 days. That trauma still haunts me to this day, and she still has the nerve to bring up cooking personally. Sister Qingshui. How about I cook instead, to avoid being poisoned by Xia Qingshui again? After the age of 12, I painstakingly practiced my cooking skills, and have now reached a master level. Xia Qingshu nonchalantly waved her hand. No need. Today, you just have to obediently wait for me to feed you. Cooking is such a simple thing, for a genius like me, isn't it? As easy as flipping my hand. Today, I'll show off a few of my specialty dishes for you. Just wait to be amazed. After speaking, she looked full of confidence, and marched into the kitchen, ready to make a big show of it. I sat outside, feeling restless and uneasy. I could only hear a symphony of clanging coming from the kitchen. An hour later, Xia Qingshu, her head covered in sweat, brought out 2 blackened dishes. Her clothes were soaked with sweat. That nearly perfect figure was faintly visible before my eyes. My heart suddenly skipped a beat. I had never dared to look closely at this female demon before, but looking closely now, it turns out she's actually very beautiful. But as soon as this thought emerged, I immediately extinguished it. This female demon is trying to torture me to death, and I find her beautiful? This thought is too dangerous. Fang Yuan, come and taste my cooking. I guarantee it will make you see me in a new light. Xia Qingshui placed the 2 dishes in front of me, and served me a bowl of rice, then tilted her head and looked at me expectantly. I picked up my chopsticks, trembling, but I couldn't bring myself to take a bite. Seeing this, Xia Qingshui was immediately thrilled. This kid is so moved he's trembling. It seems the first step of the plan is a great success. She grabbed my hand, with a heartfelt expression, and said, Fang Yuan, I know you're very moved, but you don't need to be so moved that you're about to cry. Don't worry. From now on, I will cook for you often. You're already so moved now. Later on, won't I move you to death? My heart trembled. There's a future. I have to eat this often. It seems this female demon is determined to torture me to death. Either way, it's death. Might as well die quickly. I gritted my teeth and picked up a piece of the blackened egg and put it in my mouth. I struggled to chew twice, then closed my eyes and swallowed. Xia Qingshu's eyes immediately lit up as she looked at me. How is it? Is it good? My cheek twitched. I struggled to get out 3 words. It's not good. Xia Qingshu's expression changed instantly. I prepared it so carefully. How could it not be good? Kid, are you trying to provoke me on purpose? My face was full of misery. I weakly pointed at the plate. Then you try it yourself. Xia Qingshui didn't believe it. She snatched the chopsticks from my hand and tried a bite of the so-called scrambled eggs with tomato. The next second, she spat it all out. Peewee! Peewee! What the hell is this? It's so bad. She wasn't convinced, so she picked up a piece of spicy chicken. The result was she spit it out as soon as it entered her mouth. That meat was still raw. Xia Qingshui jumped up and rushed to the bathroom to rinse her mouth. When she came out of the bathroom and saw my innocent expression, her beautiful face immediately blushed. Well, it's only my 2nd time cooking anyway. It's normal to make a few mistakes. Look, you don't even have diarrhea this time, and you don't have to go to the hospital. That proves compared to when you were 12. I've improved a lot. Isn't that right? How about I cook instead? I sighed helplessly, got up, and went to the kitchen. Xia Qingshui followed me, annoyed, watching me deftly clean up the kitchen, then pick up a knife and start chopping vegetables quickly. She was instantly stunned. I was right about him. This guy is a natural-born, warm and handsome man. This serious expression is so delicious. In her heart, a sudden urge to pin me down welled up. I turned my head and met her gaze, which was like that of a wolf or a tiger. I turned pale with fear. Sister Qingshui, you don't want to eat me, do you? Xia Qingshui giggled. Of course not. Then why are you drooling while looking at me? I looked at the shiny substance at the corner of Xia Qingshua's mouth, and my heart sank. Sure enough, this female demon wants to lock me up, to do perverted things to me. Xia Qingshui unconsciously touched the corner of her mouth. I was just thinking about men so much that I drooled. It seems a bit perverted, but you can't blame me. Who told little Fang Yuan to be so handsome? Sister Qingshui. It's time to eat. Not long after, my voice came from outside. Xia Qingshui came out of her room and saw 4 dishes and a soup already laid out on the table. Even before she started eating, that tantalizing aroma had already captivated her stomach. She picked up her chopsticks and tried a bite. Her eyes immediately lit up. This is so delicious. This kid really has talent. In just 2.5 minutes, Xia Qingshui had finished a bowl of rice. Then she placed the empty bowl in front of me. Yuan. Get me more rice. I saw a grain of rice stuck to the corner of Xia Qingshui's mouth. I couldn't help but reach out and get it for her. I said helplessly, "How many times have I told you? Don't eat so fast. It's not good for your stomach." When Xia Qingshu was on summer break, she would definitely come to my house to freeload meals, so I was very familiar with her eating habits. Xia Qingshu sneered and retorted spiritedly, "What's the use of blaming me? Isn't it because your cooking is too delicious, and you won't even let me eat a lot? Eating fast?" I watched Xia Qingshu stuff her face, her cheeks puffed up like a hamster's. She couldn't even speak clearly. A strange thought popped into my head again. This female demon seems a little cute, but as soon as this thought emerged, I immediately extinguished it. This must be the female demon's disguise. Her purpose is definitely to make me let my guard down, and then she'll strike at me viciously. Are you kidding? How could she possibly be nice to me? I can't forget this female demon. At 10, without even blinking, broke the legs of 3 thugs in an instant. Thinking of this, I quickly lowered my head, determined not to look at her again. Xia Qingshu was eating with great relish. When she suddenly noticed my head was down, she furrowed her brows slightly at once, staring at me. Yuan. Why aren't you looking at me? Am I not pretty? She tilted her head up slightly, revealing what she thought were her clear, innocent eyes. Sister Qingshui, I am eating. Is there a conflict between eating and looking at me? I guess there's no conflict. I mumbled. She immediately took a mile when I gave her an inch. Then why don't you look at me while you eat? I really wanted to protest loudly, but the words were on the tip of my tongue, and I swallowed them back down. Sigh. Forget it. A wise man doesn't fight when the odds are against him. I'll let her off the hook for today. This isn't tea because I can't beat her. Absolutely not. So I had no choice but to pick up my bowl of rice, mechanically shoveling rice into my mouth while resignedly looking at her. This time, Xia Qingshui was finally satisfied. Her big eyes curved into 2 crescents, filled with a sweet smile. At that moment, I had another illusion. Sister Qingshui seemed really sweet. Unconsciously, I stole another glance at her. Just then, Xia Qingshui, as if on cue, tilted her head, devastating me with her cuteness. Our eyes suddenly met in midair. My heart immediately skipped a beat. I quickly looked away, feeling incredibly guilty. The next second, Xia Qingshui suddenly brought her face right in front of mine. Her warm breath fanned across my face. She smirked and asked with a sly smile, "Little Fang Yuan, are you peeking at me?" A rush of heat went straight to my brain. I stammered in protest. "Ah, no way. You're the one who forced me to look." She pressed her advantage, leaning in even closer. "I told you to look properly, but you insisted on sneaking glances. What's with that? Are you harboring some dark intentions toward me?" I was speechless, cornered by her words. I could only turn my head to the side and say stubbornly, "I think you're the one with dark intentions toward me." The moment I said that, Xia Qingshu's eyes immediately lit up. She blinked her big eyes and nodded furiously. "I do have dark intentions toward you." She looked at me with a sly grin. "Since you already know, how about today She wanted to seal the deal with me again. Looking at Xia Qingshu's cunning smile, I was so scared I quickly backed away, not daring to say another word. I could only bury my head in my food. Seeing only the last piece of spicy chicken left on the plate, I quietly picked it up, just as I was about to put it in my mouth. Xia Qingshu's chopsticks suddenly shot out, precisely snatching the piece of meat right from my lips. She tilted her head and looked at me. "Little Fang Yuan, want to eat it?" I nodded. She immediately held out her chopsticks. "If you want it, I'll feed it to you." I immediately became wary. This is definitely a trap. I won't fall for it. Never mind. I don't want it anymore. "You eat it," she pouted. "You coward. You don't even dare to eat a piece of meat. I am afraid you have some evil plan." "All right, so doesn't that mean you don't dare?" That coward completely provoked me. "It's just a piece of meat. What's there to be afraid of?" I made up my mind, and went to take a bite of that piece of meat. Just at that moment, she suddenly pulled the chopsticks away, and a face lunged directly at me. A soft sensation was transmitted. My whole body froze. It took me 2 seconds to react. I retreated as fast as lightning. I knew it. This female demon really had a plan. Xia Qingshui looked very surprised. No way, little Fang Yuan. You dared to force a kiss on me, so you have to take responsibility for me. My face immediately turned red. You're talking nonsense. You're clearly the one who pushed your face forward. She put on an innocent look. Do you have any proof that I pushed my face forward? Then do you have any proof that I kissed you? Without proof, I don't have to admit it. She let out a cunning laugh and turned to pull something from the vase nearby. A phone. I set up the phone beforehand. The whole scene just now was recorded. Do you dare deny it? Looking at the phone screen, my eyes widened on the spot. This person really has no good intentions. She wants to use this to threaten me again. Looking at the image in the video, she giggled happily and immediately took a screenshot. I've decided. From now on, I'll use this picture as my phone wallpaper. After she said that, she sent the picture to me. Little Fang Yuan, you too must use this as your wallpaper. Hurry up, said it. I opened the picture and couldn't help but be stunned. From this angle, Xia Qingshu looked as beautiful as a fairy. The picture of us together really looked like a match made in heaven. While I was dazed, Xia Qingshu waved her phone in front of my face, looking at me with a wicked expression. All right, little Fang Yuan. Now I have proof that you kissed me willingly. If you dare to deny it, then don't blame me for being ruthless. I opened my mouth, but couldn't say a word. The video was in her hands. I truly had a mouth but couldn't argue. After dinner, I could only quietly clear the dishes and take them to the kitchen to wash, but Xia Qingshui just kept leaning against the kitchen doorway, staring at me. I really couldn't take it anymore. I turned my head to look at her. Sister Qingshui, can you stop staring at me like that? She replied righteously. Are handsome people not allowed to be looked at? Are you even being reasonable? Then, tell me, are you handsome or not? I could only nod. This was truly irrefutable. After all, they call me the Daniel Wu of Jiangzhou. She continued. So, handsome people, it's reasonable for others to want to look at them, right? I still could only nod. She immediately concluded. So, isn't that right? You're handsome, so it's only reasonable for me to look at you. Is there anything wrong with that? I was truly speechless. It sounds like there's no problem, but I still feel like something is wrong. Fine. Let's say you have a point. But if you're going to look, then look. Can you not drool? Xia Qingshu quickly wiped the corner of her mouth. Her pretty face flushed slightly. Nonsense. I wasn't drooling. I walked straight over and reached out to gently wipe the corner of her mouth. Then you tell me what this is. Her face immediately turned bright red, but she still stubbornly insisted. Anyway, it's not drool. I was speechless. I had no choice but to continue washing the dishes. After washing the dishes, Xia Qingshui immediately threw her arm around my neck, giggling as she pulled me to the sofa. Little Fang Yuan, come here. Let's watch TV together. I'll watch your favorite show with you. I was immediately curious. Sister Qingshu, you know what I like to watch? She immediately put on a know-it-all look. Of course, don't you like to watch that little pig in the red shirt? My face grew hot. She knew I liked watching Gigi Bond, but for an 8-year-old guy to be watching Gigi Bond and for a girl to know about it was just too embarrassing. Just then, she turned on the TV. A little pink pig jumped out. Hello everyone. I am Peppa. Looking at the little pink pig with a hairdryer face on the screen, I almost spat out my soda. What are you doing? This is a show for 3-year-olds. How could I possibly like this? She tilted her head, her expression innocent. You said you like to watch a little pig in red clothes. Isn't this it? I quickly explained. The pig I like does wear red, but not every pig that wears red is the one I like to watch. Xia Qingshu was stunned. The next second, she took a deep breath and suddenly flashed a sweet smile. She said in a coquettish tone, Aya, little Fang Yuan, did I make a mistake? Don't be mad at me, okay? If you're angry, I'll be very sad. You don't want to see me sad either, right? My heart pounded. I unconsciously crossed my arms and backed away. This female demon is definitely holding back some perverted move. Sure enough, she immediately rushed over and hugged my shoulders. Then you tell me, which pig do you like to watch? I'll watch it with you, okay? I grew even more scared. I absolutely couldn't let her get a hold of me right now. I immediately found a picture of Gigi Bond and showed it to her. I watched this one. Sister Qingshui. Xia Qingshui looked at the picture and immediately looked as if she had an epiphany. Oh. So you were talking about this pig. You should have said so earlier. I know this one. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. It's Transformers. Right? I almost had a heart attack on the spot, seeing that I didn't look well. She immediately corrected herself. Not Transformers? Then it's Ultraman, Armor Hero. My face grew darker and darker. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore and shot to my feet. Sister Qingshui, his name is Gigi Bond. Zhu Shia. Xia Qingshui was stunned for a moment and asked weakly, "Are there two male leads?" I was completely speechless. What two male leads? Gigi Bond is Zhu Shia? Okay. I immediately understood she was doing it on purpose. I couldn't stand it anymore. I puffed out my cheeks and huffed, "Sister Qingshui, I am never watching TV with you again." After saying that, I turned and walked straight away, leaving her with my back. I was wondering what kind of trick this female demon would use to torture me, when I suddenly heard sobbing from behind me. As soon as I turned around, I saw Xie Qingshui pouting and rubbing her eyes. Her tear-streaked face looked so pitiful. The anger in my heart immediately vanished. I hurried over. "Sister Qingshu, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" Her shoulders trembled. She cried and yelled at me, "I don't need you to care. Just go." I was completely stunned. I scratched my head. "Sister Qingshui, I didn't even make you angry." She tilted her head to look at me, sobbing as she rubbed her eyes with her little fists. The next second, she burst out crying loudly. I was completely flustered. I quickly hugged her and used a tissue to wipe her tears. "Sister Qingshui, don't cry. Please don't cry. I was wrong. I was wrong." "Okay," she asked while crying. "Where were you wrong?" I froze on the spot. That's right. Where was I wrong? How would I know where I was wrong? Seeing me dazed, Xia Qingshui cried even louder. I was in a panic, wiping her tears while holding her to comfort her. Okay, Sister Qingshu, don't cry anymore. I was wrong about everything. I shouldn't watch Gigi Bond. I shouldn't have talked back to you. Please stop crying, okay?" Perhaps seeing that I was genuinely flustered, Xia Qingshui suddenly stopped crying and looked at me pitifully. Then comfort me a little. I was speechless. "Aren't I comforting you now? You call this comforting? You need to show some real action." I scratched my head. "Then what is real action?" Xia Qingshui suddenly raised her head and held up a slender, white finger, pointing to her left cheek. "This cheek, give it a kiss." I froze. "Sister Qingshui, can we do something else?" Before I could finish my sentence, Xia Qingshui's face crumpled, on the verge of tears again. My scalp went numb, and I immediately surrendered. "Kiss, kiss, kiss. Don't cry. Please don't cry." I lifted her face and gave her a kiss. The feeling was soft and delicate. There was also a faint fragrance. My heart immediately beat faster, my cheeks burning. There were still teardrops on her face. She pointed to her right cheek. "This side needs a kiss too." Before I could even take a breath, she pointed to her lips. "Here too." I felt like the blood in my entire body was about to boil. What on earth did this female demon want to do? But seeing her pouting, about to cry any second, I could only gently kiss her. Just as I was about to pull back, Xia Qingshui suddenly put her hands on my head and launched a fierce assault like a storm. Several minutes later, she let me go, giggling. "Little Fang Yuan, your performance, this time, was very satisfactory to me. You must try harder in the future." I touched my slightly sore lips and looked at her giggling appearance. I immediately understood she was a kiss scammer again. Damn it! I fell for this female demon's trick again. All right. I won't tease you anymore. Let's watch Gigi Bond." Her scheme successful, she cheerfully pushed me down on the sofa to watch with her. After watching, she stood up and stretched. She looked at me with a sly smile. "Little Fang Yuan, I am going to take a shower. Want to shower with me?" I quickly turned my head away, my cheeks burning. "Like I want to." She looked at my blushing face, laughed charmingly, and went into the bathroom. Soon, the sound of rushing water could be heard. A graceful silhouette appeared on the frosted glass. I only glanced once before quickly looking away. Can't look. She must have a camera installed somewhere, just waiting for me to take the bait and leave evidence. Xia Qingshui tiptoed in the bathroom to peek outside. She found me with my head down, playing on my phone. She was instantly furious. She, an unparalleled super beauty, was showering, and he didn't even bother to peek. Just then, I suddenly felt a chill coming from the bathroom. This is bad. According to my childhood experience of being bullied, this is the signal that she's angry, but I really don't understand where I went wrong again. The next second, the water stopped. Her cold voice came through. "Little Fang Yuan, I forgot to grab a towel. Get one for me." My heart sank. I thought, this is not good. I quickly stood up. "Sister Qingshu, where are the towels?" "In the second closet from the left in my room." I hurried to open her bedroom door. A faint fragrance hit my face. I opened the closet and saw all kinds of dresses and black stockings inside. My face immediately flushed. "Xia Qingshui, I swear, I didn't do it on purpose." I found the towel as fast as I could and ran like the wind to the bathroom door. "Xia Qingshui, I'll leave the towel at the door. You can get it yourself." As soon as I finished speaking, the bathroom door suddenly opened. A delicate hand reached out. "Give it to me." I was standing right at the door, if I just lifted my head. Is this female demon crazy? Is she really not afraid of me seeing? No, this is definitely her trap. I am sure that if I dare to look up, she would definitely gouge my eyes out. I kept my head down and handed over the towel. I turned and left without looking back, but I could feel the murderous aura behind me instantly intensify several times over. Stop. Her voice, filled with killing intent, rang out. I immediately froze on the spot. She gritted her teeth, staring at me. Turn around. Raise your head and look at me, or I'll break your legs. I could only obediently turn around and raise my head to look at her. Xia Qingshui had wrapped herself in a towel. She rushed in front of me and grabbed my chin with one hand. You little brat. Why didn't you look at me just now? I quickly explained. Sister Qingshu, you weren't wearing anything. How could I look? She retorted righteously. Who made the rule that when I am not wearing clothes, you're not allowed to look at me? My eyes widened, my head full of question marks. She seemed to realize that this statement of hers was too gangster-like, and her cheeks flushed slightly, but she still questioned me aggressively. What I mean is, am I not pretty enough to be worth your glance? I meekly shrank back. I didn't dare to look. Why not? An idea flashed in my mind. My acting skills suddenly exploded. I looked at her seriously. Because Sister Qingshu is too beautiful. I was afraid I'd lose my soul if I glanced at you. As expected, she was as happy as a blooming flower when she heard that. She cleared her throat twice and gave a cunning smile. Since I am so beautiful, then I'll let you have a good look. Okay? I immediately had a bad feeling. Xia Qingshu, what do you want to do? Before the words were even out, I saw one of her hands suddenly grab a corner of the towel and then pull hard. The towel immediately came undone. I let out a surprised cry and unconsciously backed away, but she grabbed my hand tightly. The next second, I saw her clearly. Underneath the towel, she was wearing a small, white slip dress. I immediately breathed a sigh of relief and glared at her in annoyance. You, Bing Bing, can you not tease me like this? Seeing my angry expression, she roared with laughter. Little Fang Yuan, you're such a coward. You lose nothing by looking. What's the rush? I was speechless. Don't you have any self-awareness? I remember when I was 15, some thugs were harassing her. In less than a minute, blood-curdling screams were heard. I only found out later that she had kicked and broken those guys' little birds. Who would dare to look at this kind of female demon? I blushed and held it in for a long time, finally squeezing out a sentence. Protecting animals is everyone's responsibility. She was stunned at first, then she understood something. She glanced down at my lower abdomen and laughed even more wildly. You little brat. Who taught you to be so cheeky? I turned my face away. I am not being cheeky. This is the truth. If you laugh again, I am running away from home. Jumping down from here. She smiled sinisterly. This is the second floor. You won't die if you jump, but you'll definitely break your legs. At that time, I'll tie you to the bed. Guess what will happen then? I immediately changed to a fawning smile. Sister Qingshui, I was just kidding. You are so gentle and kind. How could you do something like that? All right, go take a shower. You have to be responsible for my body. About 10 minutes later, I came out after showering. I changed into a clean t-shirt and shorts. Xia Qingshu had just turned her head. Her gaze immediately changed. I saw her gaze, like a wolf looking at a lamb. My body shrank back. Sister Qingshu, don't look at me like that. I am scared, she giggled. She waved at me. Little Fang Yuan, come here. I am so scared. I don't want to. I just walked over. She immediately hugged me tightly, pressing me right onto her lap. Even more terrifying was that one of her hands slipped under my t-shirt. Sister Qingshui, I struggled desperately, but I basically couldn't resist her perverse strength. Her eyes lit up. These lines, you stinky brat, you even have abs. A six-pack. I answered, annoyed. I work out often. Okay. I've been working out hard since I was 8, just so that one day I could pin her down and bully her back, but I never expected that. The abs I worked so hard to get have now become her capital for teasing me. She touched my abs. My whole body felt like it was about to fly. She suddenly bit my neck. Sister Qingshui, that hurts. I hurriedly pushed her away. I looked down. A bright red hickey had appeared on my neck. I touched my neck and quickly stood up to run. Sister Qingshu, it's late. Let's go to sleep. Just as I reached the door, she grabbed my shoulder. You're going the wrong way. This is your room. I froze on the spot. Sister Qingshu, that's your room, she said with righteous indignation. We're already living together. Isn't my room your room? No time to explain. Let's go. With that said, she pulled me into her room and threw me straight onto the bed. Just a moment ago, she threw me straight onto the bed. Right after, Xia Qingshui leaped onto the bed. Her legs immediately wrapped around my waist from behind. Her mischievous hands also reached out. I was frantically cursing her for being a rogue in my heart. The next second, her hands danced over my abs and chest muscles, The corner of her mouth even curled into the satisfied smile of an old auntie. Suddenly, the force in her hands increased. A great force pressed down. My back was immediately pressed against her body. But that astonishing softness didn't diminish in the slightest. My neck and face immediately flushed hot. Does this female demon even know what she's doing? This is practically seducing someone into committing a crime. My breathing became ragged. I hurriedly grabbed her hand. Sister Qingshu, can you please not be like this? She easily broke free from my grasp with a slight jerk, and even said righteously, why can't I be like this? We're both adults. What's the big deal about touching a little? I tried to suppress the strange feeling. I can't when you're like this. Comfortable. That's your problem. You figure out how to overcome it yourself. I was completely speechless. How can you be any more tyrannical? Seeing that I was silent, she smiled even more smugly. Little Fang Yuan, you can't resist anyway. Why not just lie still obediently, and let me have my way? Instead of struggling in vain, it's better to just lie back and enjoy it. What do you say? I looked at her, speechless. Sister Qingshu, have you always been such a rogue? Nonsense. How could I always be such a rogue? I had just breathed a sigh of relief when she added seriously, I've always been much more of a rogue than this. I froze on the spot. I hated that I couldn't just slap myself. Why did I even ask that question? Don't I already know the virtues of this female demon? I really brought this upon myself. I knew I couldn't resist this female rogue, so I decisively stopped moving, letting her hands glide over my body. I could only pray for her to show mercy, and at least spare my worthless life. But after a while, I was being pressed down so much that it became really uncomfortable, so I moved slightly. As a result, she became unhappy. Don't you move. I am tracing the muscle lines on your body. The moment you move, I lose track of where my finger slipped, tracing my muscle lines. Could you possibly be any more bored? I didn't dare say it out loud. I could only explain. Sister Qingshu, staying in one position for a long time is uncomfortable for the body. She flicked me right on the forehead. That's your body's problem. What does it have to do with me? If I didn't hold you so tight, would your body be uncomfortable? So that proves your physique is no good. You can't handle my hug. It's still your problem, with your perverse strength. You could hug an ox to death. Fine. Then you just have to make yourself tougher than an ox. You can't achieve it yourself, and yet you blame me. My spirit collapsed. Sister Qingshu, can you please be a little reasonable? She giggled and pinched my face, then turned to stare into my eyes. I am being a rogue with you, and you're trying to reason with me. Do you think a rogue listens to reason? I was speechless. I can't beat her in a fight. I can't win in an argument. What karma did I create in my past life? Half an hour later, her hands finally settled down. I clearly felt my body getting a little hot. Sister Qingshu, do you feel a little hot? If it's hot, turn on the air conditioner. How could I let you suffer while living with me? The air conditioner was turned on, set to 20 degrees. The hot feeling finally subsided a little. Right after that, she pulled a summer blanket over us. I touched the blanket. I suddenly remembered how she used to hog the blanket when we were little, to the point where I caught a cold, so I couldn't help but ask weakly, Sister Qingshu, you don't hog or kick the blanket anymore, do you? Of course not. I am all grown up now. Why would I still kick the blanket? You can sleep without worry. You can trust me when I do things. I just silently grabbed a corner of the blanket and pinned it tightly under my body. Just like that, I held the blanket. She held me. The two of us quickly fell asleep. But after who knows how long, a wave of cold hit me. I abruptly opened my eyes. I reached out and felt. My body was bare again. I turned my head to look. The blanket was completely gone. Xia Qingshu had already let go of me and turned over, and that blanket was completely clamped between her legs. I had no choice but to silently reach out my hand, wanting to pull the blanket back a little. Who would have thought that as soon as I touched the corner of the blanket, Xia Qingshu's calf suddenly jolted and kicked the blanket clean off the bed. And yet the culprit remained fast asleep. Her pajamas had ridden up, revealing her tiny waist and fair abs. Even her milky white legs were clearly visible. My heart suddenly started beating fast. Sister Qingshu is so beautiful. Looking at her red lips biting her finger, I suddenly had an urge. No. I quickly warned myself. Fang Yuan, if you dare to kiss her, you'll absolutely be beaten to death. So I suppressed the urge, got off the bed to pick up the blanket, and covered her up again. Then I lay down close to her again, and also pulled the blanket over myself. I even raised the AC temperature by a few degrees, then pinned the entire blanket under my body. I refuse to believe this female demon can still snatch it away. As a result, after who knows how long again, that familiar cold feeling returned. I opened my eyes. The blanket was gone again. I had just turned my head when I happened to see Xia Qingshu's calf jolt. The blanket flew off again. I was so angry I could spit blood. Damn you, Xia Qingshu. I can't live under the same sky as you. I woke her up. She looked at me drowsily, smacking her lips in a cute, silly way. Where's the Disan Shen? This person's gluttonous nature really hasn't changed at all. I sighed helplessly and stroked her face. There's no Desan Xian. You're sleep-talking. Go to sleep. She mumbled, and conveniently hugged my hand, turned over, opened her mouth, and bit one of my fingers, sucking on it. Sister Qingxue, what you're doing is too foul. I quickly pulled my finger back. She even frowned, with a very unhappy expression. I was stunned for a moment. As if possessed, I put my finger to her lips again. She reflexively bit it, and sucked on it noisily. My face immediately turned bright red. I whispered to myself, I am doing this because I am afraid she'll wake up. Yes, I am doing all of this for her. A few minutes later, I really couldn't take it anymore, so I had to pull my finger back forcefully. I picked up the blanket and covered her again, but I couldn't get back to sleep. I stayed awake like that until 6 inches the morning. Just then, Xia Qingshu stretched, a small, fair foot, coincidentally, aimed straight for my butt. The next second, a great force came. My whole body flew straight under the bed. She heard the noise and sat up abruptly. Not seeing me, she yelled, Where's little Fang Yuan? Damn it. You dare to run away while I am sleeping. Just wait until I catch you. See if I don't break your legs. I clutched my butt and poked my head out from the side of the bed. Looking at her with a resentful gaze, I screamed in my heart, What did you do to me? Do you really not know? She saw me and blinked a few times, then asked with a strange expression, Little Fang Yuan, why are you sleeping under the bed? I completely exploded. I can't live like this anymore. I can't go on with these days. You, with the surname Xia, just kill me. I don't want this life anymore. Okay. She saw my action of rubbing my butt and immediately understood. Her momentum immediately weakened. She jumped over and hugged me tightly. Little Fang Yuan, I didn't do it on purpose. Please don't blame me, okay? I huffed and replied angrily. No, are you kidding? Just because you say not to blame you, I shouldn't? That would be too humiliating for me. She jumped over to hug me tightly again and started rubbing against me. Please don't hold it against me. It'll compensate you. The next second, a warm kiss landed straight on my face. Is this okay now? My heart thumped, but my mouth tried to act tough. Pfft, who would want that? She frowned and slapped my butt with the back of her hand. All right, you stinky brat. So you don't want it. You don't like it. It'll make you like it. Right after that, she hugged me from behind, forcefully bent me backwards for a full 2 minutes. When she let go, I even put my hands on my hips, posing like an overbearing CEO. Stinky brat. Are you convinced? My heart had already exploded. You just wait. One day, I'll bully you just like this. But my mouth immediately admitted defeat. I am convinced. Sister Qingxue, I am convinced. Completely and utterly convinced. This is NT cowardice. This is called being a wise man who submits to circumstances. Only then did she giggle in satisfaction. But the next scene left me stunned. She actually dared, in front of me, to take off her pajamas and start changing clothes. I quickly yelled, Sister Qingxue, I haven't even left yet. She smiled slyly. Then just look. It's not like I am not letting you look. So, is it nice? Want to do something interesting with me? This female rogue, I cursed, turned around with a red face and ran. Her roaring laughter came from behind me. After washing her face, she said enthusiastically, Little Fang Yuan, I'll make breakfast for you this morning. I thought of her dark cuisine from last night and immediately shuddered. I quickly stopped her. Sister Qingxu, never mind. Let me do it. No, let me. You can trust me when I do things. Watching her enter the kitchen like a dragon-slaying hero, my heart was in my throat. Sure enough, 2 minutes later, a burnt smell wafted out. I rushed into the kitchen to see. The pan was full of blackened, scrambled eggs. God only knows what they had been through. Seeing my speechless gaze, she blushed and coughed dryly. It's not that I don't know how to fry them. I just wanted to test whether this non-stick pan, would actually stick or not. You didn't add any oil. Even if the Heavenly King himself came, it would still stick to the pan. She was clearly stunned. You have to add oil too? Listen to my excuse first. I did add oil. They stuck to the pan using their own abilities. It has nothing to do with me. I was completely speechless. Could you be any more unreasonable? But I could only agree with her. Yes. 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 They themselves use their own abilities to stick to the pan. It's not your fault. So I silently took the pan, looked at her. Sister Qingxue, if you don't want me hospitalized for 3 days, then hand this blackened pan over to me. She coughed dryly, without batting an eye. She stepped aside. No problem. Of course, I'll grant your request. Half an hour later, a sumptuous breakfast was served on the table. She ate with great relish, her eyes curved into crescent moons, staring at me just like that. I was getting creeped out by her staring. After breakfast, I said I had to go to class. She immediately stood up and linked her arm with mine. I have to go to school too. Let's go together. When we reached the school gate, the two of us had to part ways. she suddenly tilted her head and warned me menacingly. Little Fang Yuan, when I am not here, if you dare to flirt with other girls, I will break your legs. Do you hear me? I gritted my teeth inwardly. Detestable woman, who do you think you are? But my mouth remained soft, answering, okay, Sister Qingxue. I won't. Only then did she pat my shoulder in satisfaction. That's more like it. I hummed in agreement, pretending to casually turn and leave, but the next second, I turned my head to confirm that the female demon had disappeared. And then I took off running like crazy. I flew into the classroom like an arrow. I've finally escaped her. Just thinking about the fear of being dominated by her last night made me grind my teeth in hatred. Besides being beautiful, what other good points does this female demon have? Just then, a chubby boy came running over and plopped down next to me. His name is Zhang Jiyuan, my first good friend at university. As soon as he opened his mouth, he nudged me. Brother Yuan, why did you say that the goddess Xia Qingshu is a female demon? Hearing Xia Qingshu's name, my face twitched, and I blurted out, what the hell do you know? She's a female rogue, a violence fanatic. Have you ever seen a pure and innocent campus belle who can shatter a brick with one slap? Have you ever seen a gentle goddess who can beat up a group of thugs until they kneel and call her grandma? Zhang Jiyuan was stunned. He looked at me as if I were the leader of an anti-fan club. Bro, she's the dream of 900 million teenagers. By saying that, aren't you afraid of getting beaten up on the street? I couldn't be bothered with him. I just picked up my phone and unlocked it. Zhang Jiyuan happened to be looking at my screen. The next second, he was suddenly stunned. Right after, a scream tore through the classroom. Damn. Brother Yuan. This wallpaper of yours. You kissed the goddess Xia? Immediately. The gazes of the entire class shot towards me. My whole body froze. I quickly locked the screen and stuffed it into my pocket. I am screwed. That wallpaper that female demon forced me to change to last night, I forgot to change it back. Now the whole class knows. I quickly tried to do damage control. Don't talk nonsense. That's not Xia Qingxue. You saw wrong. If this news gets out and she finds out, she will definitely beat me to death. But Zhang Jiyuan insisted. I saw it very clearly. That was the goddess Xia Qingxue. He pressed closer. Come on, confess. Are you having an affair with the goddess Xia? Looking at the wide eyes all around, I screamed in my heart. It's over. This is truly a fatal question. If I admit it, the female demon will break my legs. My brain worked quickly. I suddenly had an idea. I could only bite the bullet and say, all right, I admit it. I photoshopped this picture. I didn't kiss her. It was all just me messing around. You guys absolutely must not spread this around. As soon as everyone, I heard, they breathed a sigh of relief. It's a Photoshop. You scared me to death. I thought my goddess was taken. Damn, the school's heartthrob also plays this Photoshop game. I told you so. You're definitely trying to slander the goddess Xia on purpose, trying to reduce the competition. So cunning. Hearing these chaotic sounds, my head was spinning. Whatever. As long as this doesn't reach that female demon's ears, it's fine. The class bell rang. I immediately got into study mode. I am a finance major in one summer vacation. I helped my dad recover a 50-point stock loss, and even earn an extra 20 points. Near the end of class, the fatty Zhang Jiyuan sitting next to me suddenly nudged me. You honor? Big trouble. The thing about you photoshopping a picture kissing Goddess Lin has been posted under the school's official Weibo account. Seeing the comments piling up, I was completely dumbfounded. Which bastard did this good deed? Xia Qingxue has countless fans at school. Once this blows up, she will find out immediately. At that time, even if I don't die, it'll be skinned alive. I suddenly looked up and stared at Zhang Jiyuan. Don't tell me you betrayed me. He immediately puffed out his chest and spoke nonsense. How could I be that kind of person? I glanced over. It really wasn't him. But now that the matter has blown up like this, how am I going to solve this? The only thing left in my mind was one sentence. I am doomed. Just then, the school bell rang. The teacher turned and left. The students also poured out. At that moment, a tall and beautiful figure walked in through the classroom door. It was Xia Qingxue. The moment she walked in, the entire classroom fell silent. Everyone stopped in their tracks. Why is she here in our department? I shrank my neck and lowered my head, frantically muttering under my breath, can't see me, can't see me. The next second, the gaze of Xia Qingxue swept across the classroom. Her clear voice rang out. Excuse me, is Fang Yuan here? Whoosh. Everyone's eyes turned towards me. I hurriedly tugged on Zhang Jiyuan's sleeve. Jiyuan, quickly tell her, I am not here, or else I am dead meat. Zhang Jiyuan immediately strained his neck and yelled, Goddess, Fang Yuan is not with me. I looked up at him. What a damn traitor. Xia Qingxue saw me and flashed a lethally sweet smile. She walked straight towards me. I weakly shrank my neck back, feeling as if my great-grandmother was beckoning me from the afterlife. Sister Qingxue, Please listen to my excuse. But unexpectedly, Sha Qingshui looked at me with a puzzled expression. Excuse? What excuse? I just came to find you for lunch. My expression immediately changed. Lunch? So you're saying you didn't come looking for me because of the Weibo incident? Sha Qingshui looked even more confused. What happened on Weibo? She said as she was about to take out her phone. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly grabbed her hand and pushed it down. Heaven is truly helping me. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Nothing's wrong. Let's eat first. Eating is more important, no matter what. I have to hold her back first. I'll find a chance to slip away later. Sha Qingshui didn't think much of it. She put an arm around my neck and pulled me close. Little Fang Yuan is so obedient today. I like it. Let's go eat. Just like that, I was dragged out with her arm around my shoulder. I could feel the dagger-like stares of the entire class on my back. It's over. This is like yellow mud falling into my pants. Even if it's not crap, it's treated as crap. Sure enough, as soon as we left the lecture building, the school's official Weibo account at Jiangzhou University blew up again, but I was completely unaware. As she dragged me in front of a Bentley, she smiled sweetly at me. Little Fang Yuan, I found a really delicious restaurant. Let me take you there. Do you agree? I scratched my head. Can I not agree? Of course. You can. If you don't agree, it'll break your legs. I knew it. I just like to persuade people with reason. I immediately nodded. Okay, Sister Qingshui. Let's go. I completely trust your taste and character. A dozen or so minutes later, in a private room at the restaurant, just looking at the decor, you could tell it was ridiculously expensive. A single meal probably cost several thousand yuan. I wondered to myself, she doesn't usually work. She drives a Bentley, eats at fancy restaurants. Where does she get so much money? Xia Qingshui pushed the menu to me. Order, Little Fang Yuan. Order whatever you want. I have plenty of money. She beamed at me, but her eyes were filled with desire. After ordering, I looked up and saw her resting her chin on her hands, staring at me without blinking. With a silly smile on her face, drool was about to drip from her mouth. I shivered. Sister Qingshui, what? What do you want to do? She subconsciously wiped the corner of her mouth and blurted out, I want to eat human flesh. My Adam's apple bobbed. Cannibalism is illegal. She burst out laughing. Stinky kid. Did I mean eating that way? You have no sense of romance at all. Why are you so far away from me? Come here, sit on my lap. As she spoke, she even patted her lap, looking fierce. My whole body stiffened. I wanted to ask if I could not sit, but seeing her eyes that allowed no room for doubt, I immediately swallowed my words. With this female demon, there was basically no room for negotiation. I had just walked in front of her when she wrapped an arm around my waist and directly pulled me onto her lap. A soft sensation pressed against me. My face immediately flushed red. Sha Qingshui pinched my cheek, her smile growing even brighter. Little Fang Yuan, why are you so shy? You haven't fallen for me, have you? I quickly said. You're talking nonsense, she retorted. Then why are you blushing? Besides, you've been sitting on my lap since you were 8. How are you still not used to it? I retorted in a low voice. How can childhood be the same as now? Back then, you weren't this big. I subconsciously glanced at her chest. She looked down, and a blush immediately appeared on her face too. But the next second, a mischievous smile suddenly appeared on her lips. Then, she placed one hand on my shoulder and slipped it down my collar. My body suddenly trembled, and I quickly grabbed her hand. Sister Qingshui, what are you doing? She winked at me, and then pulled her own collar down a bit. Her milky white shoulder was immediately exposed before my eyes. I felt my heart beat faster. This female demon, does she really know what she's doing? She moved closer to me and asked softly, Little Fang Yuan, let me ask you, do you think I am beautiful? I subconsciously nodded. Beautiful? Of course. If you weren't beautiful, how could you be the dream of 900 million young men? Then let me ask you, if I couldn't move right now, what would you do to me? She looked at me with an expectant expression. I heard she couldn't move. What would I do? Does that even need to be said? Of course I'd run. If I don't run, should I wait for her to torture me to death? So I blurted out, then of course I'd run. In an instant, the expectation in her eyes froze. Run. She gritted her small canine teeth and looked at me coldly. Do you really hate me that much? You actually want to run? I was startled by this sudden cold aura and hurriedly explained. That's not it. Sister Qingshui, it's not that I hate you. Not hate me? Then why do you want to run? I answered honestly. It's because I am scared. I am so beautiful. What are you scared of? I muttered under my breath. You are beautiful. But that doesn't change the fact that you can kill a cow with one slap. Of course, I only dared to think this in my head. She wrinkled her nose and started to argue defensively. Puff. That's because I was born with divine strength. Can you blame me for that? Besides, I am usually very ladylike. I control it very well. After speaking, she slammed her hand on the table, looking unconvinced. Then, with a crack, the thick marble table actually developed a crack. I watched the marble table leg fall off and felt a chill run down my spine. Right. This is the feeling. In 10 years, she hasn't changed a bit. Xia Qingshu looked at the shattered tabletop. Her face, which had just been angry, froze for a few seconds. A few seconds later, she pointed at the table and shouted, I want to complain. I want to complain about this tofu dread construction. She turned to look at me. Little Fang Yuan, if I told you it was because of its poor quality, would you believe me? Would I dare not to believe it? After changing rooms, Xia Qingshu didn't say anything more, just ate with her head down. Compared to her usual teasing demeanor, she was like a completely different person. But the more she acted like this, the more panicked I became. I am doomed. She's definitely thinking of some new way to torture me. I can't fail before I even start. Sister Qingshu, I am sorry. I misspoke earlier. Can you not be angry anymore? I said tentatively. She didn't look up and coldly tossed back a sentence. I am not angry. The moment I heard that, I knew I was done for. She even used her ultimate move. I am not angry. This time, it's truly impossible to escape this calamity. I know all too well. In her vocabulary, I am not angry is equivalent to, I am about to blow up the sky. I hurriedly explained. Sister Qingshu, I really didn't mean it. I don't actually hate you. I am just. But she cut me off. You don't need to say anymore. You're scared of me. I know. Since you hate me so much, from now on, I won't bother you anymore. After this meal, I will never bother you again. As she spoke, a tear fell with a plop. My hand holding the chopsticks immediately froze. Seeing her crying with her head down, my heart suddenly ached. It was more uncomfortable than when I cried myself. I quickly put down my chopsticks, stood up and walked over to her side, awkwardly wanting to wipe her tears. Sister Qingshu, please don't cry. But she dodged my hand and said while crying, I don't need your concern. My hand froze in midair. My heart suddenly clenched, as if something I couldn't let go of was being forcibly taken away. This feeling was painfully uncomfortable. But I also felt horrified, my heart aching for her. Fang Yuan, are you mistaken? She's a female demon. Stinky kid. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Get out. She suddenly stood up and pushed me out with one hand. No matter how I tried to explain, she wouldn't listen, and directly pushed me out the door, slamming it shut with a bang. I was pushed out, but I didn't leave. Just thinking of her tear-stained face, I felt a wave of regret and self-blame. Although she's strong and sometimes fierce, I've still lived well for the past 10 years. Besides, she's so beautiful. Wait, am I actually speaking up for her? She's bullied me for 10 years. She's crying at most, because she won't have a human punching bag to torture anymore, right? I should slip away. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I turned around, preparing to leave, but my foot stopped halfway in the air. But she looked so heartbroken when she cried. I've never seen her so heartbroken. Moreover, she can't drink alcohol. She gets drunk and vomits violently, and she has a terrible sense of direction. Leaving her here alone, she might not even find her way home. Countless thoughts flashed through my mind. I immediately turned back. I am doing this to keep a promise. It's definitely not because I feel bad for her. I encouraged myself, summoned all my courage, and pushed the door open. As soon as I peeked my head in, I saw her face was flushed red, looking at me dazedly. In her hand was a bottle of wine and a glass. A bit of wine lingered at the corner of her mouth, making her look lazily seductive, but I was in no mood to appreciate it. Seeing the wine in her hand, I immediately rushed forward. Sister Qingshu, what are you doing? You can't drink. Don't you know that? Give it to me. Now. She pouted, and tears fell again, pushing my hand away with one of hers. I don't need you to care. Go away. Sister Qingshu, I was wrong earlier. I am sorry. Okay, be good and give me the wine. I won't. Aren't you scared of me? Go away. Damn Fang Yuan. Stinky Fang Yuan, I don't want to see you anymore. Seeing her look so stubborn and heartbroken, my heart ached intensely again. I said nothing, and directly reached out to snatch the bottle, but she wouldn't let me, and pushed me again. My expression suddenly darkened. I don't know where the courage came from. I bonked her on the head and roared fiercely. Xia Qingshu, that's enough. Do you know what you're doing? How sick do you get when you drink? Have you forgotten? At 8, you secretly drank my dad's wine. You vomited until your stomach lining was damaged. At 12, you secretly drank Uncle Lin's wine and vomited so much you were hospitalized for 3 days. Do you know how many bottles of wine I've had to hide over the years to stop you from drinking secretly? Just now, Xia Qingshu. This female demon actually cried her eyes out because of me. She even clung to the wine bottle and wouldn't let go. For the first time, I yelled at this female demon. You don't feel bad for yourself, but I do. You've bullied me for 10 years. On what grounds can you just say you won't bully me anymore, and then just stop? Did you ask if I agreed? Then I snatched the wine bottle. How dare you act up with me? Yelled at by me. She shrank her neck, and her hand actually let go. But as soon as I threw the bottle in the trash, I turned back and immediately felt guilty. Oh God. I actually scolded this female demon. When she sobers up, isn't she going to kill me? But right now, I can't worry about that. Besides, I promised her uncle I wouldn't let her drink. I have to keep my promise. And besides, she gets amnesia when she drinks. When she wakes up, she'll surely have forgotten everything. It's a rare chance to scold her. It'd be a waste not to. Thinking of this, I put on a fierce expression again, and walked coldly in front of her. What are you looking at? Come here, I'll carry you to the car. After speaking, I scooped her up in a princess carry, turned, and left. In my arms, she was incredibly quiet. Not only that, she even placed her hand on my chest, with a foolishly contented smile on her face. This woman, she even likes being scolded. I quickly carried her to the car, and gently placed her in the back seat, continuing to pretend to be fierce. You sit quietly in the back for me, do you hear me? But as soon as I got in the car, I started to worry. I know her constitution. The moment she touches alcohol, she vomits. And she vomits violently. Just thinking of her miserable state, I couldn't help but furrow my brows. However, from the mirror, I saw her in the rearview mirror. She was actually looking at me with a joyful expression. Just then, her stomach suddenly lurched. A moment ago she was grinning. The next second, she was frowning, looking like she was about to vomit. Oh no. She's going to vomit. My heart tensed up. I quickly sped up and drove home. As soon as the car stopped steadily, I quickly got out and opened the back door, preparing to carry her. But I looked down, and was suddenly stunned. The redness on her face had faded a lot, and her eyes were no longer hazy. She was unexpectedly sober. 10,000 questions immediately popped into my head. Sister Qingshui, how come you look fine now? Her heart skipped a beat. The next second, she suddenly clutched her chest, pretending to be extremely uncomfortable. Ugh, little Fang Yuan. I am going to throw up. I feel so sick. Don't go. But I still felt that something was wrong. Something's not right. Sister Qingshu, you used to pass out unconscious whenever you drank. How are you so sober today? She looked at me, blinking, and suddenly started spouting nonsense. Ah, who am I? Where am I? What did I do? I was immediately speechless. Sister Qingshu, your acting is really terrible. But I still didn't dare to leave. What if she really was very uncomfortable? So I carried her into the house, and placed her on the bed. I even thoughtfully got a trash can. In the end, she just whimpered and groaned, showing no signs of wanting to vomit at all. Just then, she suddenly put on a weak act again. Little Fang Yuan, my stomach hurts so much. It's so uncomfortable. I immediately went over and helped her sit up, letting her lean against me. Right after, she pointed to her abdomen. Tummy hurts. I was completely bewildered. Doesn't drinking alcohol cause a stomachache? How can it be an abdominal pain? Wait a moment, let me rub it for you. I placed my hand on her abdomen, and gently massaged it. The place my hand touched was soft, and my face immediately heated up. After a while, I quickly asked her, Sister Qingshui, is it better now? It's better. The moment she said it, she regretted it. The next second, she suddenly pointed to her chest. But it still hurts here. Rub it for me too. I was petrified on the spot. Can I massage that spot? Sister Qingshui, can't you have pain somewhere else? I am hurting right here. Do you find me annoying? You don't want to pay attention to me anymore, do you? Seeing that she was about to cry, my heart softened. Okay. I'll rub it for you. Alright. I reached out my hand, blushing. The sensation was both warm and soft. She took the opportunity to bury her face in my neck. It's over. I've fallen for this female demon's trick. My face was burning hot. The movements of my hand were very gentle. I tried to tell myself not to have impure thoughts, but that astonishing feeling still made my mind race. I am a young man in my prime. This is completely tempting me to commit a crime. Gradually, I didn't realize the pressure from my hand was increasing. She suddenly screamed, ah, which startled me back to my senses. I quickly pushed her away, with a panicked expression. What's wrong? Xia Qingshui, this won't do. Let me take you to the hospital. That worried expression warmed her heart. She looked at me, blushing. You squeezed too hard. My face immediately turned as red as a pig's liver. Oh no, how do I explain this? Sorry, Xia Qingshui. I didn't do it on purpose. She will definitely kill me to vent her anger. But not only was she not angry, she even looked at me resentfully, acting as if she were uncomfortable. Little Fang Yuan, my head hurts so much. I want to sleep now. Don't go. Can you sleep with me? She took the opportunity to lie in my arms, getting ready to fall onto the bed. I immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Xia Qingshui didn't seem to notice. That's great. Xia Qingshui, let me massage your head. I gently laid her down, and then massaged her. In head. As my fingers danced, she felt a wave of comfort on her scalp. After massaging for a while, my fingers slipped to the rim of her ear, touching her earlobe. Her body trembled involuntarily, as if she had been electrocuted. Oh no. Don't touch that. She screamed wildly in her mind. I continued to massage. Soon her body tensed up, her face flushed red. Little Fang Yuan, I feel my headache is gone. Don't massage anymore. I nodded, about to get up to pour some water, when I suddenly saw that the rim of her ear was as red as a peach blossom. Taking advantage of her drunkenness, I reached out and pinched Xi Qingshu's ear. Your ears are so cute. Her body immediately straightened, like a volcano about to erupt, but I was completely oblivious. I got up, intending to leave, but as soon as I turned around, I was hugged tightly by her. Then the world started spinning. With a thud, I was thrown onto the bed by her. A face as radiant as a peach blossom appeared before my eyes. Xia Qingshui, what are you trying to do? She pinned me down. Without a word, she launched a frantic attack. It hurt so much I wanted to escape, but she didn't even give me a chance to struggle. I don't know how long it had been before I found a chance to escape. I panted and cried out in pain. Xia Qingshui, it hurts. Only then did she regain a sliver of rationality. She rolled off me, looking at me with a dazed expression. Little Fang Yuan, I just had a nightmare. I dreamt that a puppy was biting my mouth. I was immediately speechless. A puppy? Who are you looking down on? I seriously suspected she was lying, but on second thought, she really did have a habit of sleepwalking. I remember a few years ago, she had covered my mouth in the middle of the night. Could this time be sleepwalking too? The atmosphere instantly became quiet. She was anxious in her heart. My acting is so good. He must have believed it. I thought to myself, Xia Qingshui must have been sleepwalking. It wasn't the first time. After all, thinking of this, I suddenly laughed. It's okay. Xia Qingshu, you were just sleepwalking. Go to sleep. Get some good rest. She immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Immediately after, she opened her arms and hugged my waist, whining again. Little Fang Yuan, I feel so uncomfortable. I am scared of the dark. I don't dare to sleep alone. I looked out the window. Xia Qingshui, it's still daytime. She was immediately at a loss for words, but she immediately came up with a new excuse. I am afraid my stomach or chest will hurt again later. If you're not here, what if something happens to me? Didn't you promise my dad that you would take good care of me? She looked up at me. Her expression was pitiful and innocent. Little Fang Yuan, I am cold. I want a hug. What is this situation? The female demon is actually acting cute with me. She has a cute side like this. Seeing my surprise, she immediately increased her strength, wrapping her whole body around me. We're childhood sweethearts. After all, a faint body fragrance wafted into my nose. My body immediately tensed up. This vixen. All right. Xia Qingshui, I won't go. I'll stay with you. Don't use so much strength. I can't breathe. She acted weak. No. If I let go, you'll run away. What should I do? I had black lines all over my head. With her physique that could take down a cow. No matter how fast I run, can I be faster than her breaking my legs? But seeing her obedient appearance, I couldn't bear to leave. This is the first time I've seen Xia Qingshui in this state. She immediately snuggled into my arms. Little Fang Yuan, hug me, hold me tight. I put my arms around her from behind. My hands were filled with softness. I unconsciously blushed, my heart pounding. This position is too against the rules. When I opened my eyes again, a body fragrance hit my face. I don't know when she turned around. She was curled up in my arms like a kitten. The golden sunlight fell on her face, her perfect side profile. I was immediately stunned. How can there be such a beautiful girl in the world? I couldn't help but reach out my hand, gently brushing the hair from the corner of her mouth. She was still mumbling in her mouth that she was dreaming. My heart tightened. Sleepwalking. Xia Qingshui, your acting is so bad. Who sleepwalks and tells others about it? Suddenly remembering I had a class tonight, I immediately jumped out of bed. If I can't tease her, can't I at least run away? This time, she actually didn't hold me back. As soon as I arrived at the classroom door, a chubby face leaned in. Zhang Zhuan asked me worriedly if I was upset by the news online. I was dumbfounded. News online? What news is there online? The thing about you and the goddess Xia Qingshui has caused a huge fight on the school's official Weibo account. Those people have even moved to the school forum. I quickly took out my phone to check. The forum had indeed exploded. The topics were almost all about me and Xia Qingshui. Some people said we were dating. Some said I photoshopped the picture to spread rumors. It was truly a chaotic mess. Zhang Jiwen immediately leaned in, asking me with a gossipy look, hurry up and confess. Are you two really a couple? I immediately denied it. Xia Qingshui and I are really not a couple. We just grew up together since we were kids. His eyes widened even more. Childhood sweethearts? Oh my god, this news is so hot. I quickly added, we are childhood sweethearts, but not lovers, at least not now. As soon as the words left my mouth, I suddenly thought of a problem. If Xia Qingshui really had a boyfriend, what kind of person would he be? Suddenly, I felt my heart sink. An unspeakable feeling of suffocation filled my heart. What's happening? Why do I seem to not want Xia Qingshui to have a boyfriend? Walking into the classroom, I was surrounded by whispers about me. They were pointing and whispering secretly. I was extremely annoyed inside. But just at this moment, a sweet voice suddenly came from beside me. Fang Yuan, can I sit next to you? I looked up. A beautiful girl in a white dress was smiling brightly at me. It was Xu Lingling, the belle of our finance department. I immediately stammered a little. No, there's no one. She smiled mischievously, then sat right down. She even deliberately placed her book towards me and leaned her body towards me, but I turned my head away and slumped straight onto the desk. She was very beautiful and also very sweet, but I don't know why. I didn't have the slightest interest in her. I looked at Xu Lingling's face, but my mind was filled with that aggressive Xia Qingshui. One is sweet but a bit fake. The other is overly domineeringly genuine. She even forced a kiss by pinning me directly against the wall. My gaze was blank. I suddenly pinched my own face. What the hell? I actually kind of missed the feeling of being forcibly kissed by her. Oh no, I think I am sick. I am actually missing the feeling of being mistreated by Xia Qingshui. I quickly shook my head. I have to stop. If I keep thinking, it'll go crazy. But I didn't realize that Zhu Lingling beside me was still tilting her head, staring at me. She bit her lip, her eyes full of calculation. The more the people around looked, the more they looked at me with jealous eyes. A hot guy is truly on another level. He just had rumors with a goddess surnamed Shaya, and now the department bell is initiating a conversation. Finally, the bell rang, 3 classes ended, and it was already 9:20 p.m. I packed my books, preparing to bolt. Xu Lingling suddenly leaned in front of me, smiling sweetly. Fang Yuan, do you live off campus? Only then did I realize there was someone next to me. I nodded, and she immediately pouted, acting pitifully. I also live outside. The road is a bit dark. I am scared to go home alone. Can you walk me home? I was stunned on the spot. Walk her home? The first thought that popped into my head was, if I walk her home, will Xia Qingshui be unhappy? But then again, why should I care if she's happy or not? She's not my girlfriend, but it's so late now. That girl is afraid of the dark. I should still go back a little earlier. That's right. I am doing this to keep my promise to Uncle Lin. Thinking of this, I said directly, I have to go home and study. How about you take a taxi? Xu Lingling was stunned. She completely didn't expect me to refuse. She rolled her eyes and immediately grabbed my hand, acting cute. But taking a taxi can be dangerous too. What if someone has bad intentions? Fang Yuan, please walk me home. Please? I am begging you. She was bothering me to the point of a headache. Suddenly, my eyes lit up. You're just afraid of being in danger alone, so as long as someone walks you home, it's fine. I suddenly pointed to Zhang Zhuan behind me. Yuan air, you walk Xu Ling home. Zhang Zhuan's eyes widened. His expression was one of disbelief. Could such a good thing happen? Xu Lingling was dumbfounded. There's such a move? But she reacted extremely quickly. She gripped my hand tightly and didn't let go. That Shang Ziyuan, how can his physique compare to yours? If we really meet a bad person, what can he do to help me? The next second, her eyes started to well up with tears, looking like she was about to cry. If you don't walk me home, I'll cry. The eyes of everyone around were focused on me. I didn't want to be watched like a monkey either. Forget it. Isn't it just walking her for a little while? All right, let's go then. But I am in a hurry. We might have to walk a little faster. Xu Lingling immediately stopped crying and smiled. She excitedly pulled my hand and walked out. Thank you, Brother Yuan. Let's go. Brother Yuan. The way she addressed me changed in a second. I was dragged out by her. All around were jealous gazes, and on her face was a triumphant smile. That's right. What she wanted was this feeling of being noticed by everyone. As soon as we left the school, she deliberately chose the furthest and darkest path. On the way, she kept pulling my hand. I pulled away. She pulled it back. The pace under my feet also slowed down. I glanced at my phone. Only 3% battery left. My heart immediately tightened. The weather forecast said there would be a thunderstorm tonight. That woman is afraid of the dark, and even more afraid of thunder. I couldn't help but speak up. Xu Lingling, can we walk a little faster? I have things to do at home. But she was in no hurry, and even acted cute. I am already walking very fast. The lights are so dim. What if I fall? How about you carry me? I frowned and refused outright. Are you kidding? Xie Qingshu would be furious if she found out. She dawdled for another 10 minutes. Only then did we arrive outside the residential area. I breathed a sigh of relief. All right, you can go home on your own now. Right? I am leaving first. But before I could even turn around, she hugged my arm tightly. Fang Yuan, don't go. They sell barbecue over there. Can we go eat some skewers together? I took out my phone to check. Only the last 1% of battery left. Dark clouds filled the sky. A thunderstorm could come at any moment. If my phone dies, Xie Qingshui won't be able to contact me. I immediately refused. No, I really have something to do. But she held my arm and wouldn't let go. She whined and lied. My parents aren't home yet. I am so bored at home alone. Without waiting for my reply, she shouted directly at the barbecue stall, "Give me 10 meat skewers." The next second, she turned to look at me, her expression triumphant. Brother Yuan, I've already ordered everything. If you leave now, it will be very awkward for me. I was dying of impatience inside, but I am a soft-hearted person. I can't do things that make others feel awkward. I took a deep breath. I could only compromise. How about 5 minutes then? She immediately nodded. Yes, thank you, Brother Yuan. I suppressed my disgust. Just call me by my name. I am not used to Brother Yuan. No, I just like calling you Brother Yuan. I was completely speechless. I could only stare at the time. I had never felt 5 minutes to be so long. Finally, 5 minutes had passed. I quickly pulled my hand away. Time's up. I have to go home now. She still wouldn't let go. She pointed to the skewers on the grill. Brother Yuan, the skewers aren't ready yet. Wait until they're cooked before you go. If you leave now, I'll cry. Looking at that face of hers, I suddenly felt a wave of disgust. I yanked hard, forcibly pulling my hand out of hers. I said I have to go home. You said walking you home would only take 10 minutes, but it ended up taking half an hour. You said 5 minutes, and now you want 10. Can't you keep your word for once? If it were Xie Qingshui, I wouldn't have as much trouble as with you. After saying that, I turned and left. I ran home like crazy. Suddenly, a flash of lightning streaked across the night sky, followed by a loud clap of thunder. My heart skipped a beat. Sure enough, there was a thunderstorm. Xia Qingshu has been afraid of thunder since she was a child. She must be very scared all alone. I quickly took out my phone, preparing to text her, but as soon as I unlocked it, the screen immediately went black. The battery is dead. Damn it. I was so angry I almost threw my phone. Why did it have to die at this moment? Xia Qingshui must have heard the thunder, and will definitely text me. My phone is dead. Xia Qingshui can't find me. She will definitely go crazy. No. I have to take a taxi home immediately. I made an instant decision. I immediately rushed to the road, but after running just a few steps, a downpour started immediately. My clothes were soaked in just a few seconds. Thunder and lightning rumbled in the sky. Strong winds howled. Taxis immediately became the most sought-after thing, but when I ran to the roadside, all the taxis had their occupied lights on. The heavy rain also caused traffic jams. Hailing a cab was impossible. I was as anxious as if on fire. Looking into the distance, there wasn't a single empty car. At this rate, I wouldn't be able to get a car until the year of the monkey and the month of the horse. In the sky, thunder rumbled continuously. My heart was burning with anxiety. I can't wait any longer. At this rate, Xia Qingshu will definitely be scared out of her wits. I gritted my teeth, aimed for the right direction, and rushed straight into the pouring rain. My legs were like spinning motors. The rainwater lashed against my face, but I paid it no mind. There was only one thought in my head: get home quickly. Finally, I ran all the way to the door of the house. I rushed into her room, only to see her whole body curled up in the blanket, shivering. My heart tightened. I threw off the blanket. Xia Qingshu. She suddenly turned her head and saw me soaking wet, panting. She let out a wail and burst into tears. Completely ignoring my soaked clothes, she threw herself into my arms. Sob little Fang Yuan, I thought you didn't want me anymore. Feeling her trembling body, my heart suddenly clenched, an indescribable heartache, like a tide pressing down on my chest. Xia Qingshu's face was pale. Her eyes were filled with terror. This was the same Xia Qingshu who could split bricks at 8 years old and beat up her bullies at 10. Now she was trembling in my arms. Her fingers were clenched so tightly they turned white. My heart felt like it was being torn apart. It was full of worry, sadness, and damn self-blame. I held her tightly. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Xia Qingshu. I am back. How could I not want you? I promised Uncle Lin I would take care of you. You're also my landlord. If I run away, wouldn't you break my legs? I gently patted her back, trying to make my voice sound warm, but Xia Qingshui cried even harder. The rainwater on me immediately soaked her clothes, but she didn't care at all. She just hugged me tightly, as if she wanted to embed herself into my body. My whole body was clearly freezing cold, yet she said she felt warmth. Normally, she was the one bullying me, but now she found a sense of security from me. After a long while, her emotions finally stabilized. She looked up at me with a grieved expression. "Why didn't you answer my call? I thought you didn't want me anymore." In that moment, I was filled with immense guilt. It's all because I was soft-hearted. I was delayed for so long because I walked Xu Lingling home. If only I had come home earlier. Xia Qingshu wasn't this scared. I felt extremely guilty inside, but I forced a smile onto my face. It's all my fault for forgetting to charge my phone this afternoon. That's why you couldn't find me. I swear it will never happen again. Without Xia Qingshui, it'd feel weird if you weren't bullying me. Besides, Xia Qingshui is so beautiful. Just looking at your face, I couldn't bear to leave you behind. These words really worked. Her expression improved a lot, but she was still muttering nonstop. Damn little Fang Yuan. Stinky little Fang Yuan. How dare you leave me at home alone? I have to bully you 10 more times to teach you the consequences of abandoning me. I immediately agreed. 10 times it is. I wouldn't be afraid even if it were 10 years. All right. Look at your clothes. They're all wet. Go change into something else. Don't catch a cold. She wrinkled her nose, her expression both fierce and cute. HMH. It's all your fault. I am soaked all over. My clothes have become transparent. If she hadn't said it, I wouldn't have noticed. Now that she mentioned it, my gaze became uncontrollable. Oh my god, the thin t-shirt she was wearing was now completely plastered to her body, turning it semi-transparent. The delicate curves beneath were faintly visible. Even the white lace that was like an angel's feathers exuded a deadly charm. Sensing my gaze, her cheeks immediately flushed red. She glared at me in a fiercely cute way. "You brat. Where are you looking?" I quickly averted my eyes, shaking my head guiltily. I wasn't looking anywhere. I wasn't looking anywhere. She bared her small canine teeth and asked one question. What color? My brain short-circuited instantly. I blurted out. White. Round and white. I am doomed. It was a slip of the tongue. Xia Qingshu's face turned even redder. Is this what you call not looking anywhere? This is not a place to linger. My face burned. I turned around and ran. Xia Qingshui, the floor is all wet. I am going to get changed first. After saying that, I rushed straight into the bedroom, grabbed my clothes, and ran into the bathroom. HMH, you brat. Your mouth says you hate it, but your heart is very honest. I rushed into the bathroom, closed the door, my heart pounding like a drum. But just then, I suddenly saw, on the frosted glass door, a sneaky figure appeared. The figure got closer and closer, like a kitten tiptoeing, gently approaching. What is she trying to do? My scalp tingled for a moment. She actually followed me here. I didn't have time to think. I quickly dried myself, put on my pants, grabbed a shirt, and went to open the door. The moment I opened the lit door, I saw Xia Qingshui staring at me with bright eyes. She even opened her mouth and slurped, sucking something shiny inside. I subconsciously took 2 steps back. Xia Qingshu, why are you here? But her eyes were glued to my abs, not even blinking. Why can't I be here? This is my house. I felt something was wrong. I tentatively asked Xia Qingshui, you're not peeping on me, are you? Her expression turned serious, her reasoning bold. She spouted nonsense with great bravado. You're Xia Qingshu. Am I that kind of person? I was clearly watching openly and honorably. How can you call that peeping? I was rendered speechless. I just felt that something wasn't right, but I couldn't put my finger on it. It wasn't until I looked down that I realized I had forgotten to put on my shirt. My face immediately flushed red. I hurriedly put on my shirt. Xia Qingshui smacked her lips, reluctantly, and sized me up with that look in her eyes. Her gaze made all the hair on my body stand on end. Xia Qingshu, don't look at me like that. I am afraid you got cold earlier. I am going to make some ginger soup. Don't run around, okay? After saying that, I fled into the kitchen, but as soon as I started making the soup, I felt a burning gaze on my back. I turned around, and sure enough, it was her. She was leaning against the kitchen doorway, biting her finger and staring at me with a look of infatuation. It was as if she wanted to eat me alive. I finally managed to finish making the ginger soup. I brought it out and placed it on the table. Xia Qingshui, drink all the ginger soup later. No pouring it out. I knew she hated the spicy taste of ginger soup the most. She always used to secretly pour it out. Sure enough, she pouted, with an unwilling expression. Can I just have a small sip? I immediately shook my head. No, you have to finish it all. She huffed. She tilted her head and acted spoiled. My mouth is on my body. I am not drinking it. What can you do to me? I frowned. You have to listen to me on this. If you dare not drink it, I'll have to force it down your throat. Hey. You think you can force me? Can you even do it? I felt like I was being looked down on. A proud man. How can he be told he can't? So what if I force you? Go on. Bite me. I don't know where the courage came from. My head heated up, and I suddenly rushed forward. I scooped her up in one arm and roughly pushed her down onto the sofa. She was stunned. She clearly didn't expect me to actually make a move. By the time she came to her senses, I already had one arm around her neck. The other hand brought the ginger soup to her lips. Xie Qing Shui, drink it. She glared at me fiercely and cutely. You brat, you really dare to force me. I closed my eyes and went for it. I am a real man, what's there to be afraid of? She suddenly smiled, pressing her lips together tightly. I won't open my mouth. Let's see how you'll force me. Who could stand this? My head buzzed. I suddenly remembered a cheesy scene from a TV drama, so I picked up the bowl, took a big gulp myself, holding the ginger soup in my mouth. The next second, I kissed her, right on her surprised lips. Xie Qingshu's pupils instantly dilated. She totally didn't expect me to use this move. Her lips parted unconsciously. She actually drank all the ginger soup on her own. She even licked her lips as if wanting more, which happened to touch mine. That warm, soft feeling immediately brought me back to my senses. My eyes widened. Damn it, what did I just do? My head buzzed. It was completely blank. Xie Qingshui, I am sorry. I was too impulsive. Let me explain. But before I could finish, she suddenly grabbed my head. No need to explain. Hurry up and feed me, you brat. What are you spacing out for? Hurry and feed me. Aren't you a real man? A real man can't give up halfway. I was completely stunned on the sofa. I am doomed. I think I've activated some kind of terrifying switch in Xia Qingshui. 10 minutes later, I put down the empty bowl. My heart was still pounding wildly. As for Xia Qingshu, her face was flushed, and the blood in her body felt like it was boiling. The next second, she slowly turned her head. A pair of sparkling peach blossom eyes stared at me. Little Fang Yuan, do you want to play a game for adults with Xia Qingshui? Boom. My hormones immediately erupted like a volcano. This damn Xia Qingshui. Does she know what she's doing? This look of hers can easily make someone lose control. I was so scared that I quickly spoke up. Xia Qingshui, stop teasing me. I am scared when you're like this. This is definitely a trap. It's a test from the female demon. I shot up, with a serious and righteous expression. Xia Qingshui, I am going to study. You should get some rest. Women will only affect my studying speed. Her small nose immediately wrinkled. She reached out and grabbed my hand, pulling forcefully. I was pushed directly onto the sofa. Immediately after, she pressed herself on top of me, pinning down my chest. She questioned me fiercely. You brat. You mean I am not as interesting as studying? My Adam's apple bobbed. That's not it, Xia Qingshui. I didn't mean that. She cut me off domineeringly, pressing one hand on my chest. Her fragrant breath tickled my earlobe. You brat. Does that mean I don't have any appeal at all? Or is it that you just can't get hard? My face instantly turned bright red. What kind of wild words are these? As a man, pride is the most important thing. How could I be provoked like this? You're talking nonsense. Xia Qingshui. I am very capable. I blushed, but my tone was extremely firm. She laughed, half pouting and half provoking. Capable? Huh. How come I don't see it? I am letting you play, but you won't? You brat, you're really useless. I immediately got angry. I am useless? Every morning you don't understand anything. What's wrong? You don't dare, do you? HMPH. I knew you wouldn't dare. Useless thing. Useless and small. I couldn't take it anymore. Today, I'll show you what big means. I gritted my teeth, wrapped my arms around her, and forcefully flipped her over, pinning her tightly to the sofa. The fire of passion was about to ignite instantly. But ironically, at this very moment, a phone ringtone suddenly went off. I am G. Bond. The hero in the fairy tale. The sound instantly sobered me up. I looked at the jade-like beauty Xia Qingshui in my arms, and almost exploded on the spot. Oh God! I am such a beast. What on earth am I doing? This is my Xia Qingshui. I frantically picked up the phone to look, and my whole body froze. On the screen were 3 big words. Uncle Lin. Xia Qingshui's father. Xia Qingshui also saw it. She yelled angrily. This hateful old man. He's doing this on purpose. Isn't he? I quickly got up from the sofa, trying to keep my voice calm, and answered the phone. Hello, Uncle Lin. What should I do? He has always treated me like his own son, but just now, what I did to his daughter. If he finds out, he'll definitely blame me to death. On the other end of the line, Uncle Lin laughed heartily. He said Xia Qingshui is also at Jiangshao University, and told me to, when I have time, contact her more often, and take good care of her. I was momentarily silent, not knowing how to respond. We're already living together. What should I do? Uncle Lin immediately asked, What's wrong? Fang Yuan, you don't want to. That's not it. It's not that I don't want to. I just don't know how to tell you that I am already living with your daughter and almost pulled the trigger just now. You see me as a son, but I almost became your son-in-law. Just as I was panicking, Xie Qingshu bared her small canine teeth and snatched my phone. She yelled into the phone, "Dad, I am this old already. Do I need you to worry about me?" Uncle Lin's voice was full of surprise. "Bing bing, why are you with Fang Yuan?" Xia Qingshui said annoyedly, "Because we're already living together." As if that wasn't stimulating enough, she chuckled. "Dad, can we be a little more professional? What we're doing is called illegal cohabitation." I thought Uncle Lin would fly into a rage, but instead, he laughed. "Illegal cohabitation? Ha, that's great then. Then I can rest assured." Rest assured? Xia Qingshu was so angry she laughed. "What do you mean you can rest assured? Aren't you afraid this brat will do something improper to me? He'd be lucky to be able to protect himself in front of you." After saying that, he asked for me to get back on the phone. I guiltily took the phone back. "Uncle Lin, Fang Yuan, you're a boy. You must protect yourself well, okay? Also, if Bing Bing gets into a relationship, you have to help me keep an eye on things. The guy must be as handsome as you, cook as well as you, and be as caring as you." Before I could even react, Xie Qingshui widened her eyes. "If he's just like him, then isn't he the most suitable person?" Uncle Lin immediately went silent. Before he could figure it out, Xie Qingshui had already snatched the phone. "All right, Dad, I am done talking nonsense with you. Little Fang Yuan and I have other things to do. Goodbye." Click. She hung up the phone. The room fell silent. I scratched my head and spoke cautiously. Xie Qingshui, don't be angry. Uncle Lin just wants me to take care of you." She suddenly glared at me. "I am angry because of him. There's no other meaning. Do you understand?" I was rendered speechless. I said dryly, "It's late. Why don't we get some rest?" Xie Qingshui got even angrier after hearing that. She snorted coldly, turned around, and went into her bedroom. Slam. The door was shut. I flinched. Why is Xie Qingshui angry again? But that's good too. I can finally get a good night's sleep tonight. But after lying down, I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. For some reason, my heart began to miss the feeling of holding her, that soft, supple, and fragrant feeling. Meanwhile, on the other side, Xie Qingshui couldn't sleep either. She waited in bed for a long time. Seeing no movement from me, she grew restless and annoyed. Doesn't this brat know to come and find me himself? Half an hour later, she was completely defeated. She really couldn't sleep. But she didn't want to take the initiative to come over, afraid I would look down on her, so she had to take out her phone and browse randomly. Suddenly, she thought of something. Jiangsu University's official Weibo. She immediately opened Weibo. The official page's comments section was actually open. Scrolling down, her eyes instantly widened. What? The wallpaper of me kissing him was discovered, and it was posted on the official page too. What made her even more furious was that I had personally clarified that it was photoshopped. Her cheeks immediately puffed up. HMH, you kissed me, and then said it was photoshopped. Fang Yuan, you stinky brat. Is this what they call pulling up your pants and not taking responsibility? The more she thought about it, the angrier she got. You won't admit it, then it'll make you admit it. Doesn't everyone love gossip? It'll give everyone plenty to gossip about. She wrinkled her nose, her fingers flying across the keyboard. Hello everyone. This is Xie Qingshui. I solemnly declare that there is no illicit affair between me and Fang Yuan. The next second, she changed her tune. We are just in a normal romantic relationship. I hope he will be my boyfriend, that's all. Looking at her comment, the corner of her mouth curled into a smug smile. HMPH. You brat. Let's see how you'll explain this. Even if you jump into the Yellow River, you won't be able to wash yourself clean. Thinking of the shocking scene she was about to witness, she excitedly rolled back and forth on the bed. As a result, with a thud, she rubbed her aching head. That hurts so much. At this time, Jiangsu University's official Weibo had completely exploded because of her words. In just over 10 minutes, the comments section had blown up. For real? Is this really the goddess Xie Qingshui? Xie Qingshu hopes Fang Yuan will be her boyfriend. Is this a public confession? Oh my god, the goddess herself actually came out to pursue Fang Yuan. So that wallpaper was real. Why did Fang Yuan lie and say it was photoshopped? Xie Qingshui rubbed her head and got up from the floor, her expression sullen. But when she opened the official page and saw the screen full of 99+ notifications, her mood improved. She tilted her head, her small fingers quickly swiped across the screen. I am Xie Qingshui, you know. I have a photo as proof. A night passed. I tossed and turned until midnight before falling asleep, completely unaware that the internet had completely exploded because of me. I still woke up as usual, made breakfast, and then went to knock on Xie Qingshu's door. Xia Qingshu. Time for breakfast. As soon as the door opened, she was like a lazy, boneless caterpillar, suddenly collapsing onto me. Her body pressed against me and slid down. I was already used to it. Before she could slide down, I reached out and caught her. Can't you stand properly? You look like a fat caterpillar to me. She imagined a fat, green caterpillar and immediately bristled. You're the one who looks like that. I should at least be a fox spirit. I immediately nodded. Yes, 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 the most beautiful fox spirit in the world. After breakfast, I went to school alone. But as soon as I reached the school gate, I felt something was wrong. Everyone around me was pointing at me, their expressions incredibly complicated. While I was bewildered, Zhang Jiwan rushed over like a gust of wind. He looked at me with an adoring expression. Brother Yuan, you're amazing. So silently, and without a sound, you managed to win over the goddess Xia. I was even more confused. What are you talking about? I already told you, we're not a couple. He directly took out his phone and opened Weibo, still trying to fool me. The goddess Xie Qingshui has personally spoken up. I took the phone, and with just one glance, my whole body froze. What is this situation? Why did Xia Qingshu personally show up? Zhang Jiyuan was adding fuel to the fire on the side. Do you still want to deny it now? She has already admitted that she likes you. Don't tell me you don't like goddess Xia. My head buzzed. It was completely blank. Xia Qingshui likes me. What kind of joke is this? The person who bullied me for 10 years. The female demon who stole all my allowance. She would like me. Seeing my stunned expression, Fatty's getting anxious. No way. You on her. What's with that expression? You don't actually dislike Goddess Lin, do you? His words struck me like a bolt of lightning, making me fall into deep thought immediately. Like Xia Qingshui? This question. I realized I'd never even thought about it. In my eyes, she was like an insurmountable mountain. I feared her, took care of her. It all seemed to be a matter of course. But right at this moment, a thought suddenly occurred to me. If I don't like her, then if she found someone else to be her boyfriend, would I mind? I would. The answer came out in a split second. I'd mind a lot. I even thought of the scene of her being with another guy, and my heart already felt tight and panicked. It was completely unacceptable. But aren't I very scared of her? She's the female demon who bullied me for 10 years. Just as my mind was in a complete mess, Fatty poked me. Yuan air. Poked by Fatty, I suddenly came back to my senses. I followed him into the classroom. The eyes of the entire class immediately turned towards me in unison. Admiration, envy, resentment. Among them was an incredibly venomous and terrifying gaze. It was Xu Lingling. I paid her no attention at all. I found a seat and sat down, but the earlier question still echoed in my head. A morning class passed just like that. I subconsciously looked towards the door, but I didn't see any sign of Xia Qingshui. Fatty patted my shoulder. Yuan, let's go. Let's get some fried chicken, my treat. I hesitated for a moment. You go ahead. I have to go back first. Fatty gave a sly smile. No way. Already want to go home to Goddess Xia and be all lovey-dovey? Don't talk nonsense. I really have something to do. As I was walking out of the classroom, a figure suddenly blocked my path. Xu Lingling pouted, forcing a smile she thought was very sweet. Fang Yuan, you don't have class this afternoon, right? Can you join the badminton club with me? I looked at her. Only 2 words came to my mind. Fake. Compared to Xie Qingshu's natural sweetness, it was truly a poor imitation. Besides, it was her last night who scared Xia Qingshui so much. Forget it. I am not interested. I rejected her outright. I have something to do. I am leaving. She still didn't give up and ran up to block me again. Then is there any sport you like? I can accommodate you. I frowned. I don't need others to accommodate me, but I silently added in my heart, except for Xie Qingshui. Xu Lingling. Aren't you annoying? I walked directly around her and strode away. I don't know why, but I really wanted to see Xia Qingshui quickly. On the way back, I had even already decided what to eat for lunch. Fish, fragrant shredded pork, braised pork ribs. They were all her favorite dishes. Just thinking about her happy expression, I couldn't help but smile. Xia Qingshui. I am back. I called out as soon as I pushed the door open, but no one answered. My heart skipped a beat. I called out again. Still nobody. I rushed into her bedroom. It was empty inside. Where did Xia Qingshui go? I hurriedly took out my phone to call her. The call connected quickly. To her. Arrogant voice came through. As usual. Stinky little brother. Miss me already? I immediately sighed in relief. Xia Qingshui. Where did you go? She said she forgot to tell me. Someone had asked her out today to discuss something. I subconsciously thought it was one of her close friends, who knew she would casually reply, Nope, stinky little brother. It's a senior from my year. Before he graduated, he was also the campus hot boy of Jiangzhou University. You know, a senior, a guy, and a hot boy. The smile on my face froze instantly. The phone in my hand was almost crushed on the spot. Senior, a guy. These two words slammed crazily inside my head. She was actually on a date with another man. Just then, from the other end of the line, came Xia Qingshui's curious voice. "Stinky little brother, why aren't you saying anything? What's wrong?" I gritted my teeth. An indescribable emotion suddenly took over my heart. Was it anger or jealousy? I held it in for a few seconds and squeezed out a cold sentence from between my teeth. "Then just go have your meal with your senior." After saying that, I hung up. In the restaurant, Xia Qingshui looked at her phone, a dazed look on her face. Why do I feel like my stinky little brother is angry? But what is he angry about? Xia Qingshui, what's wrong? Across from Xia Qingshui, Yue Luo smiled at her, his tone gentle, his gaze carrying a hint of admiration. Yue Luo was indeed very handsome, and his figure was quite good too. It's just that he was still quite a bit worse than me. Xia Qingshui waved her hand. "It's nothing," she said. "It was a call from my stinky little brother at home." Yue Luo was surprised. "Little brother? How come I've never heard you have a little brother?" "He's not my biological brother. He's the son of my dad's friend. He also happened to get into Jiangzhou University. We grew up together." "Oh, so that's how it is. Then I'll have to meet him if I get the chance." Yue Luo smiled, looking very casual. Xia Qingshui nodded, biting her chopsticks and frowning. Something's not right. Xiao Fang Yuan's tone just now was definitely angry. But why would he be angry? Xia Qingshui's little head started working quickly. She just told him that she was going out to meet a senior, and it was to discuss business. The kind where there was actual business to discuss. And he suddenly got unhappy. His tone was even so cold. Could it be because of Yue Luo? No way. Is my stinky little brother jealous? Xia Qingshui bit her chopsticks, a smile suddenly appearing at the corners of her mouth, but she quickly shook her head again. That's not right. Xiao Fang Yuan, that hateful guy, has always been very scared of her. He only took care of her because she threatened him with force. If he was really jealous, that would mean he likes her. But does he like her? He can't even hide from her fast enough. She's already so proactive, and he's still clueless about romance. How could he be jealous? Because she's having a meal with another guy? How could he be jealous? Xia Qingshu frowned. Yue Luo noticed the change in her expression. Xia Qingshui, is something on your mind? Xia Qingshui came back to her senses, thought for a moment, and said, "I am sorry. Yue Luo, I just remembered I have something to do at home. I have to go back." "In such a hurry?" Yue Luo was a little disappointed. Xia Qingshu smiled apologetically. "Sorry, but I really have something to do. It's quite urgent." "All right then, let me take you home." Yue Luo stood up and left with Xia Qingshu. Then he drove Xia Qingshui home. Halfway there, Xia Qingshui gave me a call, saying she was on her way back. When I got the call, I immediately ran outside and squatted by the roadside, waiting. I am usually gentle, but my face was as cold as ice. Not long after, a Mercedes stopped at the entrance. The car door opened. Xia Qingshui and a man got out. My eyes immediately locked onto him. Not as handsome as me, not as tall as me. His figure isn't as good as mine either. Xia Qingshui saw me and walked over with a smile to pinch my cheek. "Xiao Fang Yuan, what's with this?" I pulled her behind me with one hand and said annoyedly, "How dare you run out all by yourself? Aren't you afraid of being tricked and taken away?" That senior named Yue Luo chuckled. He opened the trunk and took out a bouquet of lilies. Then he walked up to Xia Qingshui, even giving me a provocative glance. "Xia Qingshui, I know, you like fragrant lilies the most." I took a step forward and snatched the bouquet before Xia Qingshui could. I looked at him coldly. "Thanks for the kind thought, but when it comes to understanding her, you're still far behind." Mike Xia Qingshui does like lilies, but her favorites aren't fragrant lilies. They're wild lilies and tiger lilies. Yue Luo was immediately stunned. After a few seconds of being dazed, he could only leave dejectedly. "See yourself out." I coldly tossed out those 3 words. After he left, Xia Qingshui's eyes curved into a smile. She lifted my chin. "Xiao Fang Yuan, why so angry?" I abruptly turned my head away. "I am not angry." She moved closer in front of me, her breath fragrant like an orchid. "Xiao Fang Yuan, don't tell me you're jealous." My heart jolted. My face immediately flushed red, but my mouth remained stubborn. "I am not." The more I denied it, the happier Xia Qingshui's smile became. Her eyes were like those of a little fox who had gotten her way. I looked at her delighted face, and the fire in my heart flared up again. Hey, Xia Qingshui, going on a date with your senior, you seem very happy." Huh. Not only was she not angry, she came even closer, wrapping her arms around me, her whole body pressed against mine. "Xiao Fang Yuan, don't be angry. I am not as happy with anyone else as I am with you." The warmth from her body spread to me, and the anger in my heart immediately subsided by half, but my face remained cold. I won't be your human pillow. She wrinkled her nose. You want? Then I want you. Can't I do that? At worst, I'll just kiss you, hug you, and lift you up high. I immediately took a step back. Xia Qingshui. There are a lot of people here. Don't come over here. A horrifying memory flooded my mind. That one time in high school, in front of many people, she lifted my 75 kilograms self up with one hand. That socially catastrophic scene. I don't want to experience it a second time. She didn't care at all. She rushed forward and hugged me tightly, giving my cheek a loud smooch. The next second, she put her hands under my armpits and lifted with all her might. My whole body was suddenly lifted into the air. Dozens of pairs of eyes around us turned to look. My face instantly turned beet red. Does this person really want me to die of social embarrassment on the spot? So, Xiao Fang Yuan, will you forgive me? She smiled at me. How could I dare not to listen? I nodded, furiously. I forgive. I forgive. Xia Qingshu. Hurry up and put me down. Only then did she put me down. She even turned to the people around us and waved like a social butterfly. Nationwide fitness starts with you and me. Let's go. I don't know her. I really don't. I lowered my head and quickly fled the scene. As soon as we got home, this vixen wrapped around me like a snake again. Xiao Fang Yuan. I already kissed you, hugged you, and lifted you up. Why are you still giving me the cold shoulder? I felt my blood rushing faster, but I still had to say something. Xia Qingshui, let me go. I have to go study. After hearing this, she let go of me and flopped down onto the sofa. She seemed genuinely angry now. Fine. 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 Then go study. Her face was full of grievance. Her eyes welled up as she walked towards the bedroom and slammed the door shut. I stood in front of the door, immediately regretting it. Fang Yuan. Oh, Fang Yuan. What are you doing? You're going to lose, Xia Qingshui. In the end, I couldn't stand it. I raised my hand and knocked on the door. Xia Qingshu, I am sorry. Xia Qingshui, I was wrong. Don't be angry anymore, okay? But from inside the door came her aggrieved voice. I don't need you to care about me. Go study. It was my fault. I shouldn't have gone on a date with another man. You're right to be angry. My heart trembled. Oh no. This time, it seems I've flipped some kind of terrible switch in her. What should I do? Rush straight in? No way. She'll beat me to death. Wait for her to calm down? Even more impossible. 10 years of experience tells me she'll only get angrier and angrier. I am so worried I am about to go bald. Oh heavens. If you're helping me, then please send a bolt of lightning. The next second, boom. A clap of thunder, earth shattering from the sky, suddenly struck down. Immediately after, there was another loud crash. The bedroom door slammed open with a bang. Xia Qingshui, like a startled little rabbit, dove straight into my arms. Thunder! Xiao Fang Yuan, it's thundering, boo-hoo. I held her. My whole body was stunned. It's really thundering. Could this be the legendary, sincerity moves heaven and earth? Faith can move mountains. My heart immediately bloomed with joy. I quickly held her tight, gently patting her back. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Xia Qingshui isn't scared. I am here. Her arrogance from just now instantly vanished without a trace. She curled up into a ball in my arms, looking up at me pitifully. Xiao Fang Yuan, are you not mad at me anymore? I scratched my head, looking embarrassed. Xia Qingshui, I wasn't angry at you. I was angry at that Yue Luo guy. I had already planned everything out. I was going to make you pork, with fish fragrant sauce and braised pork ribs for lunch. But then he snatched you away. She immediately smiled, turned around and hugged me from the front, looking up into my eyes. So it was because of that, you should have said so earlier. Then, she tilted her head and asked, in your heart, do you really only see me as an older sister? Instantly, my heart started pounding like crazy. This question struck right at my soul. Only see her as an older sister? Then why did I get so angry when she met another man? But if not as an older sister, wouldn't I be a beast? Uncle Xia treats me like his own son. I quickly changed the subject. Xia Qingshu, it's time for a noon nap. You should go rest. She huffed, completely unfazed by the trick. Xiao Fang Yuan, the thunder is so loud, I can't sleep alone. How about you sleep with me? I want to touch your abs. No. I want to cuddle you to sleep. Before I could think of a reply, she had already grabbed my waist with one arm, and with a whoosh, tossed my entire body onto the bed. Then, she pounced on me, burying her face in my chest. I was speechless. I knew she wasn't actually negotiating with me, but today she actually asked first, not as domineering as usual. I was a little unused to it. I shifted a little, and suddenly felt something was off. I kind of missed Xia Qingshu's domineering side. My face immediately turned red. Do I have masochistic tendencies? Xia Qingshu buried her head in my chest, nuzzling forcefully. She slid up along my neck. After she fell asleep, I closed the kitchen door and started cooking. I was already used to this. I was reducing the sauce for the braised ribs when the kitchen door was suddenly pushed open. Xia Qingshu licked her lips and poked her head in, her eyes shining brightly. Braised pork ribs. Quick! Let me have a bite. After saying that, she rushed over, reaching her claws out to grab meat from the pot. I immediately grabbed her hand and gently slapped the back of it. Xia Qingshu, are you crazy? The pot is so hot, she pouted. But I want to eat it. No one's going to fight you for it. Eat it later. Why did you run out here without wearing slippers? But she paid me no mind at all. I am not scared. Quick, dish some out for me. Looking at her gluttonous appearance, I was really torn between anger and amusement. This little glutton. I had no choice but to dish the ribs onto a plate first. I picked up a piece and blew on it, bringing it to her mouth. She directly grabbed the hot rib with her hand and stuffed it in her mouth. So hot. So hot. Can't use chopsticks. She acted all righteous. How can chopsticks be as convenient as hands? After finishing one piece, she wanted to grab another with her hand. I slapped the back of her hand. My face was stern. Wear slippers. Wash your hands. Otherwise, you're not eating. Xie Qingshu stomped her foot directly. I won't. You stinky little brother, you dare to control me? I am going to eat right now. Just then, I looked at her and suddenly picked her up in a princess carry. What are you doing? Put me down. I carried her towards the bedroom, saying word by word, I told you to wear your slippers first. If you won't wear them, I'll carry you to wear them. I put her on the bed, picked up her slippers, and put them on for her. Immediately after, I picked her up again, carrying her directly into the washroom. I took her hand, about to turn on the water. Stop. What now? Oh, my great missy. She pulled her hand back, looked at her sauce-covered fingers, and brought them directly to her mouth, licked them clean. Only then did she offer her hand to me. Wash it. I was completely petrified. Xia Qingshu, you really are a glutton. Her expression was serious. One hand on her hip. Nonsense. How could I be a glutton? I am a bottomless pit. A single sentence left me speechless. As for Xia Qingshu's thick skin, I really have to hand it to her. I shook my head, put her hand under the faucet. Wash up, you bottomless pit. She started acting up again. No. I want you to wash them for me. You're this old, and you still need me to wash them? If you could wash them at 8, why can't you do it at 18? I just want to live with you, and I just want you to wash them for me. As soon as she said that, my heart skipped a beat. Sigh. I am no match for her. I had to obediently turn on the tap. She did it all in one go. As soon as her hands were clean, she giggled. She turned and ran into the kitchen. Time to eat meat. I hurriedly followed. A sound came from the kitchen again. My roar. Xia Qingshu, can you please not eat with your hands? 20 minutes later, she finally let out a satisfied burp. Looking at her sauce-covered hands, I was truly speechless. Turns out you have hands just to grab meat and eat. But seeing her satisfied look, I also couldn't help but laugh. I didn't get to eat many ribs, but my heart was filled with satisfaction. This woman has had a huge appetite since she was a child, yet she never gets fat no matter how much she eats, and she even has defined abs. Tell me, isn't that infuriating? I reminded her a little arrogantly. Don't just sit after eating. Get up and walk around. A little walk after a meal helps you live to be 99. You hear? Xia Qingshu acted like a big boss. She held out her small hand with a nonchalant expression. Nonsense. Obviously, lying on your stomach for a while after a meal lets you live to be 18,000 years old. Sitting for a bit after a meal. Life is wonderful. I was completely speechless. I could only smile helplessly and clear the dishes and go into the kitchen to wash them. When I came out of the kitchen, I found Xia Qingshu sitting backwards on a chair. Her arms were resting on the back of the chair. Her chin was propped on her hands, just quietly looking at me like that. Then she started tilting her head, lost in thought. I don't know what she was thinking. That dazed expression was like dropping an atomic bomb on my heart. It exploded, leaving my feelings in a tangled mess. I quickly cleared my throat. Xie Qingshu, I have a class tonight. I have to go now. She turned her head to look at me. There was a dazed look in her eyes. Our child will be named Zemo. Isn't that name a bit too common? I froze on the spot. Xia Qingshu, what nonsense are you talking about? What child? What Zemo? She was stunned for a moment. Her face immediately flushed red. She quickly waved her hands. No, it's nothing. Don't overthink it. I didn't mean that our child would be named Zemo. Isn't this just giving herself away? She's already thought of a name for our child. Could it be that Xia Qingshu really likes me? She gave me a strange look. Don't you have to go to class? Why are you still standing here? I eyed twice, grabbed my books, and ran. On the way, my mind was a complete mess. Wow, That name really is a bit common. Wait, why am I getting led by the nose by her like this? Moreover, I was even thinking, if we're not of legal age to marry, would I be breaking the law? As soon as I arrived at the classroom, that fatty Zhang Zhiyuan came over. Yuan. Oh, Yuan. Hurry and tell me, you and the goddess Xia Qing Shui have made progress, right? I glared at him, but he said that now the whole school forum has exploded. Even the goddess herself has spoken up. You should make a move too. His words suddenly woke me up. That's right. I can't let Xia Qing Shui handle this alone, so I quietly downloaded the forum app. I clicked to see, and holy crap, my eyes widened. This crowd of gossips was even divided into two factions. One faction of guys called me a scumbag for not responding to the goddess pursuit. Another faction of girls said this was moral coercion. I should have the right to choose. Zhang Ji Yuan leaned in again. See, brother Yuan, I have to say something. You have to cherish a good girl, my dad told me. Beautiful girls usually aren't bad-hearted. I glared at him. This is why your dad got married 3 times. And got cheated on all 3 times? Zhang Ji Yuan immediately flared up. Piss off. I stopped joking with him, because my mind was completely focused on the forum, my feelings for Xie Qing Shui. What are they? Really? It wasn't until this moment that I realized. I think I really like her. She's bullied me for 10 years, and I actually like her in return. It sounds like there's really something wrong with my head, but when it comes to love, a little absurdity isn't strange at all. I gritted my teeth and made a decision. I will pursue Xie Qing Shu. After all, I've already been bullied by her for 10 years. Being bullied for a few more decades probably won't be that difficult. But what if, just what if, Xie Qing Shui doesn't like me at all, and is just teasing me like when we were kids? Thinking of this, my mood immediately plummeted. But on second thought, if she was just teasing me, why would she do so many outrageous things to me? Maybe she likes me too. I kept jumping back and forth between joy and disappointment until the bell for the end of class rang. I realized I had turned the wrong page in my book. I closed my book and quietly walked out. Who would have thought that just as I left the classroom, Xu Ling Ling would block my way, acting very apologetic. Fang Yuan, I was wrong yesterday. Can you not be angry with me anymore? I frowned and rejected her outright. Thank you for your good intentions, but I am not interested. She immediately pulled me back, saying something about her poor health and needing to exercise. Fang Yuan, you can't just leave me. I am begging you. I found it very confusing. What does your poor health have to do with me? So I pulled my hand away, but she immediately reached out and grabbed it again, with both hands, no less. Just at this moment, a cold voice came from the side. Bang Yuan, who is she? I saw Xia Qing Shui and immediately panicked. I quickly pulled my hand away again. Xia Qing Shui. Let me explain. Before I could finish, Xia Qing Shui stepped forward, pulled me into her arms, and then took a step forward to stand in front of me. She looked down at Xu Ling Ling. Her voice was bone-chillingly cold. Who are you? Did you ask for my permission to dare hold my precious little brother's hand? In that moment, her domineering aura was on full display. Everyone around was stunned into silence, a large-scale chaotic confrontation. I also didn't expect her to suddenly appear. I was about to explain. Xie Qing Shui, listen to me. She cut me off flatly, turning back to give me a warning look. It's not your turn to speak. I am asking her again. I shrank back and immediately didn't dare to say anything. This aura is scarier than a tigress. Xu Ling Ling lowered her posture, acting weak. I am sorry. Xia Qing Shu. I didn't know about your relationship. I was the one who initiated everything. Please don't take your anger out on Fang Yuan. I watched this manipulative act by Xu Ling Ling and thought to myself, how clever. She's trying to shift the conflict directly onto me and Xia Qing Shui. Xia Qing Shui scoffed, her eyes turning cold. She retorted bluntly, you initiated everything, so you're saying you deliberately seduced my little brother? Xu Ling Ling immediately shook her head. No, that's not what I meant. It's just that Fang Yuan has also never personally admitted that he's your boyfriend. Oh, really now? She's even using me as a shield. Xie Qing Su didn't fall for it at all. Of course, I blame you. How could I possibly blame my precious little brother? You were the one who seduced him first. If I don't blame you, who do I blame? Besides, what makes you think that knowing him for a few days can compare to our 10 years? Those few sentences left Xu Ling Ling stunned. The trap she had dug. Xie Qing Sui didn't fall into a single one. Seeing that this tactic wasn't working, she played her final card. Xu Ling Ling pouted. 2 streams of tears flowed down. She looked at me pitifully. I'm sorry, Fang Yuan. I didn't know that Xie Qing Su was so fierce. I just wanted to care for you. Xie Qing Xu's eyebrows knitted together tightly. I knew it was my time to step up. Under her confident gaze, I said bluntly, Fine, then don't look for me anymore in the future. As soon as the words left my mouth, Xu Lingling's eyes widened at me. What did you say? I repeated emotionlessly. I said, fine. Don't look for me anymore in the future. I don't like you looking for me. She still hadn't given up. Fang Yuan. I just want to care for you. I cut her off. We're not even close. Why do I need your care? She was completely stunned. It felt like smoke was about to come out of her brain. Xia Qingsui looked at me in surprise, her eyes full of admiration. But Xu Lingling still wouldn't give up. I am sorry, Fang Yuan. I've been a bother. But can I ask you one question? No. I didn't give her the chance. I don't have time. I have to go home for a late-night snack with Xia Qingxue. Before she could react, I took the initiative to hold Sai A Qing Xu's hand. Xia Qingxue, let's go. Xu Lingling immediately froze on the spot, watching helplessly as we left hand in hand. Her face flushed red. She couldn't win against Xia Qingxue, and fighting me resulted in her almost being buried alive. I could feel that the eyes of everyone around were filled with admiration. Today, my title as the campus heartthrob became even more renowned. I peeked at Xia Qingxue beside me. Her aura was even stronger than mine. It's over. I thought to myself, this is not good. Xia Qingxue is angry. I quickly explained, Xia Qingshu, I have no relationship with that Xu Lingling. Don't misunderstand. She scoffed. I am not misunderstanding. This smile made my heart sink even further. This is a big problem. I could only humble myself. Xia Qingxue, can you not be angry anymore? She let out another cold laugh. I just blinked. And you've already gone off and provoked a green tea bitch. It seems I'll have to lock you up. She looked at me with a sly smile. I couldn't tell if she was serious or joking, but I knew I had to take it as the truth for now. I couldn't forget back in middle school, because of a love letter, in front of another girl. She punched a tree and broke it. I immediately admitted defeat. Xia Qingxue, I was wrong. I won't get involved with other girls anymore. Can I treat you to a late-night snack? She finally tilted her head to look at me. Seeing your sincerity, I'll reluctantly agree. My entire being immediately lit up. As long as Ya Qingxue isn't angry, everything is easy to handle. Is this kid that happy? I blurted out, Xia Qingxue isn't angry, so I am happy. Does this kid care about me that much? I was stunned, not knowing how to answer. That's right. Why do I care about her so much? Could it be that I really like Xia Qingxue? Just as I was lost in thought, she reached out and ruffled my hair. I unconsciously complained, Xia Qingxue, stop ruffling my hair. I won't be able to grow taller. She laughed heartily. You're already 18. You still want to grow taller? Just like that. We joked around as we walked to the barbecue place. She picked a pile of skewers and pushed them all in front of me. I skillfully placed the skewers on the grill, brushed them with oil, flipped them, adjusted the heat. Soon, the aroma filled the air. Xia Qingxue smelled the fragrance, and her eyes lit up. My precious little brother's skills are still this good. Huh. I felt a little proud. That's because I've been grilling skewers for Xia Qingshu for 10 years. As soon as I said that, I suddenly noticed that the look in Xia Qingshue's eyes had changed. Her mouth was eating the skewer, but her eyes were unblinking, staring intently at me. My heart panicked. Xia Qingxue, why are you looking at me like that? What kind of look? The kind of look that wants to eat someone alive. She scoffed, holding a skewer in one hand, and patted her own thigh with the other. Stop grilling, and come sit here. I looked around, with an embarrassed expression. This isn't very appropriate. There are so many people here. A guy like me needs to save face too. She scrunched up her nose, her domineering aura soaring. So what if there are many people? I've never been afraid of what others think when I do things. With that, she pulled me over, and pushed me straight down onto her lap. At first, I was a little uncomfortable, but I quickly relaxed. This dominance from Xia Qing Xu actually made me feel very secure. Admiring gazes were thrown our way from all around. I suddenly felt that being held by Xia Qingxue wasn't such a bad thing after all. After the late-night snack, we walked hand in hand down the street. The night breeze was cool. The moonlight was just right. She tilted her head and leaned on my shoulder. I turned my head to look at her, and the corners of my mouth involuntarily curved into a smile. In that moment, I even felt that the car exhaust smelled fragrant. However, as soon as we got home, she reverted to her true form, plopping straight onto the sofa, her shoes thrown all over the floor. I shook my head helplessly and arranged her shoes neatly, thinking to myself, this annoying Xia Qingxue, how would she live without me? As I was thinking, she suddenly spoke. Little Fang Yuan, come here. As soon as I walked in front of her, the next second, she suddenly pulled me down onto the sofa. Don't move. Just lie here for a while. She hugged me, and it felt so warm. Right after, she started laughing to herself. Xia Qingxue, What are you laughing at? I am laughing because I am raising a little puppy. There's a dog in the house? Why didn't I know? She reached out and pinched my cheek. Aren't I hugging one right now? I get it. I am the little puppy. How can that be? I was immediately unconvinced. Xie Qing Shui. I am not a little puppy, okay? If not a little puppy, then what are you? I immediately lifted my head and puffed out my chest, my body tensing. A little wolf. She was amused by me, and with a flip of her hand, she pinned me underneath her. Then act like a wolf for me. Let me see. Show me how fierce you are. I was immediately speechless. I am indeed a little wolf, but you're a tigress. I quickly changed the subject. All right, Xia Qing Shui, it's getting late. We should take a bath and go to sleep. She smiled and booped my nose. Oh, so the little wolf is admitting defeat? So useless. I turned my face away. HMPH. I just can't be bothered with you. I'll let you off for today. Xia Qing Shui let go of me. Leaning against the sofa, her eyes flirtatious. Little Fang Yuan. Go, run the bath for me, and then find a set of pajamas. Oh no. My heart immediately started racing. This little vixen. I immediately turned and went into the bathroom, and turned on the hot water. Next, I took the opportunity to sneak into Xie Qing Xui's bedroom to find her pajamas. My eyes immediately fell on a white dress. The dress was incredibly soft. It could perfectly outline the curves of her body. I couldn't take my eyes off it. My eyes looked at my nose. My nose looked at my heart. And I brought it into the bathroom. Xie Qing Shui, the water is ready. Xia Qing Shui walked into the bathroom and started to take off her clothes. My face instantly flushed bright red. Xia Qing Shu. Can't you wait for me to leave before you undress? She let out a seductive laugh. Is my precious little brother shy? You weren't shy when you peeked at me last time. Right after, she pointed at the bathtub. Look, it's so big. Why don't we bathe together? I immediately ran out. A plot. This is definitely Xie Qing Xui's plot. If I listened to her, heaven knows how she would torture me. I am a good, law-abiding citizen. But if she's the one who invited me, then it probably wouldn't be considered a crime, right? I stood outside the bathroom door, shaking my head vigorously. How could I have such a shameless thought? I am a righteous person. Am I a righteous gentleman? I sat on the sofa, staring at the bathroom. For a moment, I really wanted to barge in, but in the end, I managed to hold back. The bathroom door opened. I suddenly turned my head, and my whole body froze. Xia Qing Shu was wearing the spaghetti strap nightgown that I had chosen. Her fair, smooth neck and shoulders were completely exposed. Her skin looked so supple, it seemed milk would come out if you pinched it. Her body's curves were perfectly accentuated. The hem of the skirt barely covered the tops of her thighs. Her long, straight, and fair legs seemed to be glowing. I realized my imagination had been too conservative. She was more beautiful in real life than in my imagination 100 times over. That wild and seductive queen aura was definitely that of a little vixen. I stared at her blankly, forgetting even to blink. Xia Qing Shui looked at my dazed state and was clearly very pleased. She walked towards me and tapped my forehead with her delicate finger. You little boy, if you keep staring, your eyeballs are going to pop out. Only then did I snap back to reality, my face immediately turning as red as a Fuji apple. I didn't even notice her approaching. She must think I am a pervert. Before I could think of what to say, Xia Qing Shui pushed my head back against the sofa and then sat down on my lap. The nightgown was as thin as a cicada's wing. I could clearly feel her body heat, and even her smooth skin. In that moment, there was only one thought in my head. No wonder the emperors of old were all fatuous rulers. If I had a concubine like Xia Qing Shui, the empire and all that, whoever wants it can have it. Right after, Xia Qing Shui leaned against my chest. She took both of my hands and wrapped them around her waist. The next second, she turned back and smiled at me. My precious little brother hugged me. My mind immediately went blank. Only her smile as she looked back remained. At this moment, I finally understood what a single glance back and a smile that launched 1,000 ships meant. This isn't a woman. This is clearly a femme fatale who could topple cities and kingdoms. I unconsciously wrapped my arms around her waist. I squeezed a little. A soft feeling spread through me. The fire in my heart was instantly ignited. Although this wasn't the first time I hugged her, but for her to voluntarily sit on my lap, this was a first in history. Xie Qing Shui saw the infatuated look in my eyes. She deliberately wriggled on top of me a few times. The next second, she felt the change in my body. She tilted her head to look at me, half wild, half seductive. Xiao Fang Yuan. Am I soft? I coughed dryly, trying to calm myself down. Xie Qing Shui. You're not just soft, you're a femme fatale. She let out a charming laugh. Her fingers brushed across my neck and touched my face. So, if it were you, would you marry me? I screamed internally. How could I possibly marry you? For you, I'd even wreak havoc in the Western paradise. But I didn't dare say those words. I was afraid she'd push her luck. I suddenly stood up and fled for my life. Xie Qingshu, I am going to take a shower. One hand grabbed mine, she said with a charming smile. Go take a shower. Hurry up. I'll be waiting for you to warm the bed. My heart trembled. I rushed into the bathroom, turned the cold water on full blast, and doused myself in a bone-chilling stream. Only then did the wicked fire in my heart gradually subside. This vixen. Just then, I suddenly had an epiphany about something. After being bullied by her for 10 years, I actually ended up really liking her. It's ridiculous. But isn't that what love is like? If she has already shown interest in me, regardless of whether she's just teasing me or not, I have to seize this opportunity. That's settled then. I have to confess to Xie Qingshu. I must get this official status. Thinking of this, I felt a sense of relief. At the same time, Xia Qingshu also made a shocking decision. It's time to give myself an official status. She also decided to confess to me. More than 10 minutes later, I walked out with a smile. As soon as I stepped out, I saw Xie Qingshu with a radiant smile. The next second, we asked each other at the same time, Xie Qingshu, what are you so happy about? You brat, what are you so happy about? We were both stunned for a moment. What we were thinking was exactly the same. I want to give her a surprise. I absolutely cannot let her find out. The next second, we spoke in unison again. Nothing. I just feel happy. We stared at each other blankly. Xia Qingshu and I are so in sync. Just then, Xia Qingshu stood up, waving at me. Xiao Fang Yuan, come here. Let me ask you. Where do you want to sleep? I hesitated for a bit. I still decided to sleep in my own room. Xia Qingshu nodded in agreement. All right then go to sleep. I was a little surprised. Why has her personality changed so much today? But just as I was about to close the door, a hand suddenly stopped. Xia Qingshu gave a sly smile. I've also decided to sleep in your room tonight. I cursed internally. This woman really knows how to add scenes for herself. I sat silently on the bed. Xia Qingshu, on the other hand, acted as if nothing was wrong. She took a flying leap and rolled onto my bed. Peeking her head out from under the covers, she giggled at me. Xiao Fang Yuan, what are you spacing out for? Go to sleep. My lips moved. I couldn't get a single word out. Her pajamas tonight are too beautiful. I was truly afraid I would accidentally become a beast. I could only bravely open my mouth. Xia Qingshu, can you not move around too much tonight? Her expression turned serious, and yet she raised her hand to swear, you can rest assured when I am on the job. My heart skipped a beat. It's over. Now I can't rest assured at all. The next second, she predictably patted the spot beside her. What are you still spacing out for? Get up here. As soon as I lay down, Xia Qingshu immediately hugged me and pressed my head firmly against her chest. I could only close my eyes and ignore it, keeping my mind calm. I told myself to be calm. We don't have an official status. I absolutely can't. Not long after, her voice rang out again. Xiao Fang Yuan, you are not allowed to fall asleep before me. My scalp immediately went numb. This was truly my childhood nightmare. She was just like this when we were kids, torturing me like she was training a falcon. You're not asleep yet, are you? No. You go to sleep. Just then, I suddenly felt a small, cold hand slip inside my collar. She said pitifully, but I can't sleep. Then count sheep. Why can't I count dogs? Then she actually started counting. 1 dog, 2 dogs, a milk puppy, a wolf pup. I was completely speechless. Is this a serious way to count? Suddenly she paused. Milk puppy, isn't that you? I immediately retorted. Let me repeat myself. I am a wolf pup. She snorted and held me tighter. If I say you are, then you are. Come on, bark for me. I really couldn't take it anymore. I could only say resentfully, Xia Qingshu, I have class at 8 tomorrow. Only then did she pout. Fine, fine. I'll keep counting dogs. The next second, her style changed again. Why do I have to count dogs? I can count Xiao Fang Yuans. 1 Xiao Fang Yuan, 2 Xiao Fang Yuans, drawing 100 Xiao Fang Yuans by my side. I listened to Xia Qingshu hum a strange song. My blood rushed faster. My nostrils flared. 100 of me. Who could handle that? I was just about to fall asleep. A silly laugh suddenly woke me up again. I couldn't help but glare resentfully at her. Xia Qingshu, are you going to sleep or not? Also, your drool is about to get on my face. She quickly wiped the corner of her mouth, looking at me with an even sillier smile. I am completely speechless. This look of yours. You're not having a wet dream, are you? Nonsense. How could a wet dream be as exciting as this? It's over. It seems I've learned something incredible. Fortunately, she kept giggling foolishly. Giggling foolishly, she finally quieted down. She was really asleep, without her demonic voice pouring into my ears. I also quickly fell asleep. Early the next morning, I woke up early as usual, quietly made breakfast, then I woke her up. As I was about to leave, I reminded her carefully, I have classes all day today. I won't be back for lunch. Remember to go out and eat on your own. She tilted her head with a displeased expression. Not coming back all day? You're so cruel. Isn't it for the sake of my studies? Only by studying well can I earn money to support you. She pursed her lips with a scornful look. What's the point of earning money? I'll support you. As soon as I heard that, I retorted, no need. If anyone's doing the supporting, it'll be me supporting you. The moment the words left my mouth, I regretted them. Something about that didn't sound right. I immediately turned and fled for my life. I am leaving now. From behind me came Xia Qingxue's excited cheers. Support me. Hee hee. You brat. You're the one who said it. Arriving at school, I took advantage of the time before class to secretly browse on my phone. Since I've decided to give Xia Qingxue a confession, I have to prepare in advance. Otherwise, it'll take forever to get an official status from her. So, whenever I was free, I'd watch confession videos to learn from them. As soon as the class bell rang, I would study diligently, balancing love and studies, not missing out on either, until the end of the morning classes. My desk mate immediately dragged me to the cafeteria, grinning. I am treating you to fried chicken today. I am determined to turn your abs into a single block. I rolled my eyes. Just with a few fried chicken legs? Xia Qingxue really likes abs. How could I ruin my progress for this little bit of food? Very quickly, 2 servings of fried chicken legs, fried chicken wings, and soda were brought out. The smell was really fragrant. I took a bite, my face filled with satisfaction. After a few more bites, my whole body suddenly froze. Here I am eating chicken legs, but has Xia Qingxue eaten yet? With her forgetful nature, forgetting to eat is a common occurrence. The more I thought, the more worried I became. The fried chicken in my mouth suddenly lost its flavor. I quickly took out my phone and sent her a WeChat message. Xia Qingxue, have you eaten? A minute passed. No reply. I grew anxious. I sent another message. Xia Qingxue, what are you doing? Don't forget to eat. Still no reply. This time, I completely lost my patience. I called Xia Qingxue directly. Xia Qingxue hates answering the phone the most because it means being disturbed. But if she really forgot to eat, then I had to disturb her. I called her directly. The phone rang for over 30 seconds before a lazy voice came from the other end. Hello, Xiaofang Yuan. What's up? The moment I heard her, I knew this girl must have fallen asleep again. She must be bored at home alone. Xia Qingxue, did you forget to eat again? Is it time to eat already? Forget it. I don't want to eat alone. I am not eating. I am not eating. My face darkened. No. You have to eat. You didn't eat much this morning. I'll order takeout for you right now. Just you remember. Only then did she lazily reply, with a mumble. Then, she hung up. I immediately opened the food delivery app. Zhang Zhuan beside me widened his eyes. No way. Brother Yuan, you called goddess Xia Qingxue, and you're ordering takeout for her too. I didn't look up. Is there a problem? He immediately exploded. It's a huge problem. You even know her home address. That's huge news. I subconsciously wanted to say, so what if I know her address? Xia Qingxue, and I even live together. The second half of that sentence, I managed to swallow back down. If those words got out, it would surely cause another bloody storm. Zhang Zhiyuan grabbed me. What else is there? Tell me. I shook my head. I am not saying any more. Just eat. He was anxiously scratching his head. My gossip-loving heart is on fire. If you don't tell me, I'll die of curiosity. An idea popped into my head. How about this? You help me with something, and I'll tell you. He immediately puffed out his chest. Father Emperor, just give the word. This son will definitely resolve your worries. I lowered my voice. I am going to buy some things soon. I don't have anywhere to put them. Can you help me store them in your dorm for now? Zhang Zhiyuan looked suspicious. What's so mysterious? Don't worry about it. After it's done, I'll tell you the secret. Although he had a constipated look on his face, he still agreed. With his help, the surprise confession I was preparing for Xia Qingxue wouldn't be discovered. Having settled this matter, I quickly finished ordering takeout for Xia Qingxue. Over 40 minutes later, I saw the food had been delivered. Only then did I smile. That restaurant's braised pork tastes the most similar to the one I make out of all the ones I've tried. Xia Qingxue will probably eat it. A smile formed on my lips. I sent her another message. Xia Qingxue, are you eating? She replied quickly. Her mood was clearly better. Eating now? You brat. Not bad. It suits my taste. A word of praise. Break off our friendship. Luckily, I had already memorized the tastes of these restaurants. Otherwise, with her bad temper, she would definitely throw a tantrum and refuse to eat. Wait, why do I remember the tastes of these restaurants? I suddenly realized something. I had somehow without realizing it, compared the food of all restaurants to my own cooking, and all of this was for Xia Qingxue. I've been poisoned by Xia Qingxu. After eating, I went straight to the library. I have to earn a lot of money. Xia Qingxue. Of course, the prerequisite is that I must confess successfully first. At 4:20 p.m., class ended on time. The moment the dismissal bell rang, I immediately packed my things and dashed home. I don't know why. I always wanted to get home quickly. Just thinking of Xia Qingxue, my pace would unconsciously quicken. As soon as I reached the door, before I could even take out my key, I called out, Xia Qingxue, I am home. The door burst open from the inside. Xia Qingxue rushed straight out and gave me a big bear hug. She even rubbed her face hard against my chest. You brat. You're finally back. I teased Xia Qingxue with a smile. You're not wiping your snot on me, are you? She immediately looked up and scolded me. You're the one wiping snot. If I am wiping anything, it's drool. As soon as we entered the house, she clung to me like a puppy. The moment I sat on the sofa, she conveniently fell down. With her head resting right on my lap, she bit her lip, revealing a cute canine tooth. In my mind, I immediately pictured that screaming marmot meme. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. You brat. What are you laughing at? I blurted out. Xia Qingxue, your canine tooth looks like a marmot's. How can a marmot be as cute as a milk puppy? I was immediately speechless. Why does that sound a bit off? As expected, she started provoking me. Hey, I call you a milk puppy and you won't even accept it. You can't even act fierce. And you still want to be a wolf pup? If you're not convinced, show me how fierce you can be. I looked down at her confident appearance. The pride of a wolf pup was immediately provoked. My head grew hot. I don't know where I got the courage, but I suddenly lowered my head and kissed her. I even took her lip between mine and bit it lightly. The pain from her lip immediately sobered me up. My mind went boom. I actually bit Xia Qingxue. I quickly let go. You can't blame me for this. You're the one who told me to show you how fierce I could be. Xia Qingxue's eyes widened. She looked at me in disbelief. I thought she was about to get angry. Who knew she would suddenly blush? The next second, she covered her face and turned over, burying her face in my lap, and even shook a few times. Xia Qingxue. What's wrong with you? If you're angry, be angry. Why are you blushing? She actually knows how to be shy. She covered her face and said in a muffled voice, none of your business. After a moment, she finally put her hands down. Her face was still bright red, but she looked at me, and her gaze became increasingly soul-stirring. Stop. Stop. Why am I so dirty-minded? Such a big, pervy turtle. I listened but didn't understand a thing. This script is wrong. Normally, shouldn't Xia Qingxue have scolded me, or just pinned me down and attacked me fiercely. But today, she just covered her blushing face and acted shy. After a long while, she put her hands down and sat up. But she didn't dare to look at me anymore. She even ran straight into the bathroom. When she came out, she didn't even glance at me. Just quietly opened Douyin and scrolled through short videos. This dog is so cute. Xia Qingxue suddenly shouted. Her eyes were glued to the screen. Xiao Fang Yuan. Let's get a puppy too. She held the phone in front of me, blinking her big eyes. Look how much this dog looks like you, both cute and fierce. I was immediately speechless. Xia Qingxue, can't you change to a different object of comparison? So, will you buy one for me? I really had no choice. I could only nod. All right, I'll buy one for you. There's a place that sells dogs nearby. How about we go right now? She was so happy she jumped up. Great. Let's go now. Half an hour later, we arrived at a roadside dog stall. Xia Qingxue's eyes lit up. This dog has white eyebrows, like a little old man. I held my forehead. That's a schnauzer. This one is so fat, like a big sweet potato. I sighed. That's a golden retriever puppy. This dog's eyes are blue. It just looks a bit dumb. I couldn't bear to look. That's a husky. How could it not be dumb? My face immediately darkened with lines. Her acting like this was basically telling all the stall owners clearly, I am an easy fool to scam. I quickly went forward and pulled her back, whispering a warning, Xia Qingxue, keep your voice down. Acting like this, everyone will know you're a newbie. They'll rip you off. Only then did she widen her eyes. There's such a thing? I signaled for her to be quiet. And just follow me. Right after that, I quickly found a place selling Pomeranian puppies. Among them was a particularly naughty one, constantly yapping in the cage. Its voice was high-pitched but had a hint of fierceness. Xia Qingxue took one look and grabbed my hand, saying excitedly, Yes, 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 this is it. This is the kind I want. I already had a plan in mind, but I didn't rush to ask. The stall owner saw we were interested and immediately came over. Buy one. My dogs are all top quality, guaranteed to be healthy. I didn't even look at the Pomeranian. Instead, I pointed to a Yorkshire Terrier next to it and asked unexpectedly, "Boss, how much is this one?" 1,200. I sneered inwardly. This kind of roadside stall. You don't even know if they're purebred. And he opens his mouth asking for 1,200, so I shook my head. Only then did I point to the one next to it. Xiak Ching Shu's long-awaited Pomeranian. How much is the Pomeranian? The owner didn't even look up and quoted a price, 1,200. Young man, look how much your girlfriend likes it. Buy it for her. I guarantee your relationship will blossom. As expected, the word girlfriend made Xia Qingshu's heart bloom with joy when she heard it, but I shook my head and said coldly, too expensive. Will you sell it for 600? The owner's expression immediately changed. Young man, are you trying to rob me? My cost price is higher than that. I seriously started bluffing. Uncle, my second aunt owns a dog kennel. I am familiar with these tricks of yours. 100 question marks immediately appeared in Xia Qingshu's mind. Isn't he an only child? Where did a second aunt come from? The shop owner was indeed intimidated by me and conceded. How about this? 900 yuan. I still shook my head. 600. Uncle, we're students. You can tell we're kind-hearted people. He quickly waved his hand. With an angry expression. You're too ruthless. Ill. Take off another 100. 800. Any lower and I'll be losing money. Xia Qingshu, behind me, frantically tugged at my shirt. Her gaze seemed to say, 800 is fine, but I pretended not to see. I still insisted. 600. If you sell it, I'll buy it. The uncle shook his head. Not for sale. Not for sale. You're clearly not serious about buying. I stood up without hesitation and pulled Xia Qingshu away. All right. Xia Qingshu, let's go. She stood there stunned. Are we really leaving? She tugged at me a few times. I pretended not to notice, seeing that we had walked 7 or 8 steps away. He was getting anxious and about to speak. Just then, from behind, suddenly, the owner's voice called out, young man, wait, I'll take a loss today. 600. Take it. Take it. Xia Qingshu's eyes immediately widened. There's a trick like this. The corners of my mouth curled into a smile. I turned around and paid. I picked up the fiercest, yet cutest and most lively little Pomeranian. The owner was still there, acting heartbroken. I just chuckled and nodded. Xia Qingshu held the little puppy in her arms, loving it so much. She couldn't bear to let go. Her gaze towards me was filled with adoration. She said excitedly, Little Fang Yuan, let's hurry home. I shook my head. It's not over yet. She was confused. Huh, I said directly. Cage, dog food, leash. Not a single thing can be missing. Xia Qingshu had a sudden realization. Her gaze at me grew even brighter. Little Fang Yuan, you sure know a lot. However, as we were heading home, after buying everything, she couldn't wait and asked, Little Fang Yuan, can we take it out to play tonight? I flatly refused. No. I stared into her eyes. I told her seriously, puppies are very fragile, especially Pomeranians. Their stomachs are even weaker. Taking it out now makes it easy to get sick. You have to keep it indoors for a few days first. Let it get used to the environment. Right after that, I explained to her the things to pay attention to when raising a dog. Things like the leash, food, potty tray. Her head was buzzing just listening. The next second, she named the dog Fang Yuan. No way. How can it have the same name as me? I refused on the spot. I am a little wolf. What the hell is it? So I suggested calling it Xiao Xie. Simple, easy to say. As soon as we got home, the style changed. Xia Qingshu was like a child, running around the house teasing Xiao Xia. I sat on the sofa watching this scene. I suddenly felt like an old father. Not only do I have to take care of the idiot, this Xia Qingshu, who is clueless about pets, now I have a son too. This house really can't function without me. As I was thinking this, Xia Qingshu suddenly tilted her head and looked at me. Little Fang Yuan, why are you smiling just like my dad? I coughed dryly. Xia Qingshu, don't you think I am like an old father? I have to take care of you, and I also have to take care of Xiao Xia. After hearing that, her cheeks blushed slightly. She glared at me angrily. I see you as my little man, and you see me as your daughter? Pervert. I was stunned. What kind of bold words are these? Right after that, I don't know what she thought of. Her face turned even redder, and she suddenly lowered her head. I looked at her strange behavior. My heart skipped a beat. Xia Qingshu, you're not allergic to dog fur, are you? She immediately waved her hand. No. No? Then why are you blushing? She abruptly raised her head and glared at me. She yelled angrily. Is it any of your business? It's my face. I'll blush if I want to. My God, she changes her tunes so quickly. Forget it. Who told me I was the old father of this house? I got up to prepare dinner. I blurted out a question to her. Xia Qingshu, what do you want to eat today? She blurted out, can I eat you? My face immediately darkened. The way she talks is getting more and more out of line. Xie Qingshu, can't you talk like a normal person? She immediately snorted. Are you saying I am not human? I looked at her and said seriously. Xie Qingshui is a fox spirit. If she weren't a fox spirit, how could she be this beautiful? The anger on her face instantly vanished, and even made a gesture, shooting at me, just for your honest attitude. Tonight, as a reward for you, I will eat 3 bowls of rice. You eat 3 bowls of rice. Then what's the reward for me? She said with a grand expression. The fact that I can eat 3 bowls of rice proves that you cook very well. This is a compliment to your cooking skills. I really couldn't hold back. I exposed her right away. But even when it's not delicious, you often eat 3 bowls of rice anyway. Xie Qingshui glared at me fiercely. Stinky brat. When do I ever eat 3 bowls of rice? I am a fairy. I only eat occasionally, no more than 3 times a day. My God. When it comes to the art of words, it still has to be Xie Qingshui. I shook my head and went into the kitchen. She then picked up Xiao Xia and leaned her head to watch from the doorway. That sight really looked like a family. Just then, Xiao Xia took a lettuce leaf in his mouth and tried to run away. Xie Qingshu immediately chased after him. Grabbing Xiao Xia, spit it out. This little devil was not convinced. It wriggled in her hands. It barked. Woof woof. Xie Qingshu got the urge to tease again. She picked up Xiao Xia and imitated. The Calabash brothers, demon, use some strength. My head isn't made of dough. Looking at this one person and one dog, I suddenly felt that this was the feeling of family. It was still early after dinner. Xie Qingshui suddenly pulled me aside. Little Fang Yuan, let's go for a walk in the park. I heard that Kaiyuan Park is holding a lovers-themed music festival. A lovers' music festival? I looked at her blinking eyes. My heart immediately softened. All right, let's go then. She jumped up in excitement. She ran into the bedroom and changed into a pure white short dress. I looked at her after she changed. I only had one thought in my mind. It turns out there really are people who are so beautiful they glow. A few minutes later, we got in the car. I was the driver, but I couldn't stop glancing at her from the corner of my eye. A lovers' music festival. What is she implying with this? We're not actually a couple, are we? Just then, we suddenly turned to look at each other at the same time, then quickly looked away. For a moment, my heart pounded. I pretended to be calm. Xie Qingshui, what are you flustered about? I am not flustered. What are you flustered about? I forced myself to say, I am not either. Hold it together, I told myself. Wait until the day of the confession. Everything will become clear. The car quickly arrived at Kaiyuan Park before we even got close. We could already see the bright lights and the bustling crowd. Xia Qingshu pulled me, excitedly rushing inside. Quick! Quick! Hurry up! Little Fang Yuan, let's go get a good spot. I heard the lead female singer is very beautiful. Do you want to see her? I immediately put on a serious face. Xie Qingshui, I am not that kind of person. No matter how beautiful they are, they can't compare to you. She immediately grinned from ear to ear. She reached out and poked my forehead. I just love how you're so honest. Keep it up next time. I secretly rolled my eyes. If you want me to praise you, just say so. She took my hand and skipped towards the stage. The couples around us all looked our way. Their eyes widened in unison. This couple is so good-looking. The guy is so handsome. Xie Qingshui is as beautiful as a fairy. I listened to the words of admiration around me. I only had one thought in my mind. We are the perfect couple. On stage, the band was rocking out. The lead singer was a sexy girl with dreadlocks. I wasn't interested at all, because the extroverted Xia Qingshui was already dancing. She held my hand and swayed wildly to the music. Beneath her twirling skirt, her long legs sparkled under the lights. I couldn't take my eyes off her. The performance ended. A sweet female MC walked onto the stage. She announced an exciting activity to randomly draw a couple from the audience. As long as they sing a song for their partner, they can get a free stay in a suite at a high-end hotel for 3 nights. As soon as she finished, the whole audience erupted. My face flushed after hearing that. This activity is way too bold. Subconsciously, I shrank into a corner. I silently prayed, don't pick me. Xie Qingshu next to me was extremely excited. She grabbed me, jumping and shouting, pick me. Pick me, pick me. I quickly pulled her back. My face darkened. They're looking for a couple. We're not one. She looked unconcerned. So what if we're not? Can't we just act a little? My acting skills are top-notch. Don't you worry. My God, how could I ever be at ease with what she does? The next second, the spotlight started scanning frantically through the crowd. I tried to keep my head down, afraid of being chosen. However, fate has a funny way of giving you what you hate. A strong beam of light fell from the sky. Without missing a bit, it shone directly on the two of us. I was instantly stunned. No way. We got picked just like that? Xie Qingshui let out a scream. She gave me absolutely no chance to react, and pulled me straight onto the stage. The moment we stood firm, the entire audience erupted in thunderous cheers. Oh my god, which female celebrity is this? She's so beautiful. That guy is so handsome. Damn. My heart is fluttering. In an instant, Xia Qing Shui and I became the sole focus of the entire audience. Even the female MC on stage was staring in a daze. Someone from the audience even shouted, "For this big sister, I am willing to be gay. For this big brother, I am willing to be gay too." Countless phones were pointed at us. The camera flashes lit up the area. After a long moment, the female MC finally snapped out of it. She took a deep breath and walked towards us with the microphone. Her expression couldn't hide her excitement. The MC finally managed to contain her excitement. She came up to us, her eyes sparkling. "Wow, I can't believe it. We managed to pick such an enviable couple. So, will you, too, be participating in our activity?" "Definitely. Definitely." Xia Qing Shui nodded her head repeatedly without any hesitation, as excited as if she were afraid the prize would fly away. My face immediately darkened. "Can't you be a little more reserved? It's as if we're really about to go stay at a love hotel." "Big brother, what about you?" Before I could even open my mouth, Xia Qingshu was one step ahead and put her arm around my shoulder. She decided for me. "Of course he will. If I am in, he's in. Isn't that right, little Fang Yuan?" Under her overpowering gaze, I was a little unused to being the center of everyone's attention like this. I could only nod stiffly. Yes, whatever Sai Qingxue says is right. My obedience immediately ignited the atmosphere at the scene. Murmurs arose from the crowd. This situation. Why does it feel like the fairy is the one pursuing? It's a strong woman, weak man dynamic. Oh my. This couple is too cute. I'm shipping this. This strong woman, weak man dynamic is so attractive. What should I do? I want to ship this forever. The envy on the female MC's face was almost overflowing. Strong woman, weak man. Being the one on top, isn't this the kind of love she's always dreamed of? It's a pity she couldn't meet such a handsome and adorable little milk dog. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but blurt out, "He really is a drool-worthy little milk dog." I suddenly raised my head and retorted indignantly, "I am not a little milk dog. I am a little wolf dog." The moment I finished, the scene suddenly went silent. But the next second, the atmosphere was pushed to an unprecedented climax. This big brother's deadly charm. It's like it's piercing straight through my heart. Wow. Is this the legendary fierce but innocent type? How can I not fall in love with this? Security. Hurry and stop me. I am afraid I won't be able to resist rushing up and pinning him down. Looking at the crazy reaction from the audience, I was completely dumbfounded. What is happening? I am clearly a wolf from the south. How did I become a little milk dog in their eyes? A sense of grievance from being underestimated appeared in my eyes. As a result, this look made me seem even more innocent. Xia Qingxue glanced at me. Her eyes were full of a sea expression, a smug look that said, "I told you you were a little milk dog and you didn't believe me," which made me even more discouraged. The female MC didn't dare to look at me anymore. Afraid that she would actually break the law, she quickly returned to the topic. Haha, what an adorable young man. Well then, to receive the final prize, you two need to sing a song. So who's going to be the one to sing? I'll sing. Xia Qingxue immediately raised her hand. I looked at her in amazement. Xia Qingxue, you can sing too? Of course. I sing very well. You didn't know, did you? She puffed out her chest proudly. The child diva of love songs. Sweet. Cute. Unbeatable. Explosive. Ever heard of it? That's me. I was stunned listening to her. Unbeatable. Explosive. What diva? I've never heard of it. It's normal that you haven't. She winked playfully. I just made it up. The venue immediately erupted in laughter. Xia Qingshu's extroverted personality immediately attracted another wave of fans. The MC held up the microphone. Big sister, what song are you going to sing? Xia Qingshu tilted her head and thought for a moment. She gave a mysterious smile. I'll sing an English song. It's called Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy. The audience below looked at each other. They had never heard this song before. Xia Qingshu was laughing to herself. It's right that you haven't heard it. This song doesn't belong to this world. She took the microphone and smiled sweetly. Her entire aura immediately became incredibly sweet and radiant. This song, Pretty Boy. I am singing it for my boy. He's not. Her gaze was fixed on me. That gentle gaze seemed to have the power to melt everything, no accompaniment needed. Singing a cappella is fine. You have to listen carefully. Okay? In that moment, her smile seemed to make everything around her fade away. She slowly began to sing. Her voice was melodious and sweet, like a clear stream flowing through the silence. Xia Qingxue sang very seriously, singing while gently twirling to the melody on stage. There was no complex choreography, but combined with her exquisite beauty and a voice so sweet it touched the heart, the whole scene was breathtakingly beautiful. I was completely stunned. We've known each other for 10 years, and I never knew she could sing so well. What kind of angelic voice is this? The audience below had long been captivated. The melody seemed to have a magical power. It crept in and filled everyone's heart. After a turn, Xia Qingshui walked back in front of me and continued to sing. Her gaze suddenly changed. It became incredibly deep, incredibly serious. Locking onto me, I met her gaze. I could only feel my heart beating wildly in my chest. It was about to break through my ribs and leap out. Xia Qingshui, isn't she confessing to me right now? The singing stopped, and the scene fell silent. It took a few seconds before thunderous applause erupted. The cheers from the audience were endless. Everyone was still immersed in that sweet melody. Oh my God, so this is what it's like when a beautiful person sings well. Pretty boy, I sent this song, tailor-made for that little milk dog. It fits the mood and the scene perfectly. It's hard not to fall in love. Big sister, are you looking for a girlfriend? If you are, I can go get surgery. Xia Qingshui smiled sweetly at the audience. Thank you, but there's no need for surgery. As she spoke, she suddenly turned around, her arm wrapped around my neck in a flash, because I have a little milk dog that doesn't need surgery. Before she even finished her words, a warm, soft kiss landed on my cheek. The scene immediately exploded with deafening cheers. I stood frozen on stage. My heart was so sweet it was about to melt, but my face was burning up, being kissed in front of so many people. This was the first time. This girl is way too bold. I looked at her. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. Xia Qingshui moved her face closer. She giggled and asked, so what? Little Fang Yuan, you've been kissed by me. Are you not happy? A mischievous glint flashed in her eyes. How about you kiss me back? The crowd below was instantly fired up. They started chanting, kiss, kiss, kiss. I looked at Xia Qingshui right in front of me. Her eyes sparkled with a cunning look. Her expression seemed to say, stinky brat. With so many people watching, today, you have to kiss me whether you want to or not. You must kiss me. I was immediately put in a difficult position. Not kissing in this atmosphere so intense would be really unreasonable. But if I kiss her, wouldn't the act become real? Don't I want to? No, absolutely not. It's just, big brother, what are you hesitating for? Hurry up and kiss her. Even the female MC beside us was getting so antsy she was about to jump up and down. The smile at the corner of Xia Qingshui's mouth deepened. Little Fang Yuan, is it that you don't dare? Nonsense. I almost blurted out. How could I not dare? I am a wolf from the south. The blood rushed to my head. I no longer hesitated, and suddenly lunged forward to kiss her on the lips. Not the cheek, but the lips. I felt her body tense up a little, but her tense body slowly relaxed right after. The cheers at the scene seemed to be infinitely distant at this moment. The world only had the two of us left. Along with this kiss, the atmosphere at the scene completely exploded. The video of us on stage also spread online at an astonishing speed. After receiving the prize of a couple's room, Xia Qingshui excitedly pulled me off the stage. However, it was far from over. On the short video platform, our Fierce Milk CP quickly became famous. That song of hers, sweet to the core, plus the image of a little milk dog, my exclusive, officially stamped image, made countless netizens fall for us. We paid no attention to the noise online, and partied hard at the music festival until it ended. After 10 p.m., just as we walked out of the park, Xia Qingshui, who was excited just moments ago, immediately deflated like a pop balloon, limply hugging my arm, her whole body falling against me. So tired. Little Fang Yuan, carry me. I shook my head helplessly. This annoying Xia Qingshui goes all out when she's having fun. The moment it's over, she immediately wilts. There's really nothing I can do about her. Seeing her head slide down my chest, continuously slipping lower, I had to sigh and hold her up. Then, bent down for a princess carry, and lifted her entire body up. Xia Qingshui, don't fall asleep yet. Go home, take a shower, and then sleep. She buried her face deep in my chest, shaking her head groggily. I want to sleep. With that, she wrapped her arms tightly around my neck, refusing to let go. I had no choice but to carry her, under the curious and envious gazes of passers-by, and amidst the continuous clicks of camera shutters, and walk towards the parking lot. After carefully placing her in the back seat, I finally breathed a sigh of relief and drove home. Once we got home, I carried her again, who was sleeping soundly, out of the car, and into her bedroom. It wasn't until I gently placed her on the bed that Xia Qingshui became a little more awake. She staggered into the bathroom by herself. I closed the door for her, and leaned my back against it. The whole house immediately fell silent, but my heart was still unusually noisy. I unconsciously raised my hand, my fingertips gently touching my lips. That soft feeling, That warm breath, that feeling of being electrocuted in that moment, seemed to still linger clearly. The night wind blew in from the window, carrying a slight chill, but it couldn't blow away the heat on my face. Everything that happened tonight felt like an unreal dream. That song was sung for me, that kiss was given in front of everyone, and also the way she slept peacefully in my arms. Everything was a mess, but it seemed like everything was falling into its rightful place. The night was still long, but between me and Xia Qingxue, something seemed to have completely changed. I soaked the food for Xiaofang, watched it finish eating, then cleaned up its battlefield. Before heading to the bathroom, I took a relaxing shower. Everything that happened today kept replaying in my mind. I walked back to my bedroom with my chaotic thoughts, but when I habitually pushed the door open to enter, I suddenly froze at the doorway. This isn't my room. On the bed, Xia Qingxue was lying on her side, covered by a thin air conditioning blanket, with a lazy gaze, yet slightly teasing, looking at me. My mind went blank with surprise. This action was completely unconscious. In other words, in my subconscious, I already felt that I should be sleeping with her. It's only been a few days, and I've already been reformed to this extent. She seemed to find my dumbfounded expression very satisfying. The corners of her mouth curved into a smug smile. She patted the empty space beside her. "What are you spacing out for? Get up here." I hesitated for 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, my mind was in a fierce struggle. In the end, I still lost to her. Under that gaze that allowed no objection, I quietly walked over. "Sigh, it's not like I am her match anyway. I can only let her have her way." The moment I got into bed, her command arrived. "Hug me." I resignedly opened my arms. She immediately burrowed into my arms like a cat, rubbing her cheek against my chest, and squinted in satisfaction. In the quiet room, we could only hear each other's breathing. I held her, but my mind was like a movie projector, playing only scenes from tonight's music festival. I couldn't sleep at all. About 10 minutes later, the person in my arms stirred. "Little Fang Yuan, are you asleep?" I opened my eyes, my voice a bit hoarse. "Not yet." She turned over and pulled her phone out from under the pillow. The light from the screen immediately illuminated her excited face. "Then let's play on our phones for a bit." "Come on, let's scroll together." She opened a short video app. At first, the screen showed a few cute cats and dogs, but after scrolling for a while, a video suddenly appeared. That familiar melody and image left both of us stunned for a moment. The video's cover image was the moment I kissed her on the lips on stage. Its popularity was frighteningly high. The number of likes had already surpassed 1 million, and the number of comments below was even more terrifying than the number of likes. My sleepiness vanished completely at that moment. No way. How did it get this popular? Xia Qingxue opened the comments section. The entire screen was filled with comments shipping us. What kind of fairy couple is this? Did they step out of a 2D world? Sob, this guy is so handsome, and he's the milky type too. The couple vibes are just radiating off the screen. Don't just talk about their looks. I couldn't find the song this girl sang anywhere online. It must be an original composition. She's beautiful, sings well, and can even write her own songs. Is this some kind of divine intervention? If you're not happy watching this video, then you must be dead inside, right? Looking at the screen full of compliments and shipping comments, we both subconsciously looked at each other. I could clearly see a light of excitement and joy flashing in her eyes, and she clearly also, from my eyes, saw my utter surprise and astonishment. She raised an eyebrow, her beautiful nose wrinkling slightly, with a hint of a pout. "Little Fang Yuan, what's with that look in your eyes? Do you find it unreasonable that we're famous?" My survival instincts immediately kicked in. I immediately answered seriously, "Of course not. It just feels a little sudden. But when I think about Xia Qingxue's beauty and talent, all of this becomes perfectly reasonable." Hearing my words, a satisfied smile finally appeared on her face. She reached out and pinched my cheek. "That's more like it. Seeing as you're so honest, I'll spare you from a death sentence." She giggled foolishly and continued scrolling down. Not long after, another video of us was recommended. This time, it was the scene after the music festival ended. Me, princess carrying the exhausted her, effortlessly walking towards the parking lot. That effortless posture hit the netizens' cute spot again. "Oh my god. A princess carry that easy? Inside this little milk dog's body must be a little wolf dog." He said on stage he was a wolf. I didn't believe it at first, but now I do. A little milk dog appearance. A little wolf dog body. I am in love. I am in love. Mom, I've found a good son-in-law for you. Hurry and get his contact info for me. Looking at these increasingly bold comments, I just felt my cheeks burning. Meanwhile, Xia Qingxue next to me was watching with great interest, laughing her head off, as if the main character of these comments wasn't her. She laughed and then suddenly turned her head, her bright eyes sparkling as she stared at me, her tone full of teasing. "Being a little wolf dog liked by so many people, are you happy?" I looked at her smiling face, just inches away, and was momentarily speechless. I only felt my heartbeat, pounding even harder than the drums at tonight's music festival. Just as she was laughing happily, another video was scrolled past, and the style of the comment section changed abruptly. What do? I feel like I've fallen for this handsome guy, but he's a man I can never have. All the sisters here, don't be shameless. This guy is mine. Xia Qingxue scrolled past these comments. The smile in her eyes instantly froze, replaced by a fierce glare. I only felt the air around us suddenly turn cold. I subconsciously backed away a little. Xia Qingxue. What are you going to do? She turned her head, staring at me with a smile that wasn't a smile. HMH. So many girls online say they like you. Are you getting cocky? I thought to myself, this is not good. This familiar tone means her automatic defense mechanism has been activated. I immediately shook my head like a rattled drum, my expression serious. Xie Qingshu, don't you understand me? I learned humility from a young age. I've never known what it means to be cocky, but inside, I was screaming. I want to be cocky too. But what if I get cocky and you slap me? So many girls like you, aren't you moved? This is a trap. My brain operated at high speed and came up with what I believe to be a foolproof answer. If I am not even moved when I am facing Xia Qingxue, then what makes you think it'd be moved by other girls? She tilted her head, pondering this sentence, but her brows furrowed even tighter. Wait, why does that sound like you're insulting me? I was speechless. What I mean is, Xia Qingxue, you are the person in my life most likely to move me. With you by my side, why would I need to be moved by anyone else? Hearing my explanation, the ice in her eyes instantly melted, curving into two beautiful crescent moons. She patted my shoulder in satisfaction, then pinched my cheek again. Little Fang Yuan, I really like you more and more. Right after that, she changed the subject. So, did you mean just now that you like me? My heart skipped a beat. Not good. A slip of the tongue. I've been preparing for a formal confession for so long. I can't let all my effort go to waste here. Countless thoughts flashed through my mind in an instant. I quickly put on an innocent and harmless expression. Of course I like Xia Qingxue. I've always seen you as my own sister. How could I not like you? The smile on Xia Qingshue's face immediately froze. Her eyes suddenly widened, staring at me in disbelief. That gaze looked like it wanted to drill two holes in me. You hateful little brother. You only see me as a sister. Seeing her sudden change in expression, I felt a guilty conscience, but I could only try my best to pretend to be naive. That's right, what else could it be? Her chest heaved violently, glaring at me. That cute look instantly disappeared. With a cold snort, a foot kicked me without any warning. I was caught off guard, and my whole body almost rolled off the bed. Get off the bed. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I steadied myself, looking at her sudden rage, with an innocent expression. Xia Qingxue, what's wrong now? You're asking me what's wrong. She was so angry, her voice trembled. Do I really have to spell it out? You hateful little brother. So hateful. Get out. Get out now. With that, she was like an enraged kitten, kicking her legs wildly at the blanket, letting out frantic sounds. Looking at this situation, I felt that my life was more important, so I had to crawl off the bed dejectedly and turn towards the door. Before leaving, I even thoughtfully helped her gently close the door. Back in my own room, I buried my head in the bed, hugging the blanket, but I felt empty inside. How could the feel of a blanket compare to her warm body? But her words, get off the bed, were still ringing in my ears. If I ran back now, I'd probably be beaten to death for real. No, I have to endure it. Loneliness is indeed unbearable, but life is more important. I was too tired from playing all day. A heavy drowsiness gradually washed over me. I closed my eyes, torn between missing her and cherishing my own life. It was a constant struggle. After a long while, I really did drift off to sleep, but at the same time, Xia Qingshue's eyes were wide open, staring at the bedside lamp, wanting to cry but having no tears. Can't sleep. I can't sleep at all. I want to hug that hateful little brother. I want to touch his abs. I want to pinch his cheeks. I want to pinch his thighs. But I was the one who said those harsh words. I was the one who kicked him out. Now to ask him to come back would be so embarrassing. Xia Qingshue's eyes suddenly lit up. I told him to get out, and then telling him to come back would be very embarrassing. But I never said I couldn't go find him. Thinking of this, Xia Qingshu immediately sat up in bed, slipped on her slippers, and tiptoed to open the door. She walked to my bedroom door. First, she pressed her ear against Fang Yuan's door to listen. There was no movement. Then she gently opened the door and saw that I was already asleep. She stuck out her tongue and quietly walked in. She pulled back the blanket and slowly lay down, a mischievous smile playing on her lips, her hands wrapped around my waist from behind. The feeling of muscle came through. Xia Qingshu immediately felt. Her mood lightened considerably. Ah, yes, 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 yes. This is the feeling. This is exactly the feeling. I sleep just like most guys. I don't have the habit of wearing clothes. If I wasn't living with Xie Qingshui, I basically wouldn't wear pajamas. The corners of Xie Qingshui's mouth kept stretching back, as if they wanted to reach the back of her head. Her palm gently glided over my stomach, up and then down. Huh? What's this? Why is it like this? She suddenly found it strange. A few seconds later, with a whoosh, she retracted her hand. Her face red, ears burning, heart pounding. Her blood felt like it was boiling. Ah, you ask what I did? What did I do? I am gonna die. Oh my god. That hateful little brother. Isn't he asleep? Why is he still like this? A boy's body is really too magical. After a period of rapid heartbeat, she gradually calmed down, recalling it carefully. An indescribable feeling arose in her heart. Suddenly, she felt the sleepiness in her head lessen. On the contrary, her spirits were high. She felt like she could run 10,000 meters right now. Oh no. This hateful little brother isn't going to wake up. Is he? If he finds out, it'll be so embarrassing. Xie Qingshui suddenly thought of a possibility. She quickly sat up a little and looked towards my face. Seeing I was still fast asleep, Xie Qingshui breathed a sigh of relief. But looking at my face, she felt the thoughts in her mind ignite once again. Why is this guy so cute even when he's sleeping? She couldn't resist reaching out a finger and placing it on my lips, touching them gently. I don't know what I was dreaming about. I suddenly opened my mouth slightly and bit her finger, even giving it a lick. Xie Qingshu, who had just made a mistake, being bitten by me like that, directly felt like she was on fire. Foul play, you hateful little brother. This is a foul. Thinking about her own foul play just now, Xie Qingshu's face and ears turned red again, feeling her whole body heat up. Looking at my face, she had a strong urge. Licking her lips, she opened her mouth slightly, and between her lips, a few sparkling silver threads gave off a seductive light. Ah, what am I doing? I want to be so proactive, so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Xie Qingshu covered her face and lay down, trying not to look at my face anymore. I haven't even given this annoying brat an official title yet, and yet I want to do that embarrassing thing with him. Oh my god. Am I a lustful woman or a pure maiden? The more Qingshu thought, the more embarrassed she became. But the more embarrassed she was, the more excited she got. Then she tormented herself all night, and only managed to fall asleep after a long time. The next morning, still drowsy, I habitually turned over and reached for the phone by my pillow. You should never get up in a hurry in the morning. First, you have to find your phone to check the time, in case you can sleep in for another 10 minutes. That's a huge win. But I didn't find my phone. Instead, my hand touched something very soft. A small question mark appeared in my hazy mind. I unconsciously gave it a squeeze. The texture felt even better. Strange. Since when has there been something so soft on my bed? It doesn't feel like a plush toy either. So, in the spirit of exploration, I squeezed it again. Ah, a scream rang out in my ear. You pervert. What are you doing? This familiar voice instantly sobered my hazy mind. I suddenly opened my eyes, only to see Xie Qingshui, her face bright red, glaring at me with both embarrassment and anger, while my hand was placed somewhere it shouldn't be. Xie Qingshu. I retracted my hand like lightning, and jumped out of bed, completely stunned. Why? Why are you here? I looked around. This was indeed my room. Didn't I already leave your room? Could it be that everything last night was a dream? I looked at Xie Qingshui sharing a blanket with me. My worldview was shattered. Why are you in my room? Her face was so red it looked like it could bleed, but she tried to sound confident. Pointing at me, she accused. Is that the main point here? The main point is that your hand was misbehaving just now. You usually look so well behaved. I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. I looked at her. You are a pervert expression. Her disdainful look, and immediately blushed as well. I hurriedly explained. I am very innocent, okay? I wasn't even awake yet. It wasn't intentional at all. I pointed at the bedside table. I was looking for my phone. Who knew you'd be in my bed? Speaking of which, I finally grasped the crux of the matter. I widened my eyes and glared at her again. That's right. Xie Qingshui, why are you on my bed? Being questioned back like that by me, she immediately became a bit flustered. Last night, I got up to use the bathroom and ended up going through the wrong door. She puffed out her chest, as if doing so could increase her credibility. Sleepwalking and going through the wrong door isn't a normal thing. You're questioning me. What do you mean by that? Do you really think I deliberately ran into your room, deliberately slept with you? Seeing her expression that said her words were the absolute truth, and that it was my fault for daring to doubt her, I wisely chose to surrender. Based on my 10 years of experience fighting her, if I believe her now, I'll get a radiant, smiling Xie Qingshui. Otherwise, it'd be a nuclear reactor on the verge of exploding. This multiple choice question, I couldn't get it wrong even with my eyes closed. All right, I'll trust you this once. I nodded reluctantly. As expected, she heaved a sigh of relief. The corners of her mouth curled up into a smug smile, as if praising me for being sensible. The atmosphere at the dining table was a bit subtle. I prepared breakfast as usual. Ha Qing-shu ate in small bites, but her eyes kept unconsciously glancing at my face. Then, without any warning, her beautiful face instantly flushed red. Hey. Ha Qing-shu, why are you blushing? I am not. You're seeing things. It's clearly red. It's not like you did something sneaky, right? Nonsense. She was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. She immediately bristled. I am an upright person, with a kind heart. How could I possibly do something sneaky? I shook my head and didn't ask further. I picked up a purple sweet potato and took a couple of bites, then frowned. This purple sweet potato is a bit off. It's really hard. Ha Qing-shu retorted without thinking. No. It's clearly very soft. Okay, where is it hard? She paused for a moment and unconsciously muttered a sentence, not even as hard as you. As soon as the words left her mouth, my hands suddenly froze. Time seemed to stand still at this moment. My eyes widened as I stared at her. My mind went blank. Huh. What was that? Ha Qing-shu clearly also realized immediately that she had slipped up. The blush on her face spread to her ears at a visible speed. In the quiet dining room, the sound of our heartbeats was like war drums. However, just as I thought she would die of embarrassment, she suddenly slammed the table, taking the initiative to gain the upper hand. You smelly brat. What's with that look in your eyes? That attempt to look fierce, combined with her flushed cheeks, had absolutely no intimidating effect. I suppressed the storm raging inside me and tried to remain calm. I haven't even asked you what you meant by that last sentence. I said the purple sweet potato was hard. You said it wasn't as hard as me. What does that mean? Her face turned even redder, but her tone became even more forceful. Of course, it's what a person would say. What I mean is, how could a purple sweet potato be as hard as your body, your abs, your pecs, your biceps? Which one of those isn't harder than this purple sweet potato? Her voice got louder as she spoke, as if using volume to hide her guilt. You smelly brat, what are you suspecting? Muscles are indeed very hard. Besides muscles, is there anywhere else? Could it be? A shocking thought flashed through my mind. My eyes suddenly lit up. I looked at her and exclaimed in surprise. Ha Qing-shu, last night, you didn't. Before I could finish, I quickly covered my mouth, but my cheeks also burned up. I can't say it. If I do, she'll definitely beat me to a level 1 disability. The air fell completely silent. We stared at each other. Faces flushed. Even the chirping of Xiao Yuanfeng in the cage became especially clear. Ahem, ahem. In the end, she was the first one to back down. She coughed dryly twice and turned her face to the side. So, you thought I wasn't talking about your muscles? I also gave a dry cough and gulped down my glass of milk. I said vaguely. Of course, I believe in the character of Ha Qing-shu. Muscles are indeed very hard. That's right, she replied sullenly. The atmosphere in the room grew even quieter, so quiet that we could hear each other's frantic heartbeats. This breakfast lasted for an unprecedented 10 minutes plus. After eating, I grabbed my textbooks to leave, not daring to stay for another second. Ha Qing-shu, I am going to class. She just replied softly, with a single sound, not clinging to me as usual. Reaching the door, I couldn't help but turn back to look. She was still sitting there, cheeks flushed, head down. I don't know what she was thinking, but the moment I turned away, she clenched her fists. Her beautiful eyes flashed with an unusual look I had never seen before, a glint of determination, as if she had made up her mind about something. I ran all the way to school, a thin layer of sweat on my forehead. I finally managed to suppress some of my restless mood. Just thinking about the things Ha Qing-shu might have done last night made my heart skip a beat. Luckily, I was asleep then. If I had been awake, I was asleep. Isn't that a huge loss then? While my thoughts were running wild, I had arrived in front of a lecture hall building. I took a deep breath, telling myself I had entered a sacred place and shouldn't have impure thoughts. Ha Qing-shu and I aren't official yet. Thinking further would be too wicked, but the more I suppressed it, the more those thoughts swirled in my head. It seems there's only one way. Sitting in my chair, the thoughts in my head spun rapidly. I have to confess to her as soon as possible. As long as she agrees, we'll become a couple. Then everything will be perfectly legitimate. But where should I confess? I tilted my head, carefully considering. Ha Qing-shu likes watching sunsets, and also likes strolling by the river. Got it. Jiangfeng Park. It has sunsets, it has the river, and even a sandy beach. It's known as a holy land for couples, a perfect place for a date. Next week is her birthday. I'll choose that day, give her a surprise. Yes, let's decide on that, regardless of whether she sees me as just a little brother, or agrees to accept my feelings. I have to try once. Just thinking about her agreeing, I couldn't help but grin. That's the dream of 900 million teenage boys. She will be my girlfriend in the future. Just thinking about it is enough to make me proud for a long time. But on second thought, what if she doesn't feel that way at all? What if she just sees me as a junior, a smelly brat? What if she rejects me? The flame that had just ignited in my heart was immediately doused with a bucket of cold water. I slumped over my desk in frustration, one moment excited, the next dejected. I just wished time could fast forward to her birthday. This waiting was an unprecedented torture. It seems falling in love isn't an easy thing. I couldn't help but let out a sigh. However, well done, you. Just as I was lost in my own emotions, a chubby, fair finger poked my arm. Zhang Zhiyuan's gossip-loving face leaned in close. His small, sparkling eyes shone with excitement. You managed to win over Goddess Bing so quickly. Let me tell you, I am also shipping you two now. You have to keep it up, okay? I was baffled by his words. How did you know? Who else doesn't know? You guys are on Douyian's hot search. Now it's not just the whole school. The entire internet knows. Seeing my blank expression, he took out his phone, opened Douyin, and showed it to me. Look, you two have taken up 2 of the top 3 hot search spots. I leaned over to look and was immediately stunned. What is this on the hot search list? The hashtag fairy couple was sitting right there. I tapped on it, and it was all videos of me and Ha Qing Shui at the music festival yesterday, especially the part where she sang Pretty Boy. The view count was terrifyingly high. Another even more ridiculous topic was Milky Wolf Pup Boyfriend. The video was of me carrying Ha Qing Shui to the car. I don't know from what tricky angle it managed to capture her hand not behaving itself, lifting up my shirt, revealing some of my abs and V-line. This time, it completely blew up. Screenshots of the comment section were being spread like crazy. Below were all sorts of bold comments. If he were my boyfriend, I'd sleep with him 10 times a day. Hehe. His face is top tier, but his body is even better. Who could possibly resist a Milky Wolf pup like this? May I ask if any sisters have sat on that yet? If so, please help me give it a few shakes. Thank you. Looking at these unrestrained comments, my face flushed bright red. Are these people crazy? How could they say such things? Milky Wolf Pup is one thing, but what does help me give it a few shakes mean? I should watch fewer of these videos in the future. It's not good for my physical and mental health. I expressionlessly turned off Zhang Ziyuan's Douyin and glanced at him. I am doomed. The whole internet thinks that I and Ha Qing Shui are a couple, but we're not at all. This is going to be exposed sooner or later. I had just sat down when I immediately felt the eyes of the entire class on me like headlight focused on me. The admiration, curiosity, and teasing in their eyes needed no words. Someone was even playing our video on speaker. No way. Why is everyone watching it? I am not used to being the center of attention. Being stared at by so many people made my cheeks burn even more. And this scene, in the eyes of the female students in class, was truly a killer move. So, the video's comments section got new content. Hot news. Hot news. Your Milky Wolf pup is being stared at by a group of thirsty girls until he's blushing. Up close, he really is both wolfish and milky. I want to devour him too. I was completely speechless. I just put on an act with Ha Qing Shui. How did I become this famous? It was a struggle to get to the end of the morning classes. I grabbed my books and ran out with Zhang Zhiyuan. But just as we left the lecture building, we were surrounded by a crowd. God Fang Yuan. I am a fan of your couple. You have to keep it up. God Fang Yuan. Absolutely do not break up. God Fang Yuan. Please let Sister Ha Qingshu take good care of you. The continuous shouting made my scalp tingle. I could only lower my head and walk past quickly, while replying with an awkward smile. Thanks. Thanks. Wow, he's actually blushing. So cute. So cute. God Fang Yuan. Your blushing face looks so delicious. Why are these girls all so extroverted? Luckily, I had the human shield Zhang Zhiyuan next to me. Otherwise, it'd really feel like a monkey being gawked at. After much difficulty, we managed to escape into the cafeteria. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. As soon as we sat down, Zhang Zhiyuan leaned in gossiply. Yuan, be honest. How far have you and Goddess Ha gotten? We haven't gotten anywhere, I replied in annoyance. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll break your legs. The moment the words left my mouth, I was suddenly stunned. This domineering tone. Isn't that Ha Qingzu's catchphrase? Have I fallen so low? The 2 words fallen low struck me like lightning. Hit me. The ambiguous speculations I had deliberately suppressed last night immediately surged up. My heartbeat suddenly went out of control. It seems Ha Qing Shui took a rather big step this time. I lowered my head and ate my rice, my mind a tangled mess. Unable to taste the food, Zhang Zhiyuan saw this and couldn't resist poking me. What's wrong with you today? Did this fried chicken wing upset you? Or did this braised pork get stuck in your teeth? I looked up and gave him an annoyed glance. It's your fat that's bothering me. Zhang Zhiyuan put on a serious face and puffed out his chest. Yuan, You call this fat. At most, you can only call this plump. I gave him a sidelong glance, too lazy to bother with him anymore. After lunch, we went back to the dorm to prepare for the confession. When Zhang Ziyuan opened the box I brought and saw the colored lights and bright flower petals inside, his movements, he suddenly widened his eyes and stared at me. Oh my God, Yuan, you. I quickly covered his mouth. Keep your voice down. Zhang Ziyuan's eyes grew even wider. He pulled my hand down and whispered like a thief. Oh my God, it's really for a confession. You want to confess to Goddess Bing? You two are turning a fake show into a real relationship. Who would have thought that the super famous fairy couple online aren't even officially together yet? And he, Zhang Ziyuan, was the first to know this earth-shattering secret. Just thinking about this, he was so excited he was about to glow. I coughed dryly, steadying myself. Don't worry about all that. Just help me with this. Next time you confess, I'll help you too. For my brother, I'll go through fire and water. It's my duty. Zhang Ziyuan patted his chest, then leaned in mysteriously again. So you two aren't really together. Am I the first one to know this? I nodded. Besides the gossips online, you're the first one. He immediately straightened his back, that proud look on his face, as if he had grasped some terrible secret. I quickly grabbed his shoulders and said seriously, Yuan, you can't tell anyone about this. This is a surprise for Ha Qingshui. Don't worry, you can trust me to handle things. He patted twice again on his chest as a guarantee. I was originally very confident, but hearing this familiar guarantee, my heart inexplicably sank. If these words came from Ha Qingshui's mouth, it's almost equivalent to something bad about to happen. An illusion. It must be an illusion. He's still reliable. I shook my head, trying to get the image of Ha Qingshu out of my head, but I was horrified to discover that her influence had seeped into every aspect of my life. The moment this thought flashed through my mind, a deeper sense of unease took hold of me. Why is Ha Qingshu so quiet today? According to her usual personality, if I didn't come home for lunch, she should have called already. Could something have happened? Or is it because I didn't contact her first that she's angry? My heart sank. I quickly took out my phone to call her. At the same time, in a luxurious villa, Ha Qingshu was stressing over a pile of confession props, having a headache. The villa that she had never told Fang Yuan about had now become her secret base. Just when she was at a loss, her phone suddenly rang. The 3 words, "smelly brat," on the screen startled her. Oh no, he must have come home, not found me, and that's why he's calling. I lost track of time. How do I explain this now? She took a deep breath, prepared herself for 3 seconds, before pretending to be calm and answering the phone. Ha Qingshui, I have something to do this afternoon. I won't be home. Ha Qingshui, who was worried about how to explain her absence from home, was stunned when she heard this. This idiot isn't coming home? Heaven is really helping me. Her tense nerves immediately relaxed, and she couldn't even help but let out a couple of silly laughs. It's fine. It's fine. First year has a lot of classes. I understand. Don't worry, I won't blame you. I was also stunned to hear that. Since when did Ha Qingshu become so understanding? She even took the initiative to find a way out for me. I immediately took the opportunity. That's right. Ha Qingshu, our department recently has a stock investment simulation competition. I have to participate. So for the next few days, I might not be able to come home for lunch. Remember to eat properly? Okay. When Ha Qingshu heard this, the joy in her eyes almost spilled over. Not coming home for a few days? Wonderful. This is practically creating the perfect preparation time for her. I know. She tried to suppress the corners of her rising mouth and said in the gentlest tone, Don't you worry. Ha Qingshu's voice, little Fang Yuan, carried a hint of a mysterious, dominant older sister vibe. If you win first place, I'll have a reward for you. But the clouds of doubt in my heart grew even thicker. She didn't object at all, and just agreed so decisively. This is so not right. If this were a normal day, she would have gotten angry and questioned me about not coming home to her. Could her personality have changed? No way. But now isn't the time to think about it. At least she's not angry, so I have enough time to prepare. I heaved a sigh of relief and hung up the phone, but I was still muttering in my heart. A girl's mind is truly harder to solve than a mathematical function. Oh my God. Zhang Ziyuan, who was opposite me, suddenly let out a strange yell. His eyes were bulging as if they were about to pop out. Yuan, aren't you living with Goddess Bing? My whole body stiffened. Only then did I remember this big shot was right in front of me, and I even made that call right in front of him. Don't talk nonsense. I denied it immediately, but if this gets out, I am afraid it will cause another huge storm. However, my denial, in Zhang Ziyuan's eyes, was no different from a clumsy attempt to hide something obvious. The surprise on his face quickly turned into naked envy. His eyes were about to turn red. Yuan, if you weren't my brother, I'd want to punch you twice right now. He gritted his teeth, with an expression of extreme pain. I haven't even seen the shadow of a girlfriend, and you brat are already living with the goddess. Since we're brothers, I lowered my voice and warned him word by word. Then keep your mouth shut for me. If you dare to leak this, don't blame me for stabbing a brother in the back for a girl. Zhang Juan immediately slapped his chest loudly. Yuan, you still don't understand me. You can rest assured when I do things. Hearing this extremely familiar sentence, my eyelid twitched. Violently, I blurted out, don't say this sentence anymore in the future. Why? Zhang Jiuan's face was full of question marks. I couldn't explain it to him. This sentence, you can rest assured. When it comes out of Sister Qing's mouth, it's almost a disaster warning. I could only say vaguely, don't worry about why anymore. In short, just don't say it. Hurry up and get to work. I need it on the 27th. There are only 3 days left. Although Zhang Jiyuan found it strange, he still helped with all his might. Looking at his nimble movements, I couldn't help but laugh. Well done. My girl, my throne, will definitely be passed down to you in the future. Get lost. He glared at me. You should pass it to your and sister-in-law's son instead. He suddenly paused, feeling that calling her goddess Shia no longer seemed appropriate. But for a moment, he couldn't think of how to change the way he addressed her. At the same time, in a small villa in faraway Weizhou, Shia Qingshu's father was engrossed in scrolling through short videos. He was wearing a white shirt. The sleeves were rolled up to his forearms, revealing firm muscle lines. Although he had a scruffy beard, it exuded the aura of a handsome, rugged uncle, worthy of being called a heartthrob for housewives. On the screen was playing his favorite video, trimming donkey hooves, and OWO pulling bananas. He watched with a face full of satisfaction. However, the next video had a sudden change in style. On stage, a man and a woman were singing while holding hands. One look, and you could tell it was a public display of affection from a couple that he wasn't interested in. He was about to scroll past, but just as his finger touched the screen, the camera suddenly zoomed in, focusing clearly on the girl's face. Mr. Zaya's movement suddenly stopped. His body suddenly leaned forward, almost jumping out of his chair. This girl looks so familiar. He stared for a few seconds, then suddenly slapped his forehead. Isn't this my silly little girl? And she's even holding hands with a boy. Which pig dares to root up the cabbage of my Exia family? Just as he was about to fly into a rage, preparing to investigate this kid's background, he got a clear look at the boy next to her. Eh? Isn't this the kid from the Fang family? Mr. Zaya's anger immediately dissipated by more than half. He sat back down. It's Fang Yuan, huh? Then it's fine. If anyone should be worried, it should be for this kid, with his small frame. It's not enough for my little demoness to torment, but why are these two kids singing together like this? His gaze unintentionally swept across the stage backdrop. His smile instantly froze. The large words on the backdrop were extremely glaring. Lovers Music Festival. Lovers, Mr. Shia furrowed his brows tightly. Could it be that my daughter has really been rooted up by this kid? This Saya Mingxuan's eyes widened. Then he slapped his knee. Can such a good thing really happen in this world? Our two families have always had a very good relationship. Xie Qing Shui and I have known each other since we were kids. You could call us childhood sweethearts, an innocent pair of friends. So what kind of person I am, he knows very well. Presentable in the living room, capable in the kitchen. My grades are good too. My cooking skills are also great, compared to his own daughter, a silly girl who's like a fool when it comes to life skills. He's truly a shining example. Although since Xie Qingshu and Fang Yuan were little, the adults had joked that the two of them would get married when they grew up, but who would take childhood matters seriously? But now both kids are grown up. After watching this scene, and combining it with the last time he called Fang Yuan, the news he received, it can basically be confirmed. Thinking of this, Xie Mingchuan couldn't help but burst out laughing. Then he immediately made a call to my father, Fang Yunhai. Fang Yunhai was washing the dishes. He wiped his hands on his apron and took out his phone to answer, then put it on speakerphone next to him. Mr. Fang, have you seen the video online? Something's happened between your kid and my daughter. Fang Yunhai's movements paused. He said with a bit of panic. What happened? Tell me clearly. What else could it be? Your son rooted up my family's cabbage. Fang Yunhai thought for a moment before understanding what Xia Mingchuan meant. He said with a surprised expression. No way, Mr. Xia. You can't joke about this kind of thing. The kids are still young. Little Fang Yuan is an adult now. Isn't it normal to be in a relationship? My daughter being with your son. To be honest, what do you think? Fang Yunhai didn't think twice. What's there to think about? It's the children's business. Why are you worrying about it for nothing? People advocate for freedom and love these days. You still want to stick your nose in it? Are you trying to break up the lovebirds? Fang Yunhai snorted inwardly. Mr. Kaya's daughter may be a bit silly, but she's a good match for us. I am satisfied with her as a daughter-in-law. Very satisfied. I can't let this guy ruin it. Xia Mingchuan was not happy to hear that. What do you mean I am breaking up the lovebirds? I am very happy about it. To be honest, I like your kid. I am calling you, precisely to tell you, don't get in their way, or else you and I will have a problem. Then why didn't you say so earlier? I thought you didn't approve. What's there not to approve of? I just want to tell you. Isn't National Day coming up? The two of them will definitely come back. At that time, don't follow them around like you used to. You have to give the kids some more private space and time. Don't be a third wheel. Understood? Aren't you the one who's always following her around, doting on your precious daughter? Afraid of this blonde guy, and afraid of that blue-haired guy. But in reality, the gangsters in the 8 nearby streets have all been beaten up by that girl Bing Bing. They run for their lives when they see her. Xia Mingchuan laughed awkwardly. He coughed dryly. Anyway, that's the gist of it. I definitely won't follow them around. You can rest assured when I do things. Hanging up the phone, Fang Yunhai tilted his head, revealing a bright smile. That little brat knows how to root up cabbage now. Impressive. He has a bit of my style from back in the day. Fang Yunhai thought about his own past and couldn't help but beam with joy. Even washing dishes felt more energetic. Yunhai, who was that? My mother, Su Yuqin, walked in through the door. Mr. Xia. Guess what? Mr. Xia said. Fang Yunhai put on a mysterious expression. Su Yuqin was very curious. What did he say? Why are you being so mysterious? But Fang Yunhai didn't say it directly. Instead, he looked at his wife and giggled. You guess. It's about our son. Su Yuqin thought for a moment, then shook her head. Our son's business? Why would he call about that? Hurry up and tell me, or I'll pinch you. Su Yuqin placed a hand on Fang Yunhai's waist, pretending she was about to pinch. Fang Yunhai immediately begged for mercy. Don't. My good lady, tell you. All right? Only then did Su Yuqin lower her hand. She said with some smugness. That's more like it. Hurry up and say it. Mister. She had just called and said. He said he saw a very popular video online. It was of that girl Bing Bing and our son. The two of them seemed to be like us when we were 18. Su Yuqin thought about what happened when she was 18 and couldn't help but blush. She reached out and pinched Fang Yunhai's waist. How old are you? Still so improper. Fang Yunhai yelped in pain. He looked at Su Yuqin with a wronged expression. Ah, Chin. Back when we were 18, you were the one who cornered me in the alley first. Su Yuqin immediately reached out to cover his mouth. Her face grew even redder. Then she followed up by lightly kicking his leg. What nonsense are you saying? It was obviously you. You were the one who seduced me first. When did I seduce you? Su Yuqin's face got even redder, but her tone was very firm. If I say it was you, then it was you. Being so handsome on your own. If that's not seducing me, then who is it seducing? Fang Yunhai was speechless. I am handsome. Is that my fault too? This is the reason you cornered me in the alley? Su Yuqin coughed dryly, thinking about the events of when she was 18. She still felt a little embarrassed in her heart. Of course, it was also a little sweet. Fang Yunhai back then was a genuine school heartthrob. Incredibly handsome. She was also very beautiful and had an open personality. She fell for Fang Yunhai the moment she saw him, wanting to have an adult talk about love with him. But it turned out this guy was shy all day long, just like their son now. Finally, in a fit of anger, she cornered Fang Yunhai in an alley and loudly demanded to inspect his body. Of course, not a deep inspection, just a normal checkup. From then on, Fang Yunhai became a possession in her pocket. He was conquered by her. Now their son is also 18. He and Mr. Saya's daughter are also childhood sweethearts. The couple could both see it clearly. The two kids had done something similar to what they did at 18. Then there's no need for an explanation. She understood too. HMPH. That girl, Bing Bing. She's quite something. She took down our son so quickly. She really has a bit of my style from back in the day. Su Yuqin smiled, saying with some smugness, we should naturally support this. That girl Bing Bing might be a bit thoughtless, but she has a kind heart. She's also a good match for our family. Before, she called us aunt and uncle. Later, she'll call us mom and dad. That would be a very good thing. Okay. I agree to this. Fang Yunhai rolled his eyes. The kid's business. Freedom of love. Since when is it your place to agree or not? Of course, these words were only to be said in his heart. Honey, I have to remind you of something, although we understand this in our hearts. But in order not to affect the free development of the kid's feelings, you absolutely must not let it slip in front of Xiao Yuan. At this age, kids don't like others to judge. Do you understand? Su Yuqin said with a serious expression. You still don't trust me. When have I not been tight-lipped? You can rest assured when I do things. Fang Yunhai always had a bad feeling in his heart. Su Yuqin turned around, went out, and picked up her phone. I'll call our son right now. Show some concern. Speaking of which, National Day is almost here, and ask what that kid plans to do. Fang Yunhai immediately reminded her again. Don't let it slip. Su Yuqin acted as if her pride was hurt. She looked at Fang Yunhai. If you keep talking nonsense, You can sleep on the sofa tonight. Fang Yunhai immediately shut up. Forget it. How can the sofa feel as good as my wife? Besides, he grew up with care since he was young. His mind wouldn't be that sensitive. No fear. No fear. Su Yuqin sat on the sofa and called me. I had just finished preparing a few things, and breathed a sigh of relief. The phone immediately rang. I took it out, smiled, and answered, Mom. Su Yuqin showed a happy smile on her face. Xiao Yuan. How's university life? It's very good. Every day is very fulfilling. Are Mom and Dad both well? You can rest assured. Me and your old man Dad are very healthy. You don't need to worry. It's you. You're in university now. At your age, your father and I had already started dating. Tell me, do you have a girlfriend yet? My heart skipped a beat. Regarding my parents' wild love history, I had also heard about it. Whenever the past was mentioned, Mom would blush, and Dad would shake his head, expressing that the past need not be brought up again. It's too embarrassing to bring up. Why did Mom suddenly ask me about these things? Could it be just because when she was 18, she cornered Dad in an alley? Mom, why are you talking about this? Right now, the most important thing for me is my studies. Yes. Right. Studying is important, but dating isn't out of the question either. If you don't date in university, it won't be as easy to find love after graduation, as I see it. Actually, Mr. Sia's daughter Bing Bing is quite good. Let me ask you, what do you think of your sister Qingshu? My heart skipped another beat. With my mother's inability to beat around the bush, she has never known how to pry information out of people. How could she ask me this question for no reason? Could it be that Mom has also found out about me and sister Qingshui? The video online was such a big deal. They must have seen it too. No way. Mom doesn't usually scroll through short videos. She likes to read romance novels. The overbearing female CEO. I carefully asked my mom, what do you mean? Mom, you're not suspecting that there's something going on between me and sister Qingshui, are you? Su Yuqin immediately shook her head and denied it. Nonsense. I didn't say that. I haven't heard any rumors about you and that girl Bing Bing. I'm just asking you what you think of her, very purely. Oh, my dear mother, for so many years, regarding your own IQ. Why do you still have such a high opinion of it? Hearing what my mom said, I knew without even thinking. She definitely already knew the news. My mom is good at everything, except she's a bit thoughtless. She clearly can't hide anything. The important thing is, she thinks she hides it very well, and will deny it to her death. I was speechless for a moment. This matter has already reached the parents. Mom, I am not talking to you about this anymore. Don't ask anymore either. You should just live your days well with Dad. I don't want to let my mom know the truth. Otherwise, she would definitely turn around and spill everything. If it's a misunderstanding, then let it be a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding that sister Qingshui and I are boyfriend and girlfriend seems pretty good. Actually, once my confession is successful, then it will be undeniably real. Who could tell? It's truly a seamless plan. Su Yuqin was a little worried when she heard that. She thought to herself, could it be that my son doesn't like that girl Bing Bing? It's not impossible. After all, that girl Bing Bing is thoughtless like me. Besides, she's well behaved in front of outsiders. But whenever she's in front of my son, she bares her fangs and claws. Although the two kids both hide it very well. How could parents not see it? Otherwise, why would that girl Bing Bing, whenever she has a break, always like to run over to our house? Isn't it because of our precious son? Right. My son is handsome like his father back in the day. It's normal for girls to like him, but in my son's heart, he must be towards this kind of girl who bares her fangs and claws, a little scared. This impression might make my son a little afraid of that girl Bing Bing, not daring to get close. In that case, this matter will probably be ruined. No, I have to secretly help that girl Bing Bing. Who can blame me for liking that girl Bing Bing in my heart? Thinking of this, Su Yuqin coughed dryly. Xiao Yuan, I am an experienced person. I have to say something fair about this. I was speechless. In my experience, when you hear someone open their mouth to say they want to say something fair, you can be sure that the words that follow will mostly have little to do with fairness. Su Yuqin continued speaking. That girl Bing Bing might be a bit thoughtless, and quite likes to bully you, but actually, this girl's heart is still very kind. She bares her fangs and claws in front of you. That shows she has enough trust in you to completely hand over the trust of oneself to a boy. This is something that's very difficult for a girl to do. You absolutely must not, because of these things, have any rigid impressions of that girl Bing Bing, okay? Actually, I think that girl Bing Bing is also very good. What do you say? I was immediately speechless. Mom, when did you get a side job? Su Yuqin looked blank. What side job do I have? What nonsense are you talking about? You're already playing matchmaker. Isn't that considered a side job? Su Yuqin blushed. What matchmaker? I am thoroughly analyzing things with you. teaching you how to distinguish between girls. How can you call that being a matchmaker? I am not trying to set you up with that girl Bing Bing. You know what kind of person I am. Freedom of love. I never interfere. I already said I didn't hear about you and that girl Bing Bing having any rumors. Don't overthink it. My speechlessness was practically written all over my face. All right, Mom, I understand. Don't worry, I won't be deceived. As for sister, Shui, she's very good. But I didn't continue. But we really are still not an official couple. It was just a temporary act. All right, Mom. There are some things I won't tell you. You will naturally know in the future. That's all then. Goodbye. Hung up the phone. Su Yuqin was still thinking. Her son. What content did this word but hide after all? Could it be he's really not satisfied with that girl Bing Bing? Then that's a bit difficult to resolve. Fang Yunhai came out. Honey, how did the probing go? Su Yuqin had a confident expression. Rest assured. I didn't leak a single bit of information. I guarantee our son doesn't know that we know about him and that girl Bing Bing. Fang Yunhai's face was full of surprise. My wife could not leak a single bit of information. Why can't I believe it? Su Yuqin didn't notice his expression. She just frowned slightly and tilted her head, saying, but from Xiao Yuan's tone, he doesn't seem very satisfied with that girl Bing Bing. Thinking about these two kids, the situation is probably a bit like ours back in the day, but Xiao Yuan is even harder to deal with than you were. It seems we'll have to secretly support that girl Bing Bing. Is that so? It's very likely. Our son said that girl Bing Bing is very good, but he didn't say anything after that. But you tell me, this turning point, isn't it very likely bad news? Fang Yunhai nodded. Very likely. Then I have to contact old Xia. Then Fang Yunhai contacted Xie Mingchuan again. Xie Mingchuan slapped his forehead as soon as he heard. That girl Bing Bing is really a bit too willful. Fang Yuan is so calm. He's really easy to bully. It seems this National Day holiday, we have to think of a way to help them out. Let's do this. The two of you come to my place tomorrow. We'll discuss countermeasures together. Putting the phone down, Xia Mingchuan let out a long sigh. Could it be that this son-in-law won't be easy to make official? I never expected this at all. I just want to say, but we haven't really confessed our feelings yet. As a result, the parents on both sides became anxious, and so, things became magical. At the same time, I was frantically preparing things for my confession. Xia Qingshui was also busy in the villa, making a mess of everything. Meanwhile, the parents on both sides, for the sake of their two children's happiness, decided to hold a meeting to discuss countermeasures together to deal with this martial arts world catastrophe. 2 days passed just like that. I finally finished preparing everything, just waiting for the day after tomorrow to confess at Jiangfeng Park. Xia Qingshui was in the villa, looking at the things she had painstakingly prepared. Wiping the sweat from her forehead, she broke into a satisfied smile. She had never done such meticulous things before, but in order to legitimately capture that stinky little brother, she had to do it. Although the process was arduous, looking at the finished preparations, she still felt quite proud. Xiao Yuan. Just you wait to fall into my bowl. I've got you in the bag. I looked at the things I had prepared before me. I felt a little anxious. Xia Qingshu will surely agree, right? She likes me, doesn't she? Probably. It must be. In the evening, after the last class ended, I held my books and walked back with a smile. Just one more day, until it's Xia Qingshu's birthday. At that time, maybe she'll become my girlfriend. At the same time, Xia Qingshui was also hurrying back from the villa. Can't let that stinky little brother find out that I went out to prepare things. Just one more day. I will confess to him on my birthday. The stinky little brother will surely agree, right? He will agree. He will probably agree. I hugged my books, my mind constantly picturing Xia Qingshu's face. I realized that the closer the confession time came, the more nervous I felt. Xia Qingshu's face. It became clearer and clearer in my mind. Sometimes her face looked playful and cute, much like how she appears in front of others. Other times her face looked fierce and menacing. For example, that year when she pinned me against the wall, the female demon who snatched the lollipop from my mouth. But when I thought about it carefully, I didn't find this female demon so scary anymore. If I just simply reminisced, I actually felt that the female demon seemed a bit cute too. Just then, Xia Qingshui also returned from outside. The two of us silently bumped into each other outside the house. Ouch. Xia Qingshui looked up. She looked at me with some annoyance. Stinky little brother. Are you blind when you walk? You bumped into my head. That's right. We bumped heads. Literally bumped heads. I also held my head. Just now, I was only looking down, thinking about Xia Qingshui. As a result, as soon as I looked up, I bumped into Xia Qingshui. Xia Qingshui. You dare to blame me? You weren't watching where you were going either. If you were looking, how could you have bumped into me? Xia Qingshu's face flushed slightly. Just now, she was on her way, thinking about, confessing to me, thinking about every little thing she did to bully me over the past 10 years. The more she thought, the sweeter she felt inside. The more she thought, the more she wished she could immediately hug me and fiercely torment me. No, fiercely be intimate with me. Although her body was only 20 years old, her soul was already that of a young ant. A cute little brother like this must be delicious to eat, but how could I tell him about this thought? I am a proper big sister. Fine. Shai Qingshui put her hands on her hip. She puffed out her cheeks and looked at me. Oh ho, you dare to talk back to me? I haven't even questioned you yet. Coming back so late. Where did you go? Xia Qingshu put her hands on her hips. She puffed out her cheeks and looked at me. HMH, you dare to talk back to me? I haven't even questioned you yet. Coming back so late. Where did you go? I was at school, of course. I wanted to ask you. In fact, why are you back so late? Don't fourth-year students have no classes? Where did you go? Xia Qingshu's mind raced. She didn't expect this stinky little brother to know how to question her back. I was looking for a job. Of course. I am a fourth year, no classes. So I have to go out and look for a job. Are you going to support me? Hearing that, I thought it made sense. Fourth years have to start looking for jobs and do internships. All sorts of things pile up. Although I haven't experienced it, I've heard about it. Seeing that I was swayed, Xia Qingshu breathed a sigh of relief. She thought to herself, HMH, good thing I am smart. She took the opportunity to fall against me, pretending to be extremely tired. Stinky little brother. Do you know? I was in a car for a very long time today. I am dead tired. Tell me, do you even care about to your Xia Qingshui? I held her, letting her lean against my chest, although I felt she was completely lying. After all, her appearance didn't look the least bit dead tired, but I don't know why. I still indulged this behavior of hers. Of course I care about you. Xia Qingshui giggled. She looked up at me. If you really care about me, then can you carry me into the house? My heart was clearly beating faster, but on my face, I tried to look calm, and even said with a bit of disdain, Xia Qingshu, you're this old already, and you still want me to carry you? Xia Qingshu rubbed against me. I am tired. Please carry me. Look how strong your body is. It's such a waste not to carry me, isn't it? A waste of your great body and strength? Carry me, and later, you can come to me for a reward. Xia Qingshui bit her lip, revealing a smile that was both mysterious and cunning. I acted helpless. This stinky Xia Qingshui only knows how to bully me. Then I slid my arms under Xia Qingshu's legs, easily lifting her up in a princess carry. Xia Qingshui lay in my arms, feeling my solid chest and strong arms. She felt the blood in her body boiling. Her eyes had started to become hazy. Looking up, she happened to see my moving Adam's apple. Along with the strain from carrying her, the muscles on my neck were slightly flexed, and the veins. A wave of masculine hormones hit her face. She licked her lips. She reached out one hand to cut my face, and gave me a peck on the cheek. I cleared my throat, pretending to be very serious. I said, Xia Qingshui, don't be like this anymore. We're both adults now. We're not at the age to play house anymore. Xia Qingshui giggled. You're right. We're not at the age to play house anymore. So, are you interested in discussing some adult matters with me? What matters? Dating, Xia Qingshui thought to herself, but she didn't say it out loud. She had already decided to confess the day after tomorrow. How could she tell him in advance? She had to give him a surprise. Otherwise, wouldn't all her preparations have been in vain? Xia Qingshui tilted her head and said, I won't tell you now. PFF'd, who cares? After a pause, I said again, Xia Qingshui, the day after tomorrow is your birthday. Where do you want to go? Xia Qingshui immediately became a little nervous. She planned to confess at Jiangfeng Park, so of course, she had to go to Jiangfeng Park. But how could she say it without giving it away? She pretended to think for a moment and said, I haven't thought of it yet, but I want to get a little closer to nature. I was secretly happy inside. Closer to nature. Then going to the park is perfect. Great. I have an excuse to lure her to Jiangfeng Park now. Then how about we go to a park? The scenery is beautiful. The air is fresh. Xia Qingshu's eyes lit up. This stinky brat himself mentioned going to the park. Isn't this giving me a perfect opportunity to mention Jiangfeng Park? A park. Huh. That's good. I heard Jiangfeng Park is very beautiful. How about we go there? Will you go with me then? My heart beat a few extra times. Xia Qingshui herself took the initiative to mention Jiangfeng Park. This is truly heaven-sent good news. Okay then. Jiangfeng Park it is. Then I'll go with Xia Qingshui. The sunset there is especially beautiful. Let's go in the afternoon then. The afternoon it is. Then you'd better not have anything else to do that day. Don't worry. I don't have classes that day. Are you kidding? I am about to confess. How could I have anything else to do? After speaking, we both suddenly fell silent. Xia Qingshuo placed a hand on my chest. How strange. Why do I feel like this brat's heart is beating so fast? It's beating so fast. I held Xia Qingshu. I felt her body heat up. Strange, Xia Qingshu, why do you feel a bit hot? It's as if you have a fever. After getting inside, I carried Xia Qingshu into the house and placed her on the sofa. All right, Xia Qingshu, get down. Xia Qingshu didn't let go. Her hands were tightly wrapped around my neck. She wrinkled her nose. I won't. My great young miss. What is it now? We're already home. And you still won't get down? Do you really think my body is made of iron? Xia Qingshu chuckled mischievously. I said, I won't get down. I didn't say you couldn't sit. If you're tired, just sit. I am not getting down anyway. Why won't you get down? Xia Qingshu must have a reason. Xia Qingshu tilted her head and thought for a moment. She said very seriously, I was in the car for too long today. My butt hurts. What kind of ridiculous reason is this? Forget it. I can't beat her anyway. Just let her do what she wants. If she wants to be held, then I'll hold her. I sat down. She didn't release her hands, still using strength to hold on to my neck. So I wasn't the only one using strength. I sat down on the sofa. Xia Qingshu giggled and sprawled on top of me. Our soft bodies were in direct contact. I immediately felt an indescribable softness. Xia Qingshu, why are you pressing so close? I am afraid I can't take it. I pushed Xia Qingshu away a little, but Xia Qingshu was like a snake, coiling around me and not letting go. She squirmed and said, I am tired. I am tired. I am just leaning on you to rest for a bit. Why can't I press this close? Besides, it's not like we haven't been this close before. When you were 8 years old, I carried you to bed and slept with you. Have you forgotten? You stinky brat. So ungrateful. After Xia Qingshu squirmed for a while, I felt that fire burn even more intensely. Stinky Xia Qingshu. Does she really not know that this behavior, for a young man full of vitality, is so incredibly damaging? Damn it. I could feel the blood in my body, seeming to gather at a certain point. But Xia Qingshu acted as if she knew nothing. She just kept squirming, and made all sorts of excuses. I couldn't take it anymore. At this rate, I'll expose myself. So I used my strength to push Xia Qingshu away. That's enough. Xia Qingshu, stop squirming. If you keep squirming, I'll. In short, can you get down first? Xia Qingshu saw my face flush red, and that I was turning my face away. An evil laugh immediately erupted in her heart. This stinky brat doesn't dare to look at me. Could it be that his heart is moved? Interesting. Then I must push my luck even further. Let you see how formidable I am. Xia Qingshu pouted. She brushed my hand away, and once again pressed her body against mine. Little Fang Yuan, what are you blushing for? You are not shy, are you? Are you having some shameful thoughts about me? My heart tightened. Damn it. Did Xia Qingshu see through me? How could this be? It's so embarrassing. I quickly shook my head and stammered. How could I be that kind of person? Then tell me why you're blushing. Suddenly, an idea flashed in my mind. I blurted out, it's just the spirit of the occasion. Xia Qingshu was stunned for a moment. Then she burst out laughing. Then why has it turned dirty? It's cold. So I waxed it. Xia Qingshu grinned widely. This stinky little brother is even starting to tell jokes with me. Just won't admit he's having shameful thoughts. Is that so? All right then. I have plenty of ways to deal with an innocent little boy like you. Xia Qingshu spread her arms, wrapped them around my neck and hugged me. Then she straddled my lap. Her body leaned forward. In an even more ambiguous posture, she sprawled on top of me. I didn't expect that Xia Qingshu could push her luck this far. This was much more powerful than just leaning against me. Today, Xia Qingshu was even wearing white garter stockings, paired with her long, slender legs and short skirt, and she used this posture to lie on top of me. Looking straight at Xia Qingshu, I couldn't help but gasp in shock. Xia Qingshu was extremely pleased with herself. Can't take this already. Huh. Little Fang Yuan, you still dare to say you have no shameful thoughts about me? I turned my face away. I don't. Xia Qingshu, get down first. Let me go. How could Xia Qingshu stop? She moved a little closer and whispered in my ear. Really? You don't? I really don't. I swear on it. Xia Qingshu bit her lip. This guy is so stubborn. She wasn't angry either. She tilted her head and looked straight at me without blinking. Then she pursed her lips and gently kissed my lips. Then she stuck out her cute little tongue slightly and gave a lick. In that instant, I couldn't hold back anymore. I felt my whole body catch fire. My blood boiled, as if a volcano erupted. Xia Qingshu sat on my lap. She quickly felt something unusual. She looked down and said strangely, something is poking me. My face immediately turned beet red. 1,000 words couldn't express what I was feeling. Xia Qingshu was stunned for 2 seconds. Then she reacted. Just a moment ago, she was arrogant and smug. Now her face was also beet red. Xie Qingshui, I shouted. I pushed Xie Qingshu away and stood up, and rushed straight into my room. Xie Qingshu stood there stunned for a moment, tapping her index fingers together in front of her. Oh my god. What did I just do? I made little Fang Yuan die of embarrassment. So embarrassing. But a boy's body is really amazing. It can do that, but from a medical perspective, doing that isn't good. It will make him get backed up. Xie Qingshu walked to my bedroom door. She knocked lightly and said, little Fang Yuan, I am sorry. I didn't mean it. You didn't mean it? You did it on purpose. Xie Qingshui, just leave me alone. I don't mean to do anything to you. I am just afraid you'll get backed up. How about I help you? Xie Qingshui, do you want to hear the outrageous things you're saying? Xie Qingshui's pretty face turned red. That's right. What outrageous things am I saying? Oh my god. I actually said those words. I haven't even confessed to the stinky little brother yet. I am doomed, doomed, doomed. I forgot myself just now. I haven't confessed to him yet. Why did I get into character for the scene after the confession? Hold it in. Hold it in. Xie Qingshu, you can't let certain things happen illegitimately, without a proper title. That would be illegal. In the room, I hid under the blanket for a long time before poking my head out. I breathed a sigh of relief. But as soon as my eyes looked forward, seeing the blanket on me, my face, which had just calmed down a bit, immediately flushed red again. What is this stinky Xie Qingshui doing? She always embarrasses me like this. Doesn't she know that her body and beauty, for an 8-year-old man, is incredibly damaging? What? On purpose. She definitely did it on purpose. Just to make things awkward for me, to torment me. I tried to calm myself down, not to think about certain things. Then I covered my face with my hands. I told myself I had to stay calm. Fang Yuan is a gentleman. How could he do that kind of thing, or have those kinds of dirty thoughts? After much difficulty, I finally calmed down a bit. I let out a sigh of relief, and tugged at the blanket on me. As a result, the blanket slid between my legs, rubbing slightly. My face immediately turned red again. What am I doing? Why is it like this? Deep down, am I actually a pervert? Xie Qingshui stood at the door, pressing her ear against it. First, she heard me gradually quiet down. Then, she heard a sudden cry. Her eyes couldn't help but widen. Oh my god, what is this stinky brat doing? Could it be? He's raising one hand, looked at her hand, then looked at the room, with a look of sudden realization. That's right, it must be. I can't believe that stinky kid did this. But it's understandable, at this virile age, and his physique is so good. How can he stand it without an outlet? Thinking this, she suddenly felt a little guilty. I've heard using your hand a lot isn't good for your health. Tonight passed by so slowly. It was like that for Xie Qingshui. It was the same for me. The next morning, I opened my eyes, still feeling a bit sleepy. I casually grabbed the clothes in my hand. I threw off the air-conditioning blanket and stood up. I was about to get dressed. I looked down. I suddenly froze. Then, I silently opened the wardrobe. I took out a pair of boxer shorts and changed. Knock, knock, knock. A sudden knock on the door sounded. Xia Qingshu's voice came from the other side. Little Fang Yuan, why aren't you up yet? If you don't get up soon, you'll be late for class. I blushed. I quickly rolled up the underwear I had just changed out of and hid it behind my back. Xie Qingshui, can you not knock on the door so suddenly? If I get caught, it would be so embarrassing. I was worried you'd be late for class. It's so late and you're still not up. I put the thing in my hand on the bed. Then I covered it with a blanket. There was no way I could wash it in front of Xie Qingshui. I opened the door. Xie Qingshui stood at the door, grinning. Little Fang Yuan, what's for breakfast this morning? So are you worried it'll be late for class? Or are you worried you won't have breakfast to eat? Of course I am worried about breakfast. I misspoke. Let me rephrase. Of course I am worried you'll be late for class. Being late for class will affect your studies. Affecting your studies means affecting your future. Affecting your future will affect your future earnings. Although I can also support you. I was speechless. I really wanted to say, Xie Qingshui, your acting is terrible. But I didn't say it. Definitely not, because I was scared. It was to save some face for Xie Qingshu. We're all adults now. Of course, you have to see through it but not say it out loud. After breakfast, I ran straight to school. The day passed slowly in anticipation. For me and Xie Qingshui, today was equally long. Waiting is always long. When I got home at night, I felt my heart beating a little fast. Just thinking about confessing to Xie Qingshu tomorrow, my heart beat even faster. What I found strange was, Xie Qingshu's state today also seemed off. She kept avoiding my gaze, but she always secretly glanced at me, just like that. One night, the two of us didn't talk much, but went to our respective rooms to sleep. Similarly, neither of us could fall asleep right away. We lay with our eyes open, tossing and turning for a long time. It wasn't until midnight that we finally fell asleep. The next morning I had breakfast, and said to Xia Ching Shui, today I have to do a survey with a classmate. I'll probably be back in an hour or two. But don't worry, I'll finish as quickly as possible, and come back to celebrate your birthday with you. Of course, it wasn't about a survey. I had to go to Jiangfeng Park to decorate the confession scene. Xia Qingshu was biting her chopsticks, thinking about how to avoid me, and then go decorate the confession scene. She had prepared everything. She just forgot this one point, racking her brains. I said I had to go do a survey for an hour or two. Isn't this heaven helping her? Okay, surveys are good. Surveys are an important way of learning. Absolutely no delays. You should go quickly. Go for it. Xia Qingshui giggled. Little Fang Yuan, cooperating like this. The confession today will definitely be a success. I looked at Xia Qingshui. I felt she was even stranger, if it were before, having promised to celebrate her birthday, and then suddenly having something come up. I would definitely be beaten to death by her, but today she was different. What's this situation? But I didn't have time to investigate further. Decorating the scene is the most important thing. I know. I nodded. Then I went out. After that, I made a phone call to Zhang Jiyuan. Bring the stuff out quickly. We'll meet at Jiangfeng Park. Zhang Jiyuan quickly hugged the prepared items and rushed out of the dormitory. He didn't look like he was going to decorate a confession scene, but more like a rookie secret agent about to pull off a big job. More than 20 minutes later, the two of us arrived at Jiangfeng Park. We quickly started decorating at the pre-selected spot. According to the plan, I would confess at dusk. These things were decorated beforehand. Zhang Jiyuan also had to stay here to help keep watch. Truly worthy of being my good crown prince. The two of us worked very quickly, because we had already prepared everything beforehand, so everything went very smoothly. It was all set up in 30 minutes.